Who's ready for the final day? Number 5 it is this week of Royal Ascot. There's going to be fireworks in here on Racing Post Live this afternoon. Dave Orton still getting the trip, still with you. Betfair along the way as well. Everything on the sportsbook and the exchange are going to educate you, give you some trades of charity. That's been going well this week. Tips coming galore, real-time action, raucous reaction, and of course, the best punditry in the business. Say hello. This is an interactive show. We're in a good mood today here in the studio. It's got a bit of an end of term feel about it, hasn't it? And the racing is supreme. The banker for many, of course, goes in the third race. Hurricane Lane will be finding out what he's doing in the market. There's a hot pot in the first as well. Ryan Moore looks assured of top jock. Aidan O'Brien too, the trainer on us as well. But could there be some twists in the tail? Don't go anywhere. This is the place to be. Give us a like and subscribe. Thumbs up, that is basically on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook Live, ramp up that chat. I can see it's vibrant already. And anything on Twitter, those clips are great. We've got Jack Reeve holding our hands there today. The best in the business. Hashtag RP Live. Let's go down the panel. It's a long week, Natalie Green, and I can tell that the oxygen's starting to go to your head somewhat. No. Because you've got a giggle about you today.
I have had the giggles all morning. I've just woken up on those moods, but I reckon I can outstay you. I think I am outstaying
Absolutely
you.
No chance
I am.
On earth are you going to outstay me.
I am.
Not a million years.
I don't know why I'm in such a good mood, because I had a miserable betting day yesterday. So
I've got more chance of staying than Trushan has, that's for sure.
I'm going to redeem myself today, so keep the faith, keep with us. Plenty to get stuck into, isn't there?
You had a dreadful day.
Yeah, I had like 2/3. My best bet yesterday was Nymphadora coming second at 20-1, which wasn't bad.
Yeah, because yesterday was the day where a lot went
right
a bit
for a
lot
like,
of people.
Not stupid, but having watched Inspire, I was like, Natalie, why did he go again? I mean, I thought it was beautiful how she showed such tenacity, Frankie weaving through, switching her, and then really setting sail. It was a tremendous performance, and also, again, I always talk about the narrative, but a nice narrative for Frankie. Whew. Never doubt him, you haters.
Oh, quite literally enough said there, absolutely. Yeah, well, we will be talking about reflections, of course, of the week. Let's have your highlights, what happened yesterday, who was with in Spiral. We were doing everything all right until we all grouped later, basically. But not many people I know fancied her, and that's why she went big. She also went 8-1 in the run. Graeme, Rodway, how are you?
Yeah, I'm grateful, Dave. Yeah,
are you?
I'm really excited because, as I said to you yesterday, when we get towards the end of these weeks, I can sit back and I can enjoy them. Like, all the hard work's done. There's no Royal Ascot tomorrow. I haven't got to write anything for the paper. I can just sit here, enjoy the racing, have fun with you guys. What a day it's going to be.
It was scorching yesterday, but don't worry, it's a lot cooler out there, of course. There has been some rain at Ascot. We'll find out exactly how much, because they put some water on the track as well. Trushan is still in the last, would you believe it? We come off there at 5:35, and the man that's been with us the past 3 days. It will now be this is a hat trick. I mean, of course, we unleashed you into the studio, Barry Orr, on Derby Day. This panel unleashed the beast. The Barry Beast. Absolutely.
I'm in a cage.
Hang on a minute. Listen, there's been a lot of innuendos on our cameras today.
I have to say, has a lot of innuendos from her today. And I want to see more and hear more.
Yeah, we're going to have to think about how we talk about her Woken and Winner in a different light, I think, this afternoon. But we'll try and get it out of her somehow. Cue the blackout. But great to have with you. Listen, you
started already.
You had the Derby day with us. We had a couple of beers afterwards. It was lovely. And you said, I can't wait for Royal Ascot. You still feeling that on the final day?
Yeah, I really am, yeah. I was just saying, Nat always brings good energy to the rim, doesn't she? And
she does.
You know, it's a great day's racing. We have a lot to look forward to. We have some shorties to get stuck into. We have some odds to lengthen. We've got it all going on here today.
the thing was, Dave, when I was walking...
Everything we say now is going to be an innuendo. So we need to snap out of this early doors.
It's like innuendo bingo.
Yeah, we have Racing Post bingo, of course. We know you love it out there. Come on, who's watching this morning, right? Unfortunately, we've all got the giggles a little bit.
Today.
All right, look, the oxygen's all going to our head a little bit. You know, it was so hot yesterday, Barry, wasn't it? I mean, I know you're not over here much, but my Lord, that was scorchio.
Muggy, really muggy. But one great thing about Ascot this year has been that the consistency of going.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't had, like in the last couple of years, where it was starting on good ground, then there'd be rain, and everyone's incessantly talking about the draw bias and where it is. This year, I think we've had a good spread of winners among owners, among trainers and jockeys.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
First 15 races, different trainer.
Different trainer, yeah. So it's nice to see everyone wet their beaks. And we've got more to come.
Is that an innuendo?
Everything's
I think it
gonna
was. That was a try.
Oh, it's all right. Listen, if the man that pays the bills is doing it, we're all good, people. So.
That wasn't an intentional innuendo, but was.
Oh, look, even Devo's getting in on the act. Look, Devo, great to have you. Where have you been this week, man? G-Rod's best pal. Oi, ready for Fave 5
Yes,
after melting on course yesterday. Come on, Blackrod.
Yes, Devo.
Absolutely.
Go on,
Get up,
Devo.
Blackrod.
Get in there.
All right, marvellous. That is who Natalie Green is putting up in the Wokingham, in case you were wondering.
Enjoy the stiff finish.
First one, here we go. Yeah, all right, just get that straight out of the way. So we start off with the Chesham 7 furlong burn up. We've then got the Jersey Stakes, which is like, in between the Commonwealth Cup and the Guineas, the 7 furlongs. It's the one distance in this country that we lack a Group 1 at. And we've definitely got some Group 1 performers in there. We'll be doing our best to eke them out for you and find you the winners on the way. The best thing in the week, is it Hurricane Lane? He comes up in the Hardwick. Should that be a Group 1? I know because of the Coronation Cup, that's why it's not based in Epsom. But I don't know, we always see a star in this race usually. Then we've got the Wokingham, the burn up 26 runners over 6 furlongs. I really like running that, along with the lady next to me. Of course, at 5 o'clock, remind me what the 5 o'clock is. That's got 28 runners in it. Oh, actually, hang on a minute. That is the Wokingham. What's the 4:20? I'm going completely mad. Oh, yes, the Platinum Jubilee. I thought I was going to build up to that. Is that one of the best sprints we've ever seen, the Platinum Jubilee? Let's just go. I mean, they're coming from everywhere, aren't they? I mean, horses from all over the place. Great fillies like Sacred in there. We've got the 2 Aussies, of course. America. We've got, they're literally coming from everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah.
Japanese. It's marvellous.
Yeah.
And we've got 26 runners in a Group 1 race.
Massive. That is unbelievable, isn't it?
That's true. You've both touched upon it, like everything with Ascot. The going, the drama, the stories, the trainers, the northern trainers, which sometimes go the way, Richard Fahey, the likes. And then, like you say, the huge field sizes. There really has been something for everybody, hasn't there?
There has been. And of course, we finish off with the Golden Gate Handicap. Afterwards, of course, is the 6:10. It's the longest race of the calendar.
Yes.
The Queen Alexandra, isn't it?
Yeah,
Not even the Says is this long. And it feels like it's been this long since we should have said that is Trushan running or isn't he running? Of course, scratch from the Gold Cup, which was, I had a bit of a moan about that on Tuesday. Nothing personal with connections whatsoever. But we knew he wasn't going to run on Tuesday. It was an impossibility for him to run. That's 2 years in a row he's been pulled out now. And yet we thought at the start of the week when James Millman sat in Barry's chair, could it be a stroke of genius running on the Saturday? I mean, you've got a horse that would have been, if not fav for the Gold Cup, second fav probably. Had he turned up behind Kit Rios, he's running in the Queen Alexandra. When's this happened?
Yeah, I mean, I still would have had him as the likely winner of the Gold Cup. I've still got him as the leading horse in the division, in the stand division. I've got him £2 clear of Kit Rios even after the Gold Cup. So it's a shame that he isn't able to run in these top races.
Well, he's never going to be a top stayer because he doesn't go on old grounds. He's very ground dependent.
He only goes on soft, doesn't he?
They're obviously desperate after last year to have a run in here. They must be very confident in how he's going at the moment. Of course, he won at Nottingham on his return. But the rain hasn't materialised, and yet here he is still leading the market for the final race at 6:10 when we were off air.
He's still in, so...
Messes around the market, doesn't it?
It does,
Yeah.
and we would expect... I mean, Wordsworth, a word with you on Barry, this, he's only 5-2, isn't he? Because everyone's expecting a crash once Trushan comes out.
Exactly, yeah.
People are phoning me on the way.
Trushan would be a shade of odds on. If he was to run here, if the ground was soft.
What price should he be if he runs? I want to hear from you out there. If Trushan runs, they're obviously happy with the ground. We've done this with Alan King, haven't we?
Yeah.
And actually, it was a bit of a tete-a-tete. You got a little bit annoyed with them around about Gold Cup Day last year, saying, why doesn't this horse run more? And Kingy said, on genuine good ground, I'd be happy to run him. Because I said to Alan, well, hit it back, Alan. What do you say to people that say you only run him? Has he had problems, all that sort of stuff? He has had a few physical problems. It's fast ground, just not for him. So what's he doing entered this week?
It's probably a huge risk as well. We talk, you might hear it or viewers might read it, but jarring up, which is effectively when they run hard ground, their shins basically. But if you jar up really badly, which they thought at one point maybe that happened to Princess Zoe, but hasn't. Tony Mullen's been phenomenal on Twitter.
She's
been
so transparent.
She's absolutely fine.
Love that.
She was a bit exhausted. The vets treated her. It's great to see. But are they just so frightened? Because, Dave, it's so easy, isn't it, to ruin your horse for... I don't know why he's still in, but he's in. So is he going to run?
Well, because I think there was last year. Do you remember at York? He was supposed to run against Stradivarius in what we thought was going to be one of the most exciting races of the week, and then he got pulled out the day before or on the day. And I think personally that the owners want to run in these big races, and it's almost a power struggle between the owners and the trainer. The trainers say, look, it's not a good idea to run. But if you own Truesham, if I own Truesham, I'd want to go to Royal Ascot. I'd want to go to York. I want to go to the big ones. I mean, no disrespect to Doncaster in September and Longchamp in October. They're great meetings. But
it's not Royal Ascot.
Royal Ascot.
And you've got him as the best day, so you believe he should be here. But the thing is, if you're a fast ground stayer, you're not going to turn up on. You're not going to plan your season around Champions Day, are you? Because you know you probably won't have your ground. You know, so I don't know if we're going to say that he needs the cut in the ground. Is he going to run? That's the question. Because this will be one of the weirdest markets ever.
Well, the weirdest
if he doesn't.
He's going to struggle to become an all-time staying great if he can't run in all the best staying races because the ground's too fast. And this is a weird one if he runs today because the ground isn't that much different to Thursday. The Thursday was a Group 1 race. This is only a conditions race. And to my eye, he's got a much tougher task of winning this race than he would have had of beating Kyprios on Thursday. I would have strongly fancied him to beat Kyprios, but I don't fancy him to give £10 and more to really good horses.
Yeah, that stay one.
Really good horses.
Personally, I think he's in a completely different league to Wordsworth in particular, who I believe is running
You think
over
he
the
can
farm
just
trip.
give
But
them-
it is one of the talking points of the day. I wanted to get it out of the way. It's been one of the talking points of the week. You can let us know what you think and we'll give you a talk, but we've got to go on now, obviously, to the race. Here we are then. Okay. Oh, this is good. The Mighty Gomez, who's been with us all week, says, an anagram of Natalie Green, Aintree Angel. Yeah. That's not bad.
Wow.
No, we've got our community, Barry. I keep telling you, they are the best in the business.
That's impressive. Who was
what
that
have we
from?
got out there? And another one of Dave Orton,
Mighty
oat
Gomez.
vendor. Absolutely. Don't you worry about that. I needed them on Thursday morning. We've got a final one. Can't do Barry too many R's. He must be descended from pirates. Barry R's.
Vikings.
Vikings.
I could have quite easily gone down another innuendo there. So, Mighty Gomez, brilliant out there. I've seen a few for you as well, by the way. I'm not sure that all of them are printable.
They're not printable, I presume. Yeah.
No, there are some good ones for you out there. Listen, get all that sort of fun. Let's have it today. Why not? But now it's time to hone in on the Chesham. And again, one of the hot pots of the week. And there's a way to play this.
There is. Will we do our lucky 15 first?
Oh, of course. You can
okay?
tell it's the final day.
Yes.
My head's gone.
I know. First leg, Broome is our first leg in the lucky 15. Really like him. It's an each way lucky 15. Now there's only 2 places there, but I'm happy that we're. I think we're on the right horse there because I am taking on Hurricane Lane in the race as well. Our second leg is in the big sprint, and we're taking Sacred, who was very Ryan Moore very taken with her when he won on her last year. Described like riding a little motorbike.
This is the Cheveley Park filly.
Yeah, like her. Then we're on to the Wokingham, where we're taking First Folio at 5 o'clock. And then our last leg is going to be Bushfire in the 5:35, which is our last live race. And Bushfire is currently trading at 16 to 1 from 20 to 1. So happy to be on that.
You're having a good go today, aren't you?
Yeah, we're having a good go today. Hopefully this could be the day where we land our lucky 15. We're due one. We're doing it each way. It's 6 doubles, 4 trebles, an accumulator, and 4 singles. We're going to do it for £1 each way, so it's going to cost us 30 quid. And if that comes in, it's 25 grand for Wellchild, who I'm sure would put that money to good use. Some additional places to flag on the sportsbook. 4 places in the first race, 4 places in the second race, the Jersey. We've got 6 places in the Platinum Jubilee, and we've 7 places in the Wokingham. So watch out for all of those additional places on the Betfair Sportsbook.
Now, this is a good point, because I was going to pull you up on this. I said that my head's gone, because I saw your selections coming in. It definitely was Solid Stone.
Yeah, that was a typo.
One's come out, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm on Broome there now.
Yeah, all right. So just to clarify, and I'll take umbrage with you about that.
Okay.
Because you've just dissed the best horse in training.
You reckon?
Solid Stone is the best horse in training.
Okay.
And I don't mean on ratings, I don't mean by talent. He's my favourite horse in training. I love him.
They supplemented him for this.
They did, because they wanted to go in the Wolverton again, but the ground wasn't right for him. No one knows more.
Ground wasn't right
Not
for him.
even.
So what's changed?
No, over a mile 4, he's absolutely fine. He hasn't got the speed. Trust me, he doesn't. You watched the race back last year, the Wolverton. He runs 3rd in it summer. He was my nap of the entire week. Don't you remember on this show afterwards?
Yeah, I do, yeah. You were off to Windsor one day.
I did this
Just to
show.
see
I
him.
went to Windsor to back him.
You did.
And he
was
won.
like, I'm just going to go and see
And
my
then he beat
favourite horse.
Al Arzi at Newbury. That was the day when I went, he's a right old horse, this one.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I am honorary chairman of the Solid Stone fan club. I'm a bit disappointed now that one's out, Third Realm, boo, because it was one of the in-trade bets of the week.
I know.
But now, you might say to yourself, well, what's he doing? This is like Trushan, you're contradicting yourself. He is a horse that's fine on a fast surface, but his optimum distance, okay, is probably about 1.3 miles. With some juice in the ground, he's very hard to beat over 1.2 miles, and over 1.4 miles, when the ground's all right, he's perfectly fine. Can I see him beating Hurricane Lane? I'm not perfectly sure. We'll get to that though when it comes to Hardwick time. But I'm all over in the without market, Solid Stone today, just to give you a little heads up there, because there are a different way to play these races, as we're about to find out from Barry with one of the good things of the week. We thought coming into it, Barry, and now he's a backable price.
Yeah, he is a very backable price. Alfred Munnings, he's 218 on the exchange, so heading towards 5-4. Crypto Force has been strong. He's at 10. Legend of Xanadu that won in Epsom a couple of weeks back on Derby Day, on the Friday, has been strong. He's 10.5. But I thought Alfred Munnings would take all the beating here. They were really sweet on him on his debut in Leopardstown. Not all Aidan O'Briens are fully tuned up first time up, but he was. He was bet into 8-11. They backed him like a good thing, and he duly obliged. They put him away for this. They said after that, this is our Chesham horse, and they haven't deviated from the plan at all. But what I'm going to do here, there's a new feature on the Betfair Sportsbook called Lengthen Your Odds. So it's on every race every day. You can back a horse to win and by the distance. So Alfred Munnings to win by a length or more is 13-8 against. To win by 2 lengths or more is 11-4. To win by 3 lengths or more is 11-2. Now, I think he'll win. I think if he wins by more than a length.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's 13-8. I don't think I'd want to be backing him at any more than that, because these are competitive races, and you know, I think it's getting a bit greedy to think, oh, he'll win by 2 or 3 lengths. So I'm happy with the 13-8, and we're going to have 50 quid win on Alfred Munnings to win by a length or more.
And what's that paying, Barry?
13-8, so
Nice.
it's 130 odd quid.
Nice. We first had this at the week. It was a guy called Dan Ramiro that I remember that came up in the chat, and he said, if you want to play Reach a Moon at a price, maybe go for the the distances. That one didn't work out, but I remember it was 13-8 for 2 or more lengths or something like that. We did it. It was in Spiral yesterday. None of us saw it winning like that, but it's a nice conception. This great title as well, as I said yesterday, isn't it? Whoever came up with this, there's a job at the Racing Post if you want to do some headlines.
It's brilliant, and it's a great feature, and it's been really, really popular as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask everyone but you about lengthening the odds there, because the day you're having, we're not going there.
Yes, I like it.
So yeah, absolutely superb. So look, if you want, we think the Fav is very strong here. I think he wins. They, in inverted commas, the Ballydoyle mob, shall we say, the lads, as Aidan calls them, each horse that they have gone for, we think this week, has prevailed. I was doing this with someone this morning, even changing the guard. One of the strangest clips I've done on this show, I think, yesterday, when that veered all the way across the track. Stun gun I mentioned in running. That was coming from a horse person yesterday. The final race, changing the guard. Beat. Grand Alliance, might bite over the other side. Well, why did he do that?
I don't know. It's been so weird, hasn't it? We've like I say, we've had the drama at Ascot, haven't we? I mean, Paul Hannigan started with the drama, and yesterday, I mean, I wasn't on changing the guard. I felt, but I just couldn't. Were you?
I was.
Oh, you were.
Like a lot of people were, but I didn't think I was going to win anywhere, bar the line.
Yeah.
And a brave horse, by the way, to keep going on that.
Very brave.
If you watch back that clip, which I did this morning, because I was a bit like, I wonder what we look like during that, because we watch these clips, we tell you what's happening, and we react. We wear our heart on our sleeves. As you well know, each of us, put our money where our mouth is. That's why we're on this show as panellists. And I watched it back, and Keith goes, what a grinder. Keith Melrose, who was on, and the horse is a lovely animal, isn't he? Quotes for the Ledger, obviously, after that. But we have seen some strange things this week.
Really strange.
But each one they've gone for. I'm going to say him, I'm going to say Kyprios, and Little Big Bear.
Yeah.
All three have won.
They're the ones that have been really punted out of the yard.
And maybe Meditate yesterday as well, despite that weird drift.
And the
she came right back in.
Kyprios showed as well. I know he was sort of a bit funny in the earlier stages of reigns, a bit loose.
He looked to be going a bit.
12-1 in running?
Yeah, he had a high.
Yeah, he looked a bit backwards, and then the attitude he showed at the closing stages.
Who was it who did the sectional? Someone told me the last 2 furlongs he ran faster than the horse that won the King's Stand.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of chat about that amongst the sectionalistas out there, weren't there? And we've
That's
since,
hard to believe, isn't it?
We've since looked. Apparently, Order of St George used to do similar things. And Yates is a bit different.
Because it looked to me with Kyprios, I know we're kind of veering off here, but it looked to me like he was going as fast as he wanted to go in the early stages of that race.
But seemingly, he's a horse that you might be able to run in the arc because he's actually not slow. You know, so they quicken, don't they? These stayers. Well, Strad.
Basically, yeah. I mean, you obviously didn't read it, but
No, look, I've got a lot going on.
I wrote
I'd like
a
to
piece.
reference your Friday column.
I wrote a piece on Thursday for the Gold Cup analysis.
You even got the paper out at one point, I remember. You were going to do it on the show and you were going to show everyone all that. So you were championing this blooming article.
I showed everyone my boat.
Oh, it was the boat. Yeah, of course. Sorry, yeah.
No, anyway.
Which we called changing of the guard.
Anyway, if you read my analysis on Thursday, it's basically about how staying races now are not about staying at all. They're about speed. Okay. You know, they go so slow for the whole race.
Yeah.
It's who can sprint the fastest at the end. And Kyprios is just a very good sprinter. Mojo Star, of course, has got loads of form over shorter trips. And the reason Stradivarius has been so dominant over the last few years is he can sprint amazingly fast. Like he's actually got better sectionals. Right. He's actually got better sectionals than some top class mile and a quarter horses.
When he won the Cigaro Stakes, we talked about this on this show on Thursday. That's why a lot of us was with him the year that he got beaten, because he quickened so remarkably well in that off a terrible pace.
He can run 11-second furlongs, Stradivarius, which not many horses can do.
Look, we're going to do that through the week. What are your absolute highlights? Has this been the best Royal Ascot in recent memories? Bearing in mind what we've been through over the last couple of years, to see the crowd back, the consistency of weather, as Barry said, favourites going in the big bunts. Whew, we have won the battle. Today we win the war, which was what Jack Reeve, who's doing our socials today, says to me. Absolutely, I'm seeing the ball big. I think the favourite wins. I think he wins well. There are a couple of other interesting horses against him. Are there any, according to you, Nat Green? That's the question.
I've got my fingers next to the ones I want to talk about that I saw in the paddock. The Foxes looks good in preliminaries, and that Crypto Force is interesting. What was it, 900 grand on Monday? Ammo Racing, throwing a bit more ammo at the racing game. I think Alfred Munnings is very difficult to beat in this, so I was going to do a bet like without the favourite, basically. So without Alfred Munnings, I was going to go on Alza here. It was a big gamble at Yarmouth to become into joint favourite. Now, what happened at Yarmouth, I've watched the replay many times, is just slowly way really didn't suit that horse, because actually the slow pace had made him far too keen. But what I loved the most, you might think I'm mad, is actually what he looked like past the finishing line.
Did you read my analysis of that? I wrote that in the paper.
No. Sorry, I was just watching it's how he rattled home.
I mean, it's all there for you. You didn't have to watch the replays. You could have just...
Oh, yeah, but I love watching the replays. It's how he rattled home to get second. But the few strides after the finishing line, I was like, that looks a good horse, to me. He looks open to loads. You know,
it's an to me.
Well, it's not an to me.
Yeah, so I know that. It's an to me. I'm not with Alza here. I think the third let the form down, and I think he came there to win the race. He didn't. He was very keen.
Yeah, because they went so slow. I
know he looked like a good horse that day. I think I probably said, actually, what did I say? He's a winner without a penalty next time. So, but I didn't see him coming to the Chesham really. And Naval Power's the horse that won it, and Charlie Appleby's won that Yarmouth novice with a lot of very good horses. But One Nation was disappointing, and he was arguably more inconvenienced than Alza here in that race. But look, it's Frankie and John. They put good horses in this light reach of the moon. Respect the pick.
I'm going without the favourite, obviously, because I do think Alfred Munnings, and I'm watching Alfred Munnings go down to start now, and he looks beautiful.
I'm assuming there is a without market here, Barry.
Oh, of course, yeah, there is. Your horse is 9-2 in the without market on the exchange.
That's juicy enough, actually, isn't it?
I'll go with that.
Is that the Fav then? I can't be the Fav in that market, can he?
Yeah, he's heads it up.
Oh, right, okay, 9-2 without a Fav. That's pretty good, isn't it? I'll let you get there while Graeme talks us his tip.
Well, funnily enough, when I did these sectionals the other day, the piece that I was just telling you about Kyprios, I did the sectionals on the whole card at Leopardstown when Kyprios won. And which horse won the first race that night?
Alfred Munnings.
Alfred Munnings won the first race that night. And I can tell you that he ran the last 3 furlongs around a second slower than Kyprios, despite running 7 furlongs and Kyprios running 1 3/4. Now, of course, Alfred Munnings is 2 years old, Kyprios is 4 years old.
That was going to be my retort.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of ifs and buts in that. But I just thought, if this horse is a proper Group 1 horse over 7 furlongs, which they must be hoping he is, surely he would be able to run a bit quicker than that. He would have been able to give Kyprios a right right, go. So I wanted to take him on that.
He has got the best speed figure according to my figures in the race, though.
Well, of course, yeah. But if he's run a faster overall time, that might be one of the reasons why Kyprios has run so fast. Because basically, if you run a faster overall time, you can't finish off quite as strongly, can you?
Yeah, really, really lovely, really settled.
Really weak in the market.
Is he?
Yeah, 244 now. One I will give a mention to, Colin Keane rides one here. It's the third string of John Goslin's One World. I just love the way he grounded out in Haydock. He beat Courageous that day, just got up in the shadows of the post to do it, but he looked like he had a really good attitude. He's a sea to stars, and I think he'll enjoy the better ground. Now, it might all happen a bit fast for him here, like a couple of these, because these are going to be, 10, 12 furlong horses next season, but he's one that I've had a little nibble at in the 4th place market on the exchange.
This race reminds me of the day that we've got coming up. You've got, if you like the Favs, there are horses that you can play.
There's a lot of multis on the likes of Alfred Munnings going on to Hurricane, going on to Home Affairs.
Yeah, that's the treble
and
today,
potentially Wordsworth in the last.
Of course.
Or that's with Trushan being in there.
Or Trushan, I guess. People will be looking at him, but the tip is...
Yeah, the tip is Crypto False, yeah.
Right, the one that Nat likes in the paddock.
Yeah, it looks very,
Michael
very
O'Callaghan, yeah.
You're not going to buy something for 900 grand that doesn't look well, are you?
Ran very fast sectionals last time out when winning the Curragh, beating a red hot favourite of Aidan O'Brien's, Auguste Rodin, I think the horse is called.
Yeah.
So that's my main selection. I've backed Crypto Falls. I must also say I've had a little bit each way on Finn's Charm, a decent price for Johnston's. Again, that ran very fast last time out.
Yeah, he was an imperious winner last time out.
He was entitled to.
He came up against the horse of Gosden's on its stable called Faisal Road. Did that run? Oh, in fact, it runs here, Faisal Road, of course, doesn't it? So they're closely matched. And Faisal Road's drawn in stall 1. We've seen that overcome yesterday on the straight track. There's a lot of banter about that. Perfect Power, much the best, wasn't it, in the Commonwealth Cup? What did you make of that? Again, highlights of the week. Let's build them up. Loads of time to talk in between races today. If you just join us, welcome along. Super Saturday here. The final day, boo-hoo, of Royal Ascot 2022. But fireworks still expected up until 5:35 here. Myself, Dave Orton, Nat Green, Graeme Rodway and Barry Orr from Betfair still in the studio. We'll be back next Saturday, just to remind you of that Irish Derby coming up. We're going to see Westover. I know it seems a million miles away, but then who remembers the first winner of the week by Eid? It's like well in the back seat, isn't it? We move on, and of course it'll be the Pitman's Derby as well. So loads coming your way still in 2022. We're going to do the whole of Goodwood for you as well. Lots of Newmarket action later on, Champions Day, all that sort of stuff. The flat season is just getting going. All right, don't forget to subscribe as well, I'm being told. We're just about to go a big milestone. And Dan Walsh, one of our producers, this is his big thing. He absolutely loves it. So like and subscribe. That's the way to chat to us as well. Ask your questions to Nat, to G-Rod and to Barry, and even myself if you want. Even the guys in the studio, you can ask them.
Did you see that?
I just about see it, yeah.
What's happening? Oh, we're all squinting, aren't we?
Trying to read what Devo's saying. I see that my mate Devo's back on, and you're completely ignoring him, Dave.
I'm not. I'm doing a bit of housekeeping, man.
Give him a mention.
All right, Devo. This is why British racing is always late. Matt Williams, who was in on the show on Wednesday, how good was he, by the way? He said, we are the world leaders at being late, Dave. 3 minutes to post time, and they're only just going onto the track for the first race of the day. Loads will be said. There's going to be postscripts of Royal Ascot, okay, next week. This is what we do here, obviously, at the Racing Post. What do you think the biggest one of them will be? Paul Hannigan?
Possibly, yeah.
And the Riddler. What else? Race times is definitely going to come into it. Is my point. Anything else, Neg?
What late race times?
Anything else, Neg, that's gone on?
I'm usually good at picking out negative things.
You don't say.
Nothing comes to mind really.
All right, well that's good.
No, the Riddler was obviously not good.
I'll give you a negative. The Queen hasn't had a winner yet.
Oh, bless her. She's
Oh,
not
yeah.
made it today either, is she?
That is a negative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
There was a real flat moment.
I guess the
wasn't it?
Frankie bashing would be another Neg, wouldn't it? Kieran Fallon, young Kieran Fallon.
He didn't really. I think his trainer came out and
I thought that was a
that
positive
the
in a way.
difference, yeah.
That's what
The way
my point
he handled
is.
it
Look
was
at the difference. I know
incredible.
Kieran's a young
Yeah,
jockey,
but
but
it's because they were trying to nurture the
Ian
young.
Haggis came out and said, listen, it's too easy
John's
to kick
still
these
doing it
kids.
today.
I know, he doubled down, yeah.
he's trebled down.
It doesn't matter how experienced you are. Frankie is his aura is energy, confidence. That's what he oozes. And I don't care how old he is, how experienced he is. You don't want to knock anyone's confidence. It's just not nice. It's clear that he's wrecked his own head the night he went home, trying to get himself out of it. So it's like I say, great yesterday that he did. But it doesn't matter who you are, having your confidence knocked, it's never going to be a positive.
No.
Yeah.
Big gamble here.
Go on.
The horse that I put up, One World.
Yeah,
He's 40 into 15.
Who's very, very well bred. He's a See the Stars goal. We haven't touched on the fact that Alfred Munnings is by Debawi. Out of, what's the dam called again, remind me?
Best in the world.
Best in the world. And of course, Alfred Munnings was the best painter of equines, died in 1950.
She's a sister to Found, Best in the World.
Arguably the best
Oh, yes.
equine painter in the world.
Well, at the time, I suppose. 'cause
It's
you've got
subjective,
stubs
isn't
and
it?
all
Like
that.
all art.
Yeah. And you would know,
Subjective,
well, as we
isn't
found
it,
out
Graeme?
earlier in the week, you're a fan.
It's in the
Last
eye of
couple
the
going
beholder.
in.
They are beautiful, but
Good luck wherever you played first race of the day here on Racing Post Live. It's Saturday. It's the Chesham. Since they changed the rules of this, it used to be basically you had to be by a sire of a certain stamina index. You can now do it on the dam as well. Guess what? It's turned into a better race.
come on.
And the good things tend to
Alzahar.
win. So if you're on Alfred Munnings, will it be the distances? Good luck. If you're on something else, a word for the Foxes as well. Watch out for him. Oshley Murphy singing his praise. He said by far the best 2-year-old that King Power
Oh,
has got.
mine reared
And we
out.
are away. And I'll tell you what, Alza here absolutely flew the boxes. Well, and Alfred Munnings is upside, but the pace coming down the middle, G-Rob, with the one you like, Finn's Charm.
Oh, it's only really
Dark
keen
30.
there, isn't
Dark
it?
30s, keen
Alza here.
as mustard. My horse.
Yeah,
is going
they're
well.
all coming right down the middle.
They
all
are,
Alfred
which will be
Munnings.
interesting to see what Ryan does here now then. What's he doing on the exchange after they've broken Barry?
He's out to 7 to 4.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because if anything, he's in what we might call the box seat.
Not going very fast, Dave.
Watch the Foxes in the King Power. Watch out for him. I want to see what he's doing. One word on the inside. What else? Where's the Crypto horse? He's got a nice bit of cover, has he?
Got loads of cover. He might need a run though.
Yeah, they're concertinaing up then,
Quite
aren't
rough
they, basically?
race, Dave.
For the crypto force, it's a bit rough.
There's a
there.
bit of bumping and barging in behind. which you
Crypto's
often
looking
see
for a
with the
gap,
two-year-olds.
but he's not going to get it. That side of Ryan
Alfred
Moore.
Munnings is coming now a little bit more into it, but crypto force, has not quite found.
What's this in the middle with the red, with the yellow?
That's Purling Path.
Purling Path, all right. So Alfred Munnings now starts to go away. Again, he's a horse that's going to stay all day. Frankie's about to fall in a hole. I tell you what, Finn's Charm is going to keep going,
going
and the
well.
favourite looks in some trouble, guys. In fact, he's absolutely cooked, isn't he,
cooked,
I think?
yeah.
So
This has
mine.
gone, this has flown, hasn't it? Absolutely gone all
Favourite's
over
in big
this.
trouble.
Which one's this?
Oh, no,
Holloway
this is
Boy.
one of the-
Holloway Boy.
This
the
is
only
this
price you
one.
want, isn't
Where's
it?
this come from?
Holloway Boy.
And there's
lads.
something finishing on the outside.
Holloway Boy.
Wow. This has gone.
Holloway
Wow.
Boy.
Look at that, over the top late. Alfred Munnings only 5th. That's stank.
Danny
Danny
Tudhope.
Again, Carl Burke, again.
Carl
Brilliant.
Burke, who won with Dramatised, of course, in the Albany. That was very well fancied. This one, off the radar. Why? Because the market was looking very much at the Ballydoyle hopes, and he just had one to aim at. Down the middle, they've come again, guys.
Runner-up done at 106.
I
So
thought it was
16 to
over.
1 on your runner-up. Holloway Boy, a Betfair SP of 42.
Wow, a word for Carl Burke, I
This
guess.
is great
in a minute
for the
then.
North, this Ascot.
You
It's
can
been
hear
brilliant.
the burnt fingers after yesterday on Alfred Munnings, can't you? Very much so. I mean, it was all going plain sailing, G, but what happened? He just looks
Look
like
at
he's
the
gone
winner
weak
there.
or something.
I thought the one in front was home. What was that? The one in the black.
Yeah, I was looking for it. It's again
Yeah,
two
Purling
horses.
Path.
Hurling
Yeah,
Path.
two
Purling
horses
Path.
that no one really mentioned have come clear.
James Sheridan, someone.
The winner traded at a high at 250 in running when he was last with a couple of furlongs to
40
race.
to 1 beats 80 to 1 beats 33
That's the two
to
rags
1.
of the field have come clear.
Yeah, and 33 to 1/3. If you got through the play spot,
How are we supposed to guess? The
Trifecta Queen could have got that one up.
Yeah,
Do you
right.
know what? I need to go back to
There's an
that,
eye
don't
catcher
I?
in
Back
third.
to my
Lakota
big-
Sue was in third. That was a big eye catcher for James Doyle, running on very strongly.
What
I
a
think they've
boil
had the
over
third
that
and the
is.
fourth. I'll tell you what. And again, look, it's great to see these sort of owners get. Look at them. They're really going for it in the paddock. We can see here, and it's again. What on earth would that try
First
class play? I
timer.
mean, yeah.
Never ran.
There you go.
newcomer.
Now, this has been a race over the years where maidens
And
have
by
gone
the
to
sire of the moment.
Ulysses.
Ulysses.
Yes.
they
Mighty
tried to
Ulysses,
do this,
etc.
did they not, last year with something?
That was just a weird race. Did anyone think we'd be starting the day like that?
I wish we'd known more. I wish I'd have rang Carl now. before I
newcomer.
had
Well,
his-
let's see what Carl said. It's a bit of a punt. Who was the horse last year they punted? Or was it
Yeah.
2 years ago? Kaboo, wasn't it?
I'll tell you one thing.
Nick
It's some.
Bradley, first time out.
Yeah, it's some race to break your maiden tag in.
It has.
Which is he worked now by Ulysses.
Yeah, maidens have. Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's
Isn't Danny?
enjoy him while he's
I
here.
always
what he's
really
saying.
enjoy watching Danny Tudhope. I love his.
How many
seat-
winners is that? 3 for Danny now.
No, 4 must be.
4?
Must be 4.
Have maidens won that in the past?
Have maidens
None
have
of the
gone to
Aidan
that,
O'Brien
yeah.
ones, I'm sure.
Yeah,
None of them
maidens
were
have
made.
gone to that race.
Really?
I'm sure Paul Cole used to do it.
I'm sure it's
Paul
4.
Cole.
Yeah.
Montjoy was one of his winners of it.
Paul
Yeah,
Cole.
I'm not-
Central Park.
What you mean is like first time outers. I mean, he's
tell
the
you
only
what,
one. I mean, that is some
Watching
performance. That,
watching
isn't
the
it?
replay here.
It's still
telling-
only a 40 to 1 chance.
Well, they went for. Well, they went. Yeah, as in like, should he have been 200 or
Been
something
backed,
like that?
hasn't he?
There must have been
Has he
something
been
from
back?
Money for well, it says 125, 100, 66, 50, 40 on this screen I've got here. So
it has been backed.
they've landed a little bit of a touch by the looks of it.
How
If
much
you
money would it take
watch
to
the
do that? I don't
replay,
know.
you need to watch this head on. You can't see it from here, but Purling Path has really
So-
snaked in the closing stages,
Look
wasting
at the
a bit
SPs
of
there,
time.
guys. Oh my
throwing
God, it's
it
got to
away.
be. Is
Watch
it
this
going
in
to
a
be one of
minute,
these
you'll
days?
see
Is
he
it?
really goes over. But you need to see it from the head on. It's very difficult on this
40
angle.
to 1
Maybe they're talking
beats
about it now.
80 to
Yeah.
1
He's
beats
struggling.
Lakota Sioux as 33 to 1. The trifecta
I
of
said that,
dreams,
you
if
weren't
anyone's got
listening.
it. Look, I know, because I'm trying to look. I've got
It's a
producers
boil over
in
of
my ear.
boil overs, Dave. It's an absolute boil over. Like you get boil
You
over.
look pretty
that's
nonplussed
like
about
a
it.
boil over of boil over of boil overs.
That's a treble boil over.
No, it's a quadruple boil over.
It's all right.
Prince
Okay.
Charles was fourth, wasn't he? I think I got 4 places on him. So.
All these people that have got so much profit from yesterday because the bookmakers took an absolute pounding. They're thinking, right, we've got Alfred Munnings in the first. We'll play a couple of shorties against him. Wow!
No, Nat was saying that Purling Path, he's running all over the shop.
Yeah, you need to see the head on. Yeah, I just caught it before. It wasn't like any drama. It wasn't going to bump anyone.
What
but
do
he
we know
really
about John
lost.
Stephen
It
Donohoe?
wasn't easy to steer, was he? That's for
It wasn't
sure.
easy.
in the second there, yeah.
Yeah, not a lot. Hang on, let's have a look.
John Stephen O'Donohoe, is he English?
2 Irish winners in the
sound it.
last 5 seasons. Wow.
County Kildare Curragh.
Amazing. So look, dreams can come true here at Royal Ascot. The first 15 races went to 15 different trainers. That's going to be something that's written about next week. The comparisons to other festivals, and I'm going to say the C word,
No,
but the
don't.
other festivals. But this has been great, isn't it? And again, we get a little bit snobbery from the Aussies and the Americans, especially the Aussies, how you can be a taxi driver and you can own a Group 1 winner over there. You know, the syndicates are everything. And
As
you
they
know,
are here. The owners
well,
group is
they're
great
getting
in that
better.
respect.
They are getting better, but this week has really showcased how it probably has levelled up a little bit. This has been an absolute pleasure, and let's face it, so much written during the winter, wasn't it, about how it goes to different, you know, only certain yards and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
no, it's just it just shows the healthy state of racing, flat racing
Yeah.
is, and it's
Yeah.
great prize money, and it's great to see it get spread around like that.
And if you wanted to have a runner at Royal Ascot, you hope with a 2-year-old, don't you?
Yeah.
That you get a pinger.
Yeah, you 5 2-year-old races, right?
Yeah. So it's like, you know, Windsor Castle, something like that. I don't know. So I don't know. That look, tricky for punting start that. We'll see if we can get you the winner of the Open jersey coming up.
That
Who
for him
had
there?
it? Anyone?
3 for him?
4. It's got to be 4. I hope I'm not wrong. I'm sure it's 4 for Danny, and his smile on his face.
Well, hang on, I'll find
and also
out.
for the North, it's great. But I don't want things to just always be the same and 2 level. I like the idea of private owners and big syndicates. I like the mix.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
want it
you're right.
all to be syndicates. I don't want it all to be private. I don't care if someone's a billionaire. I don't care if someone's not. I don't care if someone's a BIM. I don't care if someone's a politician. If you like racing, you like racing, and people need to be just less chippy. And the whole point is that we all want to get involved. But I don't want it all syndicates. I just want a mix.
Yeah,
And we've showcased it brilliantly over here, and that's what Ascot has offered. So that's it.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm with you.
Punch of the day.
100%. Yeah,
Nah.
spot on.
Benefits
4 winners, Danny Tulloch.
Yeah, 4.
4, yeah, that's his 4th. It benefits that there's in flat racing. There's not just the focus is not just one festival.
Yep.
It's hugely benefits flat racing.
Yeah.
I'm
It's got a
looking-
lovely continuation, hasn't it?
I'm looking at what
Class.
Danny's got coming up, by the way, because there could be some ramifications on the top jockey market, which always gets a bit lively unless Ryan's utterly clear, because there's no offers at one point.
Let's
I know
check
someone
it
that's got a really good bet on him at evens for that. And he's like, I think, you know, I'm pretty sure that's going to cop. And I went, oh yeah, I mean, you know, give it. I mean, look, I'm pretty sure that Ryan's still going to win it with the count balance for that. But he's got VAR Dream in the next.
He's still a 4 to 1 chance. Danny Todd Hope.
In fact, he's not got the biggest book, actually. I say the next. It's 420. Then he's got Fresh. And he's got Nate the Great in the Queen Alexandra, who you've given a bit of love for, haven't
Yeah,
you?
I quite like
in
that. Did you mention Finn's charm to get 4th there?
I think he got 4th, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He
That
did
was
get
quite
fourth,
good.
yeah.
that
was the best any of us, closest any of us got.
Closest.
Alfred
run, though.
Munnings,
Yeah, he ran well.
really disappointing he was, wasn't he? He didn't quite fit the mould of their previous winners. We said, do you remember I think we did the show after the Friday that he won, and I said, did you see that last night? By the way, Barry went, he looked a monster. You think of Churchill, who came on the back of just a 5th or whatever, Clemmy as well. Of course, they have had very well-backed winners win the race. And you think of Point Lonsdale last year was a 1 horse, wasn't he, and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. That was this weird run from Alfred Munnings. He
Yeah,
was,
maybe he's just not as good as they think. I thought he
well,
was.
evidently.
No, don't mean to blow my own trumpet, but I did say.
What, you with the sectionals,
He
you
did.
mean?
That he probably wasn't that quick because
He did.
Kiprios could sprint a second faster than him.
But it
You did
wasn't.
say
It wasn't even about quickening there, was it? He
But
was
he won't have
beaten.
it. Look, you can
did-
tell.
he did
You
say it.
don't like it. Look. Look at his little face. Look.
I
His
don't
little
like it.
face.
It's anything but a little face. But you're right. I don't like it. But all right, fair enough. I'll
Thank
give you that one.
Can I have the trophy for that?
You can. No, you can't. Well, I suppose
You're
you
the
can
closest
actually,
one
can't you?
with-
On countbacks, you can have it. Go on,
With
this is a
Finn's
little
charm.
tipping trophy that we're doing. Little move
That's
around the
the
desk as we
first
go.
one.
So far, you've got the first touch.
This afternoon. Who's enjoyed the show this week? Let us know. What's your highlight been? What's your funniest moment, clips, and all that sort of stuff? Let us know. Rosie Mardison was great, wasn't she, on Tuesday? Charlie Appleby's dog ate my chicken. Deborah. That was wonderful. She'll be back, Rosie. And again, she knows everything about bloodstock.
It wasn't wonderful, the dog
She
ate
wouldn't
the
be a big
chicken.
punter
No,
now
it
or
doesn't
anything like
sound
that.
very
But
nice.
shit, they had a good week as well, didn't they? Ropey Guest
Yeah.
was second.
Yeah, ran really well.
Amazing. I mean, they got.
Yeah.
What was she saying on the podcast? She did on the postcard. She got 19 horses and 4 ran at Royal Ascot. You know, Far Too Shy, Golden Spice, and Protected Guest.
Great.
Which was great listening to her do the commentary because we have a bit of fun here. We're an alternative reaction show. Your second screen experience, whatever you want, we're with you until the 5:35 this afternoon. And come on, the only way is up here now for the panel. I mean,
Yeah, we're all on the same one, aren't we?
no.
We're not. Oh, you've ruined it, haven't you?
I've opened myself out for an
Can I
absolute...
just say that it's great to have your copious notes back. You know, in recent times when I've worked with Nat, she's had them all on the screen, and I thought that
Becoming
she'd
a
gone,
bit too professional.
I thought she'd gone totally 21st century
Yeah.
with the screen, but the copious notes are back.
I've tried the screen. The only thing that I can't get without the screen is, you know, proper detailed information, because I've only got what's on here and what's in here.
You did have an afternoon off yesterday, so
I can't click around, but I think I do prefer, just because when I could change my mind, if I keep it simple and just go with what I think, then I think
Do you
it's-
find that if you write it down, it goes in, and if you don't, it doesn't?
not a lot goes in here, G-Rod. Doesn't matter.
as we found
Doesn't
out this
matter.
morning.
No,
Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter if you write it.
doesn't matter. But I think it helps.
Can I give you an answer to a question?
Can
Craig
you give me
Thakers.
an answer to a question?
Two that you just asked.
Okay.
Craig Thakers just emailed, and this is what you get here at the Racing Post. We're the best in the business. The last debut winner of the Cheshire was in 1996, and it was a horse called Charmic.
Oh, I've gone off it.
I can't remember who trained it, I have to say, but it was not. Your media guide will steer us that way, I imagine, Barry. But it was Charmic in 1996 was the last debut winner. We've seen quite a lot of debut places, apparently, either side of it.
Syed bin Sarur.
Saeed bin Sarur.
Richard
there you
Hale's
are.
owned by Hamdan Al Maktoum.
There we are. And that's a nice link because
there's a
I
nice
fancy a Shadwell horse in the next race.
They've had a
Syed
ride-off
bin
with the
Sarur.
winner there as well.
You look at, I mean,
Yeah, he was 100 into 40.
do you remember Kaboo last year for Nick Bradley, who had a great year, who usually has very good years, a syndicate, you know. Nick Bradley finds a horse, he's got some very shrewd people in it, and they always do very well with their 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. But in fact, they had second in the Oaks last year and all that sort of stuff, didn't they? But Kaboo was the one. And they whacked
Yeah,
it, didn't
they
they?
whacked
And it
it.
ran all right, turned
It
out
was
to be a good
like just
horse.
like that. Finished 5th though, didn't he?
Well, no, because Kaboo was nearly fav by the off, wasn't he?
Was
of
he?
whatever he ran in. I think it was like
yeah,
a-
he wasn't 40 to 1. He
huge
was
one.
about 10 to 1, I think. But that's probably because Nick Bradley's got more people involved in the
There's a
syndicate.
good story here because Jack Reeve has come in, and Mark Orofsky, who we know so well as Barry's deputy, of course, who beams into us. The drone pilot says Alfred Munnings, no good. Would sound a bit.
Was that
like
after the
wouldn't
race or before the race?
it? Well, absolutely. I mean, he was in here earlier, wasn't he? Just having a cup of tea with us. So yeah, was that before or after? I don't know. But I've got a story. Holloway Boy was only entered. We're getting from the track now. Thanks, Jack, for this. Who's eagle-eyed on our socials out there today, so he could get some admission badges after being let
Social
down
runner.
on a private box, which I've been hearing a little bit about this week. That's something else that will rear its head, I think. Holloway Boy was only entered so the owner could get some admission badges after being let down for a private box. Ends up winning a 59,000 race at 14 to 1. That's via Bruce, by the way.
That's great.
It's nice.
Love hearing that.
It's
Yeah.
just brilliant. And Elaine
Isn't
and
that
Carla
great?
and pictures now on the podium.
That'll be front page news of what happened at
Yeah.
the
Any
Sea
other-
Festival.
Well, there we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Of course, and the tricast in the first
Of course
stage,
it
Jack,
wouldn't
as
happen at the
Dan
Sea
told me,
Festival
paid
because-
66,000 to 1.
Not trained by Mully.
Who got it? Come on, own up, no one. Well, I don't know, people that are playing the numbers out there, maybe. People on track, probably. There'll be a couple of bookies, won't there, that will be thrilled out for him. I'm going to look down the lurchers and be like,
Yeah, the places.
£5, yeah, exactly like that. They've had it right off. OK, we're going to move on. We have got the Jersey Stakes coming up. Personally, from a purist point of view, I love this race. It's the in-between race, isn't it? You see horses don't get home in the Jersey or in the Guineas.
Perfect Power could have run in this.
Perfect Power, we said it's the perfect race for
Yeah.
Power. But, yeah, so these are the sort of horses. And, boy, Barry, it looks wide open.
Yes, it does. And at the moment on the exchange, they're currently betting 11-2 to field, so each of 2. Sam Brew is 11-2. Same for Noble Truth. Stars Girl Alma is 6.8. 7-2. Afelina Monada is 10, and it's 13. Dubai Legend. I like Star Girls Alma. She'd won 2 small enough races in Dundalk. She ran twice. She won one of them. Then she went to Garran Park on her seasonal debut. She'd done it well there, and she went straight to the Irish Guineas then. And up to around the 7 furlong mark, she looks like she can't be out of the first 3.
Yeah.
It's just in the last 100 yards or so she fell into a bit of a hole. She's stepping back to 7 furlongs here. She gets a £3 filly allowance, which is a big help to her as well. And she's currently 9-2 on the sportsbook. And I'm going to back her on the sportsbook because there's 4 places to each way punters there. So we're going to have 25 quid each way on the 4 places. Henry de Bromhead's a great trainer, and he's better known as a national hunt trainer, but he knows how to train these flat horses as well. Filly ran well yesterday.
We mentioned the Henry VIII last year when G-Rob was there and he turned up with Lismore.
Yeah. So just going on that Homeless Songs run, she's ended up beating 6.5 lengths in the Irish at 1,000 guineas, but she showed real promise up to around the 7 furlong mark there. So just taking a bit of a chance with her, but 4 places each way in the sports book, and that'll do me.
All right, OK, so in De Bromhead we trust, as so many people say during the winter. Barry switching codes, no problem whatsoever.
He seems like the nicest guy, Henry. Is he that cool, calm? Like, I don't know him.
He's a real box walker, I think, when he's watching a race and that. Yeah. Like, he can, but I think he internalises a lot of the pressure.
Yeah.
But I remember when Honeysuckle won the Irish Champion Hurl, and I walked back to the parade ring with him, and he was just like, oh, thank God for that. Because she has a winning sequence, you know, and they don't want that interrupted. It means a lot to them, I'm sure. But just the relief in the man as we walk back, you know, and then he puts on the game face again.
You get the feeling he doesn't like talking that much, actually.
It's just the 1 yard I'd love to go to, though.
Most of the times you see him interviews when he's just won a massive race, so I imagine it's easy to talk to someone like that.
He's a difficult interviewee as well. Like he's, won well.
Doesn't
very happy with that.
I mean, it could almost be the flat Aiden, couldn't he, a little bit? We've had that.
Gary O'Brien's good with him.
Yeah, well,
I get a lot out of him.
Kel Surprise, the voice, absolutely one of the nicest men in racing as well, is Gazza. Look at this on screen, an Ochra Slush. Don't. Punter who won 307k at Ascot. In his first interview says he can now afford petrol for his 2007 Vauxhall. That was a hell of a story, by the way, wasn't it? The man that went through the card there for £2.50 yesterday, wasn't it? I think.
Right, I missed that.
Oh,
yeah,
jeez. That was a...
It wasn't with us anyway.
Yeah, you wouldn't have missed it then. Don't think you'd be here now.
Well, I'd be out PRing it for sure.
Yeah. Let's get another one up. Yeah, come on, let's keep the socials coming in today. Come on, end of term stuff going on. Love it. All right, Jake Galloway. Jake, good to have you back with us, my man. He says, Alfredo in the nets. Can't believe it's the final day already. I said at the start of the week, didn't I? I always get a bit FOMO with these festivals. You know, the fear of missing out. That's the thespian in me, G. I know you can sort of see that in your face. You think, oh, that's the thespian in him. But I used to do these shows, and when it stopped, you'd be like, the next week, you'd be like, little tear going down your face and all that. So because you miss the crew, you miss everything. It's the same. You miss the racing. Everyone feels like they're part of the same, camaraderie. That's again why we do this show. We reach out to certain ones of you out there, and can't believe it's the final day.
There's a race next week that used to be run at Warwick. I think they maybe run it at Carlisle now because obviously they don't run a flat race at Warwick. But I always remember that being the best race of the following week. It's a listed race.
It's a slow week, isn't it?
And me thinking, oh God, what difference a week makes.
You've got Pontefract tomorrow, isn't there?
Yeah, Pontefract Sunday Series.
Oh, imagine that if you're on ITV, Sunday Series tomorrow. Man, I thought we worked hard. But listen, a shout out to the coverage. It's been very, very good. The numbers everywhere have been pretty much good, as the week's built up. Get that point in. But listen, has this been the best Royal Ascot? Certainly in recent years it has, hasn't it? I wouldn't say ever. That would be a bit difficult to say, but I think from a public point of view, The first 2 days easier to get around, wasn't it? A lot been said about that. It warmed Friday yesterday. Wow, some of the scenes you saw coming from the track, blimey.
Well, it's great when you get the weather, isn't it? Makes a huge difference. Not just for the racing, consistent ground, but also for the race goers. And all the women look great, all the guys look great. It's better in the sun, isn't it?
It does make a difference because you go on big meetings some days, and if it is really, really miserable, it's pretty hard to just. Who actually, without just stands there in the pouring rain and thinks, "Oh, this is great." I mean, it's not, is it? So this Platinum Jubilee, everything's fallen right for Ascot this year. It's remarkable, really. Everything has fallen into place, which is.
And the first year back with a full crowd, of course.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I think that's the thing that has really got me, actually.
The weather makes it as well for everyone.
Oh.
Yeah. The women can go in their finery and they get to show it off. They're not cowering in out of the rain or anything like that.
It's miserable having a big picnic and it pours down and your sausage rolls are all getting soggy and it all goes wrong. It's vol au vents are everywhere. It's
I saw some footage actually that was shown down
First
under.
world problems now.
Very much.
Hey, I'm full of them.
I was going to move on from that one. Absolutely. I wonder what you were doing at Hyde Park yesterday. I saw some footage from down under. I saw some footage from down under yesterday, and they often snipe at Royal Ascot in particular.
Dave mentioned Australia.
Ding, ding, ding. First one of the day. It's going to be plenty more.
Bingo.
We've not even got to the Platinum Jubilee yet.
I'm going to play that one week. Yeah,
we're
going to get a card.
Go on, Australia.
They often snipe at us because when they have the Melbourne Cup, they have the literally like a rave, and they think for the young uns coming through that they've got the generation of racegoers that want to be there because they know how to do it. Never mind your Newmarket, July, I don't know, sorry Peter Andre or someone like that. I don't know, Paloma Faith, whoever these attractions are. These guys go to the racing and afterwards they know they're going to get a DJ. I know we've seen it on Champions Day and stuff like that, but Royal Ascot in particular is the one that they go, it's so stuffy. Actually, yesterday they were loving the fact that they saw some pictures of the bandstand. It was rocking there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, maybe it's not like that. And I don't know. Let's see some of you more.
You've done some racing in Australia, Dave?
Has he in his time?
Yeah,
I have. Have you
story?
never heard that?
No.
I have. I spent a bit of time there.
Whereabouts again?
I did. I was in Sydney, Royal Randwick and Rosehill, Graeme. Been to Flemington. I've even been to Bunbury. I've even been to Murralimba. I have indeed.
You ever in Warra?
Warra, you name it, I've been there. They got an Ipswich, of course. They've got an Ascot over there.
They do.
Yeah, they've got Newmarket.
King's Cross.
They got a King's Cross. Yeah. They have got King's Cross.
Sticking on, eh?
They got an Oxford Street. They got everything. Yeah, they're quite right. They got King's Cross.
King's Cross, as in Kings and then a cross.
Yes, it's the
King's Cross.
Was thought to be the most dangerous street in Sydney. King's Cross was it? Yeah. Anyway. We digress, but fun enough, if you didn't know, I did start off in racing pretty much down under. And
I'm sure we've got a few Aussie viewers here who might even remember you.
We are going to, let's hope so. Actually, yeah. I don't know, I could try, I wonder if any of them do it. I bet, actually, some of them might be watching. And on the Tuesday, what are you laughing about now? What are you laughing about now? Because when you go, we've got to be careful, haven't we? As we found out this morning. On Tuesday, we got boosted, we think, by quite a bit of Australian viewing, actually, because you can't see the pictures everywhere, can you? You need VPNs and stuff like that, and they don't all have it. And, I mean, whenever we have the Grand National, we get people sort of from everywhere sort of dialing in. This is the show that you get to.
Barbados we had during the Grand National.
A Bayesian guy came in, didn't he? We've had Mike Navarro this week, of course, from the States.
And
loads of
Epsom,
people.
I think we had Barbados. And somewhere else in the Caribbean.
It's a chap that watches a lot of our shows, I think. They're everywhere. So the Down Under... what time is the Platinum Jubilee against? 5 o'clock, is it? No, 4:20, sorry. Of course it is. We will be seeing you there, so we'll be saying good day at that point. Will it be Home Affairs? Is he on the slide, Home Affairs, a little bit, Baz, on that? 4:20. No, he's solid?
No, he's steady away.
Is it a 2-1 looks a little bit like it might be?
No, he's 5-2, 3.5.
All right. They've got Artorias in there as well, so they're doubling down.
Yeah, well, they're the first and second in the market, haven't they?
Yeah, that's absolutely right as well. I mean, I'm not telling you how to suck eggs to tell you that form is pearl.
Well, I suppose after the King's stand, everyone's back to the belief now that the Australian sprinters are just going to be better than ours.
And it's more because we don't have the stars that we had a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Creative Force is good, our Commonwealth Cup winner.
There could be a couple of stars in this, though.
Maybe. There's a couple that are trying to reinvent themselves as sprinters as well, aren't there?
Sacred heads that
Sacred and alcohol-free.
Yes.
2 fillies.
True.
All right, Tom Barras comes back on, one of our favourites. Find at a massive each-way price here. Now, Tom, were you watching? This is going to be one of my favourite ones of the day. Stranger things have happened. Why do I remember Find, Graeme?
Why do you remember?
Why do I remember the name Find, the horse Find?
Don't know why.
Didn't you tell us it was an absolute knocking certainty on one of these shows?
Don't remember, but I've done. I might have done.
I think I'm going to remind you here, and Tom would like to know why Finder's got why Finder's running here.
When did I tell you that?
And obviously you've done your homework on this race.
Uncle John's horse.
When it was second,
maybe Uncle John gave me the nod.
When it was second to Gallic or to Galliac.
Yeah.
At Goodwood, if you were to go back on the 21st of May, I know because
right.
I've been having a whole years of him telling me things are going to win.
Yeah.
And you ended up as first place loser, but it ran very well at 7-1.
Yeah,
wakey.
Yeah. Sorry, I remember now. Uncle John. Yeah, he ran at Sandown and was drawn and wide and ran very poorly at Sandown because he got caught on the outside. Was a bit free. Then it got drawn right on the inside. Goodwood 7 furlongs, obviously ideal, wasn't it? He had a great run through the race. Everything went right. He just couldn't beat Galliac.
The big bear was getting his arm up in the air, thinking he was going to do it. So Find is in this, and
Galliac what?
Don't worry, I've got his back, everyone.
Yeah.
But Tom, G-Rod thinks it's a pretty good horse, don't you? Do you think it's... I mean, Samburu looks the one for the Gosdens, isn't it? A bit weird that's wearing cheek pieces.
Find in the liveries of...
Because it's 1-1-1, and it's bred to be very, very good, and here it is wearing cheek pieces. Not done anything wrong, is what I'm saying. Negative. I'm not suggesting it's a negative. I think it just tells us something about the character of the horse.
You were sowing a little seed of doubt in people's minds there as to why the horse was wearing.
Give him 3 days,
pieces.
And he started to really come back.
We're sowing a little seed, though.
Yeah, I think like in a big field in a place like Ascot, it wouldn't bother me too much. It's funny though. I've just really had a good look at Samburu. Looks like a real Kingman, and Noble Truth, both obviously at the same side, but interestingly, really quite different looking types. Like Noble Truth's a bit more rangy, a bit more sort of slight athletic, and Samburu looks a big colt, that Kingman colt.
Yeah, a little negative for Samburu, 8 to 8 now on the exchange.
Yeah, he was
6.2
I've just sowed the seed. The seed of doubt has been cast. Oh, it didn't work for Mother Earth, did it? And I mean, but again, she was much more exposed. What I'm saying is, it's a horse that's unbeaten. You know, but theoretically, it comes in with the same profile as Inspire and horses like that, doesn't it? You know, but it's just unbeaten. But what I do know about Samburu is he has made it a slightly harder work of winning, certainly at York last time when he was totally expected. He went to Salisbury. I think I did that race.
He must be mounting audience out on the track.
Yeah,
the looks of it, because he's gone walking through with John.
This is the third of the Gosdens.
And also 2 handlers just to keep a lid on audience.
Here's the link. Audience, basically. Ryan Moore gets on. He's also riding Sacred Who Barry Likes in the Platinum Jubilee for Cheveley Park as well. Ryan Moore, Cheveley Park. When his old days at Stout, it's just a firm that you go to, isn't it? Audience has been odds on the first 2 times, and first time up at Newmarket, probably beaten by the draw. It was then odds on at Kempton last time behind a horse that I backed called Monadar. And I think that Monadar, now £6 better off, is a good thing to confirm that. Von Kills wasn't convinced. And we watched it back closely a couple of times in the office yesterday, and I could see where it's coming from. At 25 to 1, audience, if I like Monadar, I had to have a little bit on, so I did. I just don't really see it. Monadar led that day, Barry, which was my worry coming in here for the Jersey. Nothing makes all in the Jersey. And again, the straight track, as we just saw in the first, funnily enough, last the first.
Yeah, there's a lot of pace on, isn't there?
There's a lot of pace on. I'm hoping that Jim
horses,
Crowley wouldn't be your archetypal front-running jockey,
I don't think
would
he has to front-run on Menard. I don't think he will. I think
he's got that late Sheikh Hamdan, sort of breeding. I want my horses 3rd and 4th. That's what Sheikh Hamdan used to say to his jockeys. Wide to instruct Richard Hills. He used to front run quite a little bit, but he basically wants their horses prominent, or he used to. And I think if he takes a tug, he's going to love this track. It was a really good time at Kempton as well. Monadar for me. Matt Williams, pro punter, who was with us, of course, ex-colleague at the Racing Post. He said this was one of his bets of the day. I'm not deserting this horse. He's also 1-1-1. He hasn't got any cheap pieces. And, of course, he is in the first Shadwell colours. Who was it that messaged in about... It was Jake Galloway, wasn't it, about Al Flayler as well. Owen Burrows. And, again, he's got Minzal coming up at 4:20, doesn't he? Hookham. Poor Hookham.
Yeah.
I think is that the last we've seen of Hookham?
I don't know if with a fractured fetlock. I mean, you need some seriously good vets to. You don't want to have anything fractured, and fetlock
as you well know. I mean,
fetlock's quite a complicated joint.
I'm often trying to speak to you in the week to see where you're going and all that sort of stuff. And when your nick's coming in and when we can get you and all that sort of thing, and you're like, the vets. I mean, it is we could do our own show talking to you about that.
But there's a lot of stick, isn't there, about we forget sometimes as punters, as pundits, as raceco fans and everything, just how difficult it is to get a horse to just put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, and look, one thing I would like to say is that they won't race if they don't want to. These race horses, this is what they want to do. But yes, they're very fragile and it takes a lot to get them on the course. So personally, yeah, fractured fetlocks is far from ideal just because of the complexity of that joint. Yeah, I had a very strange accident with my horse. He just stood on a piece of wire found in the field. No one's fault. He's only 4 and it went straight through the frog. Said he had 36% chance of survival and he's absolutely fine. Luckily, he missed the joint and fine. Noble Truth is a little bit lit up.
He's clear favourite now.
Going down to start. I mean, he does look beautiful, but he's
Was
keen
anyone
enough.
on Noble Truth? He wears a hood, obviously, not just on the way to start. It's not one of the red ones. He is a keen horse. Noble Truth?
This is interesting. There's Jim Sefton is right here, isn't he?
Jim, what are you saying?
Yeah.
What are you saying? Oh, here we
German
go.
radar is a good shot of the race. The race in Germany was a good one. Roger Gianni, was beaten a length and a quarter by Maljoom, who of course should have won the St James's Palace Stakes in the German 2,000 guineas. They were 5 lengths clear of the third, so there's a good gap.
Now, what I would say about that, Jim, you're right. And this is interesting. Yeah, great shout, that.
Can you tell me who rides here?
Borzan Murzabayev.
That's a fairly decent start.
Borazan Muzabayev. Absolutely. Once you hear it once, you can coin it. Yeah, but I'm glad that you did the groundwork.
I didn't love
It's
it
like most
in
of
the...
the shows we work on that, isn't it? You know, you do all the notes, I can steal over and I'll just take all the glory.
I hope it runs better than what I didn't like it in the paddock. So I hope it runs a lot better.
Did Barazan... Oh, God, I've already gone wrong with it. Did Barazan... It's got to be Barazan, isn't it? Did Barazan did watch. If you watch back that Maljoom race, he gets not just first run, he gets first run, second, third run, fourth run, fifth run on Maljoom and he still got picked up. And...
Oh, right, okay.
But... Because that's when I spoke to Stevie Dono about his riding that. I said, did you think you'd let him slip? Because he looked like he'd gone. And that was when they thought Maljoom was, we got a proper horse here, because ultimately he had no right to win that. So, but we're going to find out the Maljoom test.
I don't know what we're talking about half the time. You know?
You've lost it.
There is money for the old Burrows horse.
Is there?
Yeah.
This is Jake Galloway's horse who he's put in. Yeah, we're talking about Germany, dear. Don't worry, it's all good.
What about Toy My Son? Toy Me Son?
I mean, come on.
They've got a good chance.
Oh, Toymy's son, the French trader.
Yeah.
For a much easier and well-known jockey to pronounce, Gregory Benoit. Tell us about this. Why has that caught your eye, Gene? Is that the tip?
It's not my tip, no. I just like the name. Thought it had a really good name.
Toymy's son.
Yeah.
Has the French won this? They must have done in recent years.
Oh no, my tip is Monada. I'm
we're
all over
doubling down.
Monada. Yeah,
Nice.
Monada.
Monada.
I keep Monada.
It's easy to get tongue-tied on this show.
Andre Fab won.
I'd say
most
Monada
recently.
Yes.
instead of Monada.
Monada.
Yes, he did.
Bravido.
Le Bravido. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Who did he beat that year? Le Bravido was 2-1 Fav, and he beat Spirit of Valor, didn't he? And Mubtasim and good horses like that. Dream Castle in the back. Yes, remember that. He never quite went on with it.
I think
did
he's
he?
the only French winner.
Yeah. Wow. There you go. So if you're on Toymy's son,
sure.
thinking Vive la France again this week, I'm afraid
They haven't had a winner this week.
statistically, haven't they had one yet? So Sevilla Spain was supposed to be the one, wasn't it? That was taken out of the.
You're wrong.
He's
out of the
incredibly weak in the market, isn't he, Monada? He's 18 on Betfair.
stalls. I mean, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's huge. I've taken 2
That is ridiculous.
in this race. I'm backing 2. Monada,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons that we've already said. I don't think I have any problem with the turf. Maidan
No.
in March, followed up Newcastle and Kempton, which keeps them at least all-weather form on an Ascot
Yeah.
sandy track. And the other one, don't ignore Dubawi Legend, because Hugo Palmer absolutely loves this horse. As far as it's kind of been the apple
He's
of
already
his
had
eye.
second, hasn't he, this week, Hugo?
Yeah, look,
Flaming Rib.
Don't forget it was second in last year's Dewhurst. It just really hasn't gone to plan. I mean, he's just in calmer waters here today. The 2,000 guineas, the Breeders' Cup on fast ground there.
If you go back to his Naces trail form,
It's more the long sprint distance that will suit him today here.
it's just whether he's dun 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 trained on.
Yeah.
That's which is what Graeme hates.
Bingo.
It's just
Another
the
Racing
form-
Gross bingo.
The form the yards
Back
are
on
in.
quick ground and James Dorr there, and he has been back that one, I think.
He's a pace angle, isn't he?
Here we go.
Yeah.
He's gonna be up
Yeah,
there.
all right, okay, we're going in there.
Right
Let's get
up there.
excited. So, to remind you, a lot of love out there for Star Girls Almar. It's the Homeless Songs form. It's an Irish 1,000 guineas. My worry with her at a short price was, did she beat horses that really want a bit further? And let's face it, she didn't get near the winner.
Did she beat horses that want a bit further?
I mean, you're talking about like Tuesday was upsides, wasn't she? And Concert Hall, horses that were running on in the giddy. I don't know. I wonder if it's a bit of red herring, but I see the stiff 7 furlongs, and of the 3 market leaders now, she'd be the one that I would prefer.
Is it
I
a
think.
stiff 7? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, very.
Very.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah. On the climb. Very. Dubai Poet, we've not mentioned for Roger, who's off the mark. Hello, you. Talented horse last year. We've got the German Guinea second. We've got Find, who Graeme thought was of the century when it ran at
Find of the century.
Goodwood.
There's a bit of money for him, isn't it?
Audience, of course. All right, good luck wherever you're playing. Second
go.
race of the day. Let's have some fun during the Jersey. And we are on Find. Again, not great from the boxes.
Well,
Sam
they're coming
Burrow's come
towards the
out.
stand side.
What's not?
No,
I'll
they're
tell you
not.
what.
No, they're
Now,
not.
interestingly, we didn't think Monada would lead.
Yes, they
They're not
are.
going to come stand side and
They
do
are.
our
There's
heads
two
in now,
groups.
are they?
Two groups.
Okay, so
They're more
Noble
towards
Truth.
stand side.
Noble
they'll
Truth,
merge. They'll
he is
merge
like
in
a
the
Monada
baby.
on the far side. A horse that likes to get into rhythm. He's got quite sweaty Monada. Maybe that's why the drift was there.
Yeah, I think that's
What's this on the near side? Now, if you're leading the German
Noble
Guinea
Truth.
second,
Noble
Roger
Truth,
Noble
Neely,
Truth, yeah.
Roger Gianni, you are going pretty quick. So
Oh, legend looks
now
good.
we're on the
Right
stand side.
rail.
All week we've waited for this, and it's
Saturday.
Noble Truth exploring the path under William
Going to be
Buick.
some
Finally.
trouble in behind. Oh, someone come down and they. Oh, it's
Hang on a minute.
There's a
What are you
right
looking at?
melee. There's
No,
a
they
right
didn't.
melee.
Nothing came
Hang
in.
on, Alfada. Widest of all is audience. Looking for the Favs then at this point. Where's your one, Barry? Got a lovely bit of cover.
Sitting in behind the Hamdam horse.
Monada, of course. Now, this is going to turn into a bit of a burn-up. Frankie Dettori
way,
now
don't
gets
it?
the rail, and Sam Burrow really responds to
Come
these
on,
cheap
Debarwi,
pieces.
move
Monada
up.
probably best placed. I'll tell you what, the stablemate Find has also got the rail. Who knew there was a golden highway there this
There is,
week?
there's a golden
Noble
highway.
Truth is digging deep. Monada, no good, he's run flat. Bit of argy-bargy, very
on,
Brian.
Debarwi, let's
find
And
you.
Noble Truth is coming back. Find is coming back. Hello, you down the outside. Dubai Poet. Dubai Poet over the top. Noble Truth, Samburo, cheap pieces. You can see
The
why.
favourite's gonna win.
Absolutely threw it away. Buick
Dubai Poet then.
wins the second on the stand side. All week, 1-2 for John Gosden there. Find, oh, his knee talented. He's run on his second as well. Samburu, he must have gone low, Samburu, Barry, faded away.
Yeah, he really did, didn't he? He fell into a bit of a hole, Samburu. He hit a low in running on the Betfair Exchange of 202, so even money. Samburu, your second placed horse, Find, he hit a low of 2.2 as well. For 647 quid, and the third place horse Dubai Poet, that's ran a cracker.
Ran really well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That was kind
he
of
hit a low 6-4.
it's quite
One of the
eye-catching.
gutsiest performances of the week, this, from Noble Truth.
Yeah, and you'd have to think that being on the stand side has really, really helped him. That was the biggest surprise of the race. G-Rod called it when they broke. He said they're going to come
Yes.
up the stand side here. I said
All week.
no way they'll merge in the centre. But they all came across then. Did the jockeys just have a crisis mid-race and think, oh, they're staying over there, we better get ourselves over here? Because that really changed the complexion of the race because there was so much scrummaging in behind.
This is why you want to be watching this show right now, because we will pick the bones out of this. The absolute news from that is, well, it's another one of a Godolphin, Charlie Appleby and William Buick. The gutsy Noble Truth, who tried to make a lot of the running on the stands rail. Why did they do this, G? So we've got things like going sticks to help us. We've got things like this is the 5th day of the week on the...
They're on 14 and 15 to win.
And now, here's the reason why I think they've done it, finally, is because the one proper pace angle in the race has gone straight there. And you're right, all the other jockeys, when you speak to them, you say, what is it about the straight track? Where do you want to be? There is no perceived biases there. And they say, no, there isn't. Even when it's quick one side, we all want to follow a leader. So when we call jockeys lemmings, it's not necessarily just to take the mick out of them. It's because they genuinely follow the leader. And that's exactly what they've done there. So why did they come down the centre in the first race? Because that's where the pace was. So are we now going to see, finally, high numbers starting to come to the party?
Yeah, it's probably fresher ground also.
That's
isn't
the other thing.
we are on day 5 of 5 here,
Yeah.
so and they've hardly raced on this stand side all week.
So is
the
everyone
rail's
looking
out.
at the draw now for the Platinum
that's-
Jubilee?
and the
Everyone wants to be
Wokenham.
with high numbers now.
Possibly.
That's what, finally.
What was the melee? What happened?
He was looking, I don't know what he
about
was
It was
looking
just
at
with they Constantine it a bit
Right,
when
and
they
they
all
just got-
decided, right, we're going over the stand
He was
side.
looking at the July course, probably on the other screen then, wasn't he, or something
No,
like that? I don't know what
it
he
got
was
very,
looking
Well,
at.
they
tight.
just got tight and then,
Yeah.
But no, Dubai Poet, that's not quite an eye-catching run for me, that.
Tell me about why.
Just how stuck to the task, and then obviously Noble Truth here on this side, and power's sort of clear, but look, it's not much between them.
My poet was drawn too.
That's a good performance.
That's a big run.
Good performance that is from Dubai
So
Poet.
he's come right across.
That is the one I'm going to take out of this. My poor...
Your horses are in
Yeah,
handicap.
anything in
Royal
single
Legends.
figures that's gone anywhere. What find? We're now calling that G-Rod's horse.
He ran well.
Do you think he does find? Do you know what I mean?
What?
Do you think
Wow.
he finds?
I'll tell you one horse that didn't.
Like,
Oh,
Henry de Bromhead's filly.
and Monada,
Looks like she's
that was
no trip.
disappointing.
And Monada was disappointing, yeah.
Again, the market told us that, didn't they? That late drift on Monada was
Yeah.
stinky. Wasn't it?
But
Also,
isn't
it
that
was
great
9
though?
to 2.
40 to 1 fine. Dubai Poet 20 to 1. So if
Anything
people are-
low there, take that out of the race. I mean, Rog, when he points one at a race that looks like it's got, interesting form, because you need to look twice. And
Yeah.
I don't know. The form of that race, I think, will be red herringy, don't you? Right horse has probably won, but he is exposed, isn't he? Loved his attitude, by the way. Love a horse that looks beat and then gets back up. Don't often see it on the straight track
I'm a
making
bit
virtually
frustrated
all.
by that. A bit frustrated by that result.
But some of them couldn't get close, and more to the point, you were drawn out of it. Some horses over the top. Will we be seeing proper group horses come out of that?
Frankie don't look
Unlikely.
happy. What a surprise.
No, he doesn't.
Well, because he came there, didn't he? And we said about the cheap pieces for Samburu, we can see why they were on, because it's fair to say he totally lost concentration.
I wonder what he just said then. I wish he just said something to Clive Cox. I wish I could lip read. Maybe that would be my niche.
Yeah.
He probably just said he
Train as a
I think he
lip
probably just said
reader.
He dogged it. Third winner of the day for
Do
Appleby.
meditation.
Oh, Appleby's having winners at Newmarket, isn't he, of course? Charlie Appleby, lots said about his stable form. William Buick, of course. They all want to ride winners on this, the biggest stage, and it's...
I just don't think he had, I don't know what people moan about Charlie Appleby. He was just waiting for the horses for the big meetings. He wasn't exactly off form. He just having a quiet couple of weeks before Royal Ascot. It's not the end of the world, is it? It's like saying about, it's normal.
Yeah, well, yeah. Can't train winners all the time,
No,
can you?
it's normal.
But the strike rate did dip.
Yeah, but it should. Every trainer's strike rate
We were
dips.
told that there was a bug going through Newmarket as well, by Newmarketers.
They all get a bug. They have to have their equine flu jab.
Everyone gets the bug about
Yeah.
this show, Nat, and when you're on it, they've all got the Racing Post Live bug, which is lovely, isn't it? And now
is lovely.
this will have ramifications, of course, Barry, for the price of the next horse coming out to play, which will be the Jolly. Of course, it's Hurricane Lane representing, ding, 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 William Buick, Charlie Appleby, and the boys in blue.
Yeah, the same connections.
Someone said to me, I think this will go out to Eves earlier when I was driving, and it was lots of 5 to 6 being dangled about. It looked like it was going one way. Of course, Third Realm has come out, but he's now hardening, surely.
Yes, he's currently trading at 180, which is bang on 4 to 5 on the Betfair Exchange. 180, bang on 4 to 5. It's 7 Broom on the Exchange, 8-8 Mustadaf, 13 Solid Stone, 14 Lafayette. He wants given the ground. I think Living Legend 30 and 48 away he goes. Like you say, Third Realm, a non-runner. Each way punters again.
Yeah.
Absolute nightmare
Yeah.
because it's 2 places here, but the Betfair Exchange still
Gonna
it's
play
3
3
places.
places.
If you've bet in the 3 place market on the Betfair Exchange, if a horse comes out like that, it's still 3 places.
Great.
And everyone, anyone betting on the exchange should know that. But
Good. isn't it?
just to reiterate that for people out there.
It's important for everyone in this race if you're not with the Fav, isn't it?
Yes.
Because we're looking at 5 to 1 bar. That's it. Most people will be looking at Broom now as a horse that ought to be thereabouts.
Broom will not be far away here. He'll come on a ton for that run in Ireland over 2 1/4 furlongs behind Alan Kerr. He will come on a ton for that run, and he's probably the place play in the race if you want to bet it safe. I think Solid Stone has a chance. I think Broom has a chance. I think
Why
Hurricane.
did you change your mind on Solid Stone?
Which
Of course we're allowed to do, by the way.
Yeah, I was tossing up between Solid Stone and Broom. My play is to lay the favourite.
I assumed you changed your mind because of the 3 place, because I didn't. I thought you must have seen Third Realm coming out and thought, all right, because I think I love,
I
the
think
Stone,
Broom,
as I said, but it's an
if
each-way play.
Looking at it, if I had to have a match bet, I'd take Broom over Solid Stone. So,
Oh,
yes.
are you trying to get me involved, are you?
Well, we'll see. But the play here is to lay Hurricane Lane.
Okay.
He's the class horse in the race. He's won an Irish Guinea. He's won the race in Paris. It's well documented what he's done. But I just don't like that we haven't seen him till mid-June. Now, some people are saying, "Oh, Charlie always said that this was going to the way he was going to campaign him this year. Looking towards the autumn, and that ground's probably as fast as he's going to want it as well. He's not going to get a hard race. He's not going to get knocked about. His class could get him through. But I just thought that the likes of Solid Stone, I like the way they supplemented the horse into the race. Broom, I think, will come on a ton for the Kerr run. So at the odds, he's 1.78 at the moment. We're going to lay him. We're going to set our own odds here. We're going to look to lay him at about 176. And we're looking to take 50 quid at a backer stake. So because we're setting our own odds there, we want people to come in and back that with us. So we'll confirm the bet, and that'll go into that back column. So we're gone up at 176 for a liability at 38 quid. So what we're actually doing there is backing the field at 5-4 against.
There you are. That's the education that you get on this show, and you've got plenty of time if you want to react to Barry's lays. Now the lays, this will be the fourth one that I've been totting up. I was just doing that in my head then when you were chatting away. James Millman on Tuesday, who sat in your seat, he place laid Golden Pal. Ding. Okay. You laid Reach for the Moon. Ding. In Spiral, we took her on, and so we got the 2-1 there. All right. So this is the fourth of them, and of course, look, we're showcasing the functionality of how we do this sort of stuff.
And it's all for charity.
And it's all for charity. So listen, we listen. It's a bit of a poison chalice, this for Batter at the moment, because if you said this is the good thing, and there are reasons for why you might want to be looking to take him on. Let's face it, we're staying earlier in the week. Where's he been? A lot of people are expecting this was his first port of call, and we've seen that he's working well. We think we don't know the horse he's up against at home, but if he gets sunk, you don't want to be doing that. So look, good luck if you're on Hurricane Lane. A lot of people think this is the banker of the entire week. Graeme, Rodway, do you agree?
No, I don't. I think he'd get beat. I don't think he's as far clear as people think he is for a start. I've got him a couple of pound clear, my figures. These are the same figures that had
But
Desert
not 6
Crown,
to 4 on clear.
The same figures that had Desert Crown £9 clear in the Derby. I've got him £2 clear. So if he's £2 below form, first time out after a long break, I think he could be in trouble.
You wouldn't be, you know, watching wherever you are right now on track or whatever, going right. This is the moment.
No.
This will be multiples shattered all over the land.
Yeah. No, the other argument has been in the race that, Kills made this argument. I don't agree with it. Is that Broom is by far the best of the rest.
No, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
I am a Broom fan.
I like Broom, but I don't think he's by far the best of the rest.
And he's a Group 1 winner, isn't he?
I have him £2 clear of the rest. That's not by far clear of the rest, is
it? He ran in this last year. He was second, of course.
What's he know anyway, that guy Keeley? What's he know? Right, yeah, I know.
Could have said lots of different things
The
there.
horse that I fancied, he's a non-runner, Third Realm. That was the one I was...
Well, you fancied him?
Well, I backed him, so I'll get my stake back. But I've had 2 bets in the race, but it's a double whammy, right? Because not only have I obviously backed Third Realm and Lafayette both each way.
You're down to 2 places.
I'm down to 2 places. So one of my bets is out, and I'm down to 2 places on the other one with Lafayette. But I backed Lafayette each way.
Why?
Last time out, rapidly improving out of nowhere. Noel Mead and Colin Keane teaming up. Won 3 in a row in Ireland over a mile and a quarter, but finished very, very strongly last time out when beating Bear Store in a Group 2 there. He beat High Definition the time before.
Well, High Definition is so hard to get right, though, isn't it?
Form's okay. I don't have Lafayette that far behind Broom, and he's double the price of him.
I'm just concerned the ground for him because
we wouldn't mind a bit of a rain, says Neil.
On good to firm ground in the Royal Hunt Cup, and he was fancied in it as well.
Yes, he was.
He didn't go well on it. Having said that, now he's only beaten 7 1/4 lengths, and it's a good race.
Yeah.
Real World won the race, so
I tell you that I've said this a lot, but the amount of times that I've put myself off winners because I think I've gone, I'm not sure about the ground on that, and then I leave it, and then I see it bolt up with firm ground, and I don't even look at the ground anymore. If I think horse has got a good chance, I just back it. And if it goes on the ground,
it'd be one of the main considerations for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. It has a lot to do with Solid Stone as well, who I'm about to come to. But Natty.
Yeah, well, this is quite hard for me because Hurricane Lane is my favourite flat horse in training ever. I mean, it's just some of it is the way he looks, but I'm just obsessed with it, with its big, wide, chunky chest, and I absolutely love him. I think also because I've followed him so closely since his debut. To be honest, I just love this horse. He goes well fresh, so it does not bother me. This reappearance, I haven't seen him for a while. Goes very well fresh. He's very experienced, but I'm going to play this without the fav because otherwise I wouldn't be that stupid.
I want to see this market myself now.
So Keels and I this morning we both have exactly the same bet, so we're playing it without the fav, and that is Broom because it's a Wonderful Tonight form. And it's not because I think Broome is way clear, because I don't. It's just the way I'm going to play this. I can see the appeal with Solid Stone, what 3 from 4 with cheek pieces on, blah, 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 blah. You can all see it for yourself. So you've got to go on just on your gut here. And I'm going to play without the fav because I can't emotionally have negative against Hurricane Lane, but I wouldn't back Hurricane Lane at 1.84.
I have this thing at the moment where I'm starting to believe that like the Coolmore clones, like Attack of the Coolmore clones, like Broome is a very similar horse to Changing of the Guard. Changing of the Guard is a very similar horse to all the other middle distance colts.
They haven't got a lot of older
Well,
colts.
there's a lot to be said. They were desperate for Luxembourg to be the one because there is a gaping hole.
Colts, yeah.
And last year they got wiped with, didn't they? You know,
Like,
apart from St
But
Mark's
they haven't got a
Basilica.
lot of older colts. Like
That's what I mean.
Broome,
they haven't
like,
been coming through.
No.
The fact that they're relying here on Broome, and I am a big Broome fan. I got to talk to Aidan about this chap just before he ran in the Tats Gold Cup, the form of which we saw advertised, of course, in the Prince of Wales, didn't we, on Wednesday? However, State of Rest was definitely having a prep for Ascot in that. He wasn't totally different tactics. You can't hang your hat on that. My worry about Broome, I think he'll be there to be shot at late on. Will something have a go at him? I think that they'll bounce him out. He's stank in the betting this time around for the Tats Gold Cup. He was only just touched off in it last year by Helvet Dream. No means-alls, of course.
But he ran accordingly.
Of course, it was a better Tats Gold Cup. It was a proper Group 1 this time.
Yes.
Alan
It's a
Kerr
good
won it, of
renewal
course,
of it,
and
yeah.
Lord Northern, you know.
Yeah.
It was a good renewal. But on a line through a couple of these horses, I don't think he is a clear second fav. I know he's a Group 1 winner. That came in France, obviously. His best tactics is when he gets on with it. He's a proper grinder. So I'm a bit lukewarm on. I know the market is as
proper
well.
grinder, like Changing of the Guard, isn't it?
Like Changing of the Guard. He's just a horse that's got,
like Stone Age.
I do like him though because he's a 6-year-old coming back, and there's something about him as an individual I really, really like. And of course, the market says he's a clear second fav here, but
Dragonet.
not for me.
What's the other ones?
He's a bit more genuine than them, I think. But listen, I don't know. So with the without market, Barry, this is quite interesting.
High
because
definition.
High definition?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What are you on about?
Another Cornwall clone.
Oh,
Sorry,
what?
I'm just naming the clones while we
Japan, all that sort of stuff.
Japan,
There's
yeah.
another one. What? Just no good horses?
No, they're all right, aren't they? They're good.
They just like each other at the
They're just-
moment.
they're all
It does
the
seem a
same.
long time ago that they
Long
were having
time since
proper
they had
middle
like a
distance King George
Luxembourg,
horses
someone
and
who you
stuff.
thought,
There's
wow.
a real taste, isn't there? With some trainers, there's a real sort of symmetry. Like I think, like it's obvious, but Charlie Appleby, his horses are so strong. They're quite thick. They're heavy, weight-wise.
Well, like
kilogram.
Native Trail, for example,
but he's the
there
same
was
weight.
the weight comparison, wasn't there,
Native
of this
Trail's
chap
the
and
same
Adion.
weight as Hurricane Lane. That's massive. I can't remember what it was, 3, 5, anyway, kilograms. Because Charlie kindly had said it to Matt Chapman, but it was a fascinating interview. So, yeah, I don't know what they had to have this real bulk about them. It's a real stamp of a horse, isn't it?
There's only 2 4-year-olds in this race now. Mostadar. 4-year-olds dominate this according to the trends. You know, the classy 3-year-old coming back. Your Crystal Ocean winning this, for example, as a long odds-on shot. Mostadar is the other chap who had his reputation dented slightly behind, but that was when we got excited about Bay Bridge, wasn't it? He wears cheek pieces for the first time, which is quite interesting. John wanted to run him in the Prince of Wales until Bay Bridge firmly showed him what sort of horse he had.
Yeah.
And here he is coming here. This has meant that they've had to move the chess pieces around somewhat. I think Solid Stone beats all of them, bar the Fav. I even think he's going to give the Fav a bit of a run, but quite rightly so. The connection said, look,
This is Sir Michael Stout's race, isn't it?
this over the
This
years
is
it
Sir
has
Michael
been. Yeah,
Stout's race. He wins.
yeah,
this.
he's won half of the last 10.
Yeah, he's.
Name them. All right, I'll do it. You didn't play bingo there. Sea Moon, in 2012. Telescope, Snow Sky, Dartmouth, Crystal Ocean. Harbinger was the one, wasn't it?
That was probably beyond.
Probably
10
one of the
years,
biggest
wasn't it?
jaw-dropping moments I've ever seen at
Yeah.
Royal Ascot, that under Olivier Pellier.
He won it with the same horse twice, consecutive years.
Which was?
Upper House.
Yeah.
Upper House.
Oh, yeah, right. I was
Had Edry.
going way back.
Oh yeah, that is.
Oh, yeah,
So
wow.
it is Sir Michael's race. This chap I thought was going to run in the Wolverton, as I said earlier. I am the leading fan of the Solid
Rockhopper.
Stone.
Rockhopper.
Rockhopper. What colours were they? Were they the Newton colours?
I think so.
Yeah, Rob Roy colours and all that sort of stuff. I think it was Philip Newton. I might be wrong.
It's quite cool though. After that race, what we saw, reading, like I like to keep up to date with all the twists of like Keel saying gonna have a proper split for next two. Only took them 5 days to actually explore the rail. Matt Chapman days to talk about the draw blown out the window, and then Fitzy said the centre is the slowest part of the track according to the going stick. So it's
You want to be on a wing.
changed.
You want to be on the wing.
Fitzy's
All
had a bit of a shocker
changed.
there. Fitzy's had a bit of a shocker there because they've been, the centre was the slowest all week. So it's always the two wings that are faster.
No, he's
than
just giving you
centre
the
on
official
going stick.
report.
I know.
He's just got. I'm just giving you the official. That is what is official.
know.
But it's quite interesting just to keep up to date there. So yeah, that's our first race that we've seen actually
Love Fitzy, but
get the rail.
that's a bit obvious. Okay, all right. So I want to talk to you about the Solid Stone form as well, please, and why he's probably the second best horse in this race. I'm going a bit Rodway like here. Solid Stone won on his return at.
Is he better than Baid?
The Huxley.
Don't be
Huxley.
going. He won the Huxley Stakes, and he drifted out in the betting for that. And I think he's a horse that progresses with racing. He did last season. He did.
Moore was brilliant on him as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But he's thrashed a horse called Magellan, who probably didn't act on the track, but then went to Epsom. He's a talented horse. Hurricane Lane scrambled home against Magellan as a 3-year-old. There are lines of form. His form, the Stone, is different class to the rest of these. He's been beaten 5 lengths by Real World at Newbury on very quick ground. Juan Elcano, who's a Wolverton winner. Stormy Antarctic he beat. He's come up against some
I don't
real
feel this
horses.
is a neutral. I feel this is just because you love the horse. I don't feel like this is a.
Well, this is-
You're not getting a job on BBC with this. This is not neutral.
Well, I
me
don't
up
think
when
any
you-
of us are getting. I think
No,
anyone's
no,
getting.
definitely not me.
I think Nick Lutt's getting a job at BBC, is he?
Definitely not
You're definitely not. But he's beaten Il Arab, of course, last year. He's beaten Al Arzi. This was the one where that was the race.
Not as good as
What-
Hurricane
how low
Lane.
did he go against
Solid
Al
Stone is
Arzi?
not as good as Hurricane Lane.
Al
Not a
Arzi
good
would have been
racehorse. What are you
Close to
talking
him in the
about?
market had he turned up on easier ground. He probably isn't as good as
I
Hurricane
don't know
Lane.
what you're on
but
about.
it's
He's not an
first-
Irish Derby.
it's-
St Ledger winner, third in the Arc. What?
It's a
what?
completely different profile now. And on a line through
not as
Magellan,
good
on a
racehorse.
strict line of form, he's not as far behind him as a 12-to-1 shot looks in the market. I'm not suggesting he
Oh, he is
is
good
Hurricane
price.
Lane.
He is good price,
Right?
Solid
It's a
Stone.
balmy price, this, and he's
Yeah.
always underrated in the market.
Yeah,
He
it's
is,
a big
he
price.
is.
It's a big price.
He wasn't
isn't it?
even favourite to beat Fancy Man when he beat him at,
wonder
at,
why
at
that
Windsor
is.
that night. I am
Why?
passionate about this horse, you can probably tell. He beat Fox's Tails at Newbury and Il Arab, but Al Arzi came there and he was like 1-0 something silly. And we all thought, oh, Al Arzi's back. And then the
So are you a
Stone.
bit confused why Mustard Arf is shorter than Solid Stone?
Well, no, because it's the connections. I know why Mustard Arf is shorter, because it's Jim Crowley, John and Thady Gosden, and Mustard Arf has run up against Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
But he was supposed to run in the Wolverton again, and he was my nap of the week last year, and it was the one day where we had fast ground. And he just hit a flat spot. I thought he was beaten. He's coming back at the finish. No more genuine horses in training. He wears cheap pieces, but he needs them to just help his concentration at the end. And Richard Kingscote's a great jockey for him. This is Desert Crown colours.
I feel like
Come
you're
on.
going to say something interesting.
Look, I'm just
Oh, sorry, I switched
massively
off a
keen
long
on him.
time ago. I switched off about 5 minutes ago. He was going on, and I was just like, oh.
I have to admit, I'm the same.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, by the way, listen, the last time we did this, that was Stevie Donohoe on this show. What happened? 100 to
you.
1 winner went in. Thank you very much.
No,
A
that's-
nod to that. Everyone
You're
thought
very keen on him, Dave.
I am keen on him. I just love
You're
this horse.
staking your reputation on this.
Oh, it isn't your get. It's 3 days of Barry. He's starting to work me out a little bit. I'm not liking it.
Someone
Time for a
loves
cup
me.
of tea yet.
Stanley D says, Barg Door, love you, Giro. Did it win?
Apparently
Did it win
so.
at Newmarket?
It must have done.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
So
do
he's
we
going to be
check?
insufferable, isn't he?
Yeah, it must have been.
Do we
Yeah.
check?
Yesterday, G-Rod said there's a certainty running at Newmarket. Have we all missed it? It was the 3:17.
317.
Oh, yeah, well done.
Barg
Yeah.
Door won.
Bad Door, Sea Appeal in
yeah.
second,
Oh, thank you,
Caldwell in third.
Well done, G-Rod. And Stanley D remembered from yesterday's
Thanks,
show,
Stanley.
bringing it back. Hurricane looks on the slide to me, Barry.
Yeah, 187. We've put into get him laid at 176, and we're not matched. We might have to just reassess that. 7.6 Broom, 8.4 Mustadaf, Lafayette is 11.5 and 15 Solid Stone. Absolutely friendless in the market, Solid Stone.
What is he in the
Solid
without?
Stone.
What is he
Friendless in the
without?
market.
Go and back it.
He's not friendless, let me tell you. He's
Absolutely
got a close
friendless
pal
in
with
the
him.
market. No pals whatsoever.
always
He's like
is.
Billy No Mates, the poor horse.
He
No one
always
wants
is.
to
When
be
was the
with
last
him.
time he went off
In the
fast?
without market, he's 6.6. He's 11 to 2.
Got one
Do
man.
not worry about that. Do not you worry about that. When was the last time Solid Stone went off favourite? That's the question I'm
Well,
going to
this
ask.
is annoying because Broome actually takes my eye more than Hurricane Lane in the preliminaries. That annoys me.
Well, is that a surprise when he's an Aiden? He's a 6-year-old Aiden.
No, which is Hurricane Lane. I think because there's no sun, but normally he absolutely shimmers. But like you say, this is reappearance, isn't it? And it's a cloudy day.
He went off joint fav with Juan Elcano in the Wolverton
I was
last year.
all over him. But outright favourite not since November 2020, and since then he's improved a stone in the race.
Is he still going on about Solid Stone?
I think he's mentioned him once or twice.
Honestly,
I don't.
when he retires, Sir Michael, if you want, I might have to buy a bigger garden. But there is a Natalie Green stable not too far away. No, listen, I love Solid Stone. When you get these horses like this, I don't often get to champion them, and I cannot wait. I didn't think I was going to see him during this week, and win, lose or draw, he's a horse to follow through the season without
So
question.
what you backed in this?
I've backed Broome. I'm all over the Fab. I think the Fab's going to get the job done here, but there are lots of plays to play with Solid Stone, and just about Solid Stone as wherever and however you like. And I think in the withouts, you said he was what at the last look in the without?
11-2.
What?
Actually 6-1 now.
What?
Lafayette strong in the without market is into 9-2. Your favourite's Broome at 9-4, which I think is a decent price.
Well, your away nap's just one, so everyone's following you in, aren't they?
Yeah, Lafayette, yeah, hopefully.
Who knew?
Quite keen on those colours.
I want to keep a keen grip on this trophy here. I've not won it yet.
That's a surprise.
Oh, that's stinging.
No, of course.
Stinging.
Listen, you've had a good week. Your nap of the week one.
It's been a good week, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a good week.
You tried to railroad
I'm really
mine.
annoyed that
You don't celebrate your victories enough, Graeme.
No,
Yeah, you don't.
no.
Not like me. Shameless me. Shameless.
Had a good. You let yourself go
Shameless.
last night a bit, didn't
get
you?
the odd
Matt
trifecta.
calls herself the trifecta queen after getting one right.
I'm absolutely shameless.
And the thing is, she puts up a trifecta and you get the forecast of it, and you come in next week and go, "I've got the forecast."
And when it goes
Every
wrong,
time.
when it goes wrong, I basically just try and ignore it and think about the ones that went right.
But you are seeing this. Actually, it's a good point. You're seeing this almost like a buy real world, which you put up, didn't you? So.
Yeah,
And
I did.
that was-
and I was a bit
that was a
unlucky with
big
Shindig getting
play for everyone.
fourth instead of third. But maybe it is, like I say, I've openly admitted, I think it's an emotional thing, how much I love Hurricane Lane. So
We've
I'd
got
only
two
be
people
prepared
who
to
love
play
horses in this
without
race,
it.
don't we? You love Hurricane Lane, and he loves Solid Stone.
You
But
don't love horses?
this is the first time I've been
No,
able
but
to
have
make
an affinity with the horse.
negative against
I'm
Hurricane
baiting
Lane.
him a bit.
There are negatives, aren't there?
Oh, so if Desert Crown turned up,
Oh, there he
we'd
is.
be laughing,
Boy.
wouldn't we? We could have
If
what's your
Bayard was in
favourite?
there as well, it would be some
What's
mange toi.
This is a good question. What's your favourite horse of all time? What's your
Denman.
favourite horse of all time? Any
Sprint
code.
Zacra.
Favourite horse of
Ever.
all time. All right, interesting.
Denman.
Denman.
Yeah.
Well, jumpers.
Denman, yeah.
Yates would be up there for me.
Yeah, Yates, 4
Yates
gold
would be up there
cups.
for me. Loved Yates.
Do
Don't
look-
screw
Denman's
your
just-
face at you.
For me, it would probably have to be Dawn Run.
Dawn Run. Oh, I was unfortunate. I just missed that.
Yeah.
That
No, I was
we
quite
got
young
all the Tony
myself now.
Mullins tales. Yeah, right. And John Joe and all that. But
But yeah, she was a marvellous mare. Like
Yeah.
to win a champion hurl and then a Gold Cup, and that
at the
commentary
time
from
when
Sir
the Irish-
Peter O'Sullivan,
The best.
mare's
Yeah.
getting up. It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
The best.
and it was slim pickings for Ireland back then.
that's what my point. Yeah.
Yeah, slim pickings at Cheltenham.
How it's
There, I've
changed.
said the C word. Bingo.
Yeah, Macbeth.
Bingo!
The roof is about to fall in. What about some wacky ones?
There's a few traditions I'd like to
The
bring
horse
up.
that,
glitters
the
down
horse
shouting.
that, the first decent winner I ever backed, I shouldn't be saying this, but I was about 8
No,
or
you can
9
do
at the
it, you can do
races,
it.
and I seen this really clever punter.
Well, your dad was a bookie, wasn't he?
He
So
was
you
a
were
bookie,
there.
yeah. So I saw this really clever punter having a bet off my dad on a horse called Pacific Drift.
Love
and
it.
I said, geez, I'm following him in. And I had 2 or 3 quid and I backed it and it
Yeah.
won at 8-1 and I got 24 quid back. I thought, geez, this
Brilliant.
is the life. And then we were in the Phoenix Park. Now closed, the Phoenix Park. It was a great race course, cosmopolitan, it was really cool. It was in the centre of Dublin, literally in the centre of Dublin. And a Thursday, we used to be there at night, it would be rocking the place would. And it turned out, that was a Saturday that I backed it, and it turned out in the Wednesday Pacific Drift. And it was a 3-runner race, and it was the outsider of the 3, and I said, I'm playing up here, and I had a tenner on it, and it won at 10-1.
And that's when the dream was then alive.
So that's a horse that's just always stuck with me,
and
Pacific
that's what
Drift.
I mean. We've all got them out there, haven't we? I've got one as well. Have you got one, wacky one?
Yeah, it's not that wacky, but it's just The Last Samurai. I mean, he's a bit sort of mad at home,
Kim
apparently.
Bailey's
I remember saying
Grand National
to
runner-up.
Jason Maguire, I was like, do you think I can have that when it retires to have? And he went, God, no, you wouldn't want that now. He said it's a real handful at home. What, 15-2, 15-3, going around the national fences? I think, like you say, it's just great each way bets, and a horse that I followed. It's not wacky, but I thought The Last Samurai had a massive heart for a little horse.
Let's hear them out there then. Favourite wacky horses. Giro, have you got one? Are the guys in the gallery? Dan Walsh, Lord Glitters, Sam Hart, Solo, the Grey Miler, and Will Carey, who's relatively new to the game. Bielsa, who was going to run today, by the way. They're really happy with him. He goes
Too
back
fast.
the road back to air. Do you remember when he took the Solo strip? Adam Ryan, our show friend, says he's all right. Well, he's going well.
I used to love May Lane. He was an absolute nutcase, trained by Alex Stewart.
That was
years ago.
Oh, poor Alex Stewart. Yeah,
he used to give up ground at the start. At times, he would give up 10 to 15 lengths.
Did he win at Kempton on the turf there?
He would still come round and win. Yeah, he was an amazing horse. I think he won a group race doing that. Ascot once gave away 10, 15 lengths at the start, and then still came through and won. He was immensely talented, but an absolute nutcase.
Yeah,
I've got one called Kelburn for Ian Semple. Used to win at Ascot. Used to go and win at the July meeting in handicaps there, and Johnny Murtaugh used to ride him. And again, it was when I first got into it.
Dino's Beano.
Dino's Beano. Yeah. And
he
again,
was a warrior, wasn't he?
That was my initial intro time as well, the pipes.
God, Ruth Kai used to have one called Dubai Dynamo, and it was running at like 11 years of age.
In the red and the
rapid sprint. It had an arse on it like a female cook, like a big dinner lady.
Thought she was at it again,
big arse on it, and God, he was just rapid. And it was like you would never think Dubai. He'd keep winning.
We've all got a Racing Post bingos. Yours are becoming innuendos, aren't they?
No, but big bucks. He was a
literally on your debut, right? Innuendo's done. Favourite horses, we'll have them throughout the day. Best Royal Ascot performances you've ever seen as well.
Is on,
there's a bit of social love out for you. But right now, we are coming up. Will the Hurricane blow them away? Will he sweep all before him on Broome?
We're not matched at 176 either, so I'm not going to chase it out. It's 181. No,
it's a long week. We're not chasing. But Barry says that he would be against Hurricane Lane.
Solid Stone's not happy at the moment. He's got the blindfold on. They're not getting him.
This would be severe.
Like trying to get Dave up to the bar.
He's saying,
put the hoods on him. Put the hoods on him.
He said,
he doesn't know where he's going. Lead him around a couple of
times.
Tell Dave's not matched in the without market. I'm not running for him. Oh, come on, Solid. This would annoy with the supplement, wouldn't it? Broome then.
He don't fancy this, Dave.
They make fools of us, these horses, Dave.
Don't worry about it. King's Cup will get him in.
I really think
he basically said, just take the blindfold off me. Look, what are you doing, man? This is the stoner.
No, he isn't. No, he's like, what are you
doing? Too clever, isn't
he? He has a handler down with him. He's a history of doing this, obviously,
get
Dave.
off. That's the right decision.
He never told us about this in your prologue.
No, because he's turned a corner until now. The greatest stage of all, Solid Stone. Come on.
Because it can get to them, the excitement, the big day.
You want the French handlers there, just pick them up and put them in.
Thrilled about this, aren't you?
Aren't they amazing?
I know, G-Rod.
Don't go in. Don't go in.
Go on,
he's holding the others up. Go on, Solid, in you go. You want to run.
That's the first one in your back.
All he's doing there is he's taking the mickey out of him, isn't he? He's more clever than you. No? I'm coming to you.
Why has he got that hood in his hand?
No.
Why has he got that hood in his hand?
If he wins right now, it's absolutely fine. But I hate to see that when they don't want to go in. No.
Why?
Because it's a stinky attitude.
Yeah, you are. I don't want to go into this.
I don't want to go in.
You get
it's
quite
great.
annoyed with your horse's attitudes, don't you?
Yeah, because it's no hoof, no horse, no brain, no horse.
Well, he's got a brain, all right.
This guy, no messing with the Hurricane. Get yourself in there.
Oh, God, he's good looking.
I'd really like to bring back the tradition.
No white.
He's put a hood on him now. He's got him in without the hood, and he's put the hood on him now.
That's weird, isn't it?
Solid Stone.
That's weird.
That's weird.
He's going to win now, so I'm not going to say too much.
Because he's papping it about being
he might just get a little bit worried in the stalls.
Someone did social Living Legend.
Should he not look for a ticket to go in last?
Living Legend fell out last time at the gates, didn't he, in the Coronation Cup?
He could be.
Yes, he could be. He's been backed, hasn't he, I think?
Anyone off Living Legend.
And this is a step down, of course.
Last one going in.
Pace angle.
This is Lafayette. This is Graham's Hope.
One more to go.
He's a Christian going in, isn't he? Oh yeah, one more to go. Mostadar.
Yeah, if Living Legend breaks,
Broome last.
Oh yeah, right.
Broome last.
Broome's just sweeping up out the back.
Oh, boom!
I got it in.
House.
I got it. Yeah. Bingo!
Right, let's see.
All right, let's do the same bingo then at the finish. It's a heartbreak. It's one of the highlights of the year. Solid Stone absolutely out fine. Living Legend wasn't great again, but he got a bit of a bump from Mostadar. Look at Broome on the outside. Ryan Moore knows a lot about Solid Stone, and they want to get to the lead with Broome because he's a grinder.
Will he stay out there or come right across?
He's going to come right across, and he's going to definitely try and lead Solid Stone. This would have been a plan. Solid Stone are a mile 4, probably doesn't want to be as aggressive as normal. Hurricane Lane slightly lit up, not as bad as Mostadar. Lafayette out the back, and away he goes. What we call a cup horse, probably prepping for some
Ryan
targets
Moore
later
for
on.
me is riding this to beat the Hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, without
He's not
question.
concerned about Solid Stone.
And no, he's not. But he knows that he will get taken on for the lead by
Well,
Solid.
he knows he's a fitter horse and he wants to get Hurricane off it here.
So we've seen the positions.
I'm not
Barry.
concerned by Solid Stone.
No. What do you mean?
185 to Hurricane, 6
don't think
Broom,
he's gonna
6.8 Mustadaf, 11 Bar, Lafayette 11. Your favourite was return to Betfair SP at 182, so 4 to 5 hard.
This will be interesting to see. Don't forget the Hurricane mile 6 winner. He could even, I don't know, look, he's a horse that wants every yard of a mile 4, hence they didn't take up the mile 2 earlier in the week when Adyar missed out. Broom is then showing them all the hit. You know, that was a good tactic that from Ryan Moore, wasn't it?
Pressing on, isn't he, Ryan?
Yeah, he's good and positive
Again,
on him. He
this
knows
is-
he's fitter
this
now
is
than he was
changing
in the
the gold.
Curragh.
He's just a proper grinder, this horse. I
Yeah.
thought they'd try and make him into a Gold Cup horse earlier in his career.
Going too fast.
Well, they are. He's
No.
going plenty fast, I think. Look
That
at the
man has a
sectionals down
serious
there.
clock in his head.
Yeah, well, you're probably right, but there's an argument, G, isn't there? If you're going to go too
35
fast,
miles
you're
an
gonna
hour,
serve
that's
it up.
national hunt speed.
He's not gone that quick.
Well, he's
Is it-
broken 13 seconds, which is faster than state
Here we
arrested
go,
over
here
a
we go.
mile
They're
2.
turning into the straight now and he's winding it up.
Yeah,
Come
from
on.
the stone.
Come on,
The
Reiner.
stone's there. Come on, Richard Kingscote's arguably going
Come on,
better
my
than the
legs.
5.
Come on, the
Hurricane,
Reiner.
don't break my
Mustadaf's there as
heart.
well. We're all on one.
Don't break my
Lafayette's
heart.
now
Go on,
winding up.
Reiner.
I tell you what, here comes all of a sudden it's Broom out in front.
Come on,
Solid
Hurricane.
Stone's
Go on,
behind him.
Ryan.
Hurricane's now filling his lungs.
Come on,
They're
Ryan.
going. Mustadaf's not played his hand yet either. He's going to want to come
on,
wide.
my
He's
lane.
eyeballing
Come on,
at the
Hurricane,
moment.
you're the
Solid
best
Stone.
horse in the
Lafayette's
race.
trying to come over the top. Broom it is to beat
Aye,
at the
aye,
moment.
come
Solid
on,
Stone's
Ryan.
one pace.
Come on,
Mustadaf on the
Hurricane.
outside. I
Should
tell you
not
what,
pass.
Broom just keeps going here, doesn't he? Hurricane is needing it. He
Thou
might just get on
shalt
top.
not
What's he got? He's
pass.
1,000. 101 Broom. This is it. He's done it. Absolutely
Aye, aye.
superb. Ryan Moore, tactical ride of the week potentially. Mustadaf not even going to get second. The lay of the week of the day for Barry Orr has been sunk. Broom gets his day in the sun. Second last year, prepped in the Tattersalls Gold Cup. That is as tough as they come. It's a Group 1 winner in a Group 2. Barry, when did they know about the Hurricane?
Yeah, well, the Hurricane didn't trade short at all, really, in running because Ryan Moore was so positive on the winner, Broom. Nothing really traded short in running outside of Broom. He hit odds on a couple of 100 yards from the line, as you can see there, Dave. But the seconds run a good race, I suppose. Mustadaf, that's traded 3.6 in running. It's probably, looking at that, they just knew the horse was a lot fitter than he was in the Curragh. They have good positive ride on him, off in front. Make sure that you get the favourite at it early and see how fit he is. And obviously he's going to come on a ton for that, I'd say, Hurricane Lane. Like, you wouldn't be putting a line through him.
You can take that if you
Yeah,
want.
I'm happy. Me and Keels, I've just had to. We are over
Solid
them.
Stones ran his race, has he?
Pretty much. I think he's a horse that probably he just kind of ran a little bit like he did in the Wolverton. He looks like he's beaten. He's coming back at the finish all too late. Look, he's 2 lengths off Hurricane Lane, and he's 2 lengths off a horse that was. Yeah, he's coming back at the finish.
12 from
isn't he, Solid Stone?
33 for the King George.
Never going
the
to let that
winner.
one go. I love him.
I mean, we're giving you an easy time. I don't know why you love him so much. But.
Well, listen, I'm a Watford supporter. I love weird things, all right? And you should be. Listen.
12 from
Don't go
33
there.
for the King George.
Is he? Yeah, he's got 0 chance of winning that. You could put another 0 on it right now. That was his big day in the sun. I'm delighted for him because, like I said before, I love him as an individual, Broom. He's such a trier. And this is, he's a Group 1 winner in France. He went there after Saint-Cloud and he made the running there. We said hopefully before he's just a grinder. Great tactics from Ryan Moore, wasn't it? Keeping wide. And he's a little bit keen, Hurricane Lane, but the fact he's not got second means he's badly needed that, G, I think, hasn't he?
Yeah, he looked like he needed to run. Yeah.
He's got he's given him an absolute peach there, Moore, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Fabulous.
He's really riding at the top of his game.
Yeah,
And the
We're
yeah,
hearing
like
it
you said,
might
for the
be the
whole-
900th Group winner, believe it or not, for Braden O'Brien.
Yeah, but from out the stalls,
check that.
positivity. Got the horse in a beautiful rhythm. I mean, the horse was positive.
Ryan
through the ride. It
Gledo,
was
Ryan, good
brilliant.
to see you, my man, on this Super Saturday. He says, Broom, relentless, great price if you picked it. Well, absolutely it was.
We had it in our lucky
Like every
15.
winner. Yeah, well done, Barry. That was the first leg,
That was
wasn't
the
it?
first
You switched
leg,
as
yeah.
well.
We've Sacred coming up here.
Shrewdy. All right, okay, we've got Group 1
Multi
over.
on the move.
Where the dream is alive on the lucky 15. This is it, isn't it?
Multi on the move.
Yes, okay. Ryan Moore, of course, has basically said this is a proper workhorse at home, Sacred, and at the moment, best of the British against the 2 Aussies. That's 420. It is coming up. There's the SP in the end then. What was he in the end? Just over 7s, Barry. Broom.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed. A reminder of Barry's... actually, I'm
He had a
glad you've
Betfair
gone
SP
for the
of
third leg.
8.1, so 7 to 1.
Are you worried about First Folio's draw now in 15, having seen what they've done?
I'm not even going down that rabbit hole with draws now.
It's a rabbit hole,
That is
isn't
exactly what it is, and you'll melt your head looking at them.
I was hoping, because I've long liked him for this, and I was hoping last week, I was like, well, forget high draw in particular, I'll be really keen on. And then I saw him in the middle in 15, I like him for it. And when I saw 15, I was like, oh, that's absolutely perfect.
Graham's key for him as well.
Yeah, and big syndicate, of course. I know a few of them that have got a leg in him, actually, and they are very keen
owners
on
group,
him.
isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the owners group.
That really do make racehorse ownership affordable.
Yeah.
And they get
They
some
say when you're on a
really
race
good
course,
horses.
you're never more than 3 yards from someone in
Some
the
of
ownership group.
Yeah, I know some of them.
There's thousands of them.
And they all tend to come good as well. It's a very, very good owners group. If you want to go down, I'm sure the website is out there. If you're
Don't they
having
say
the
that
week
about
of your
rat
lives,
in
why not
London?
reinvest it?
Don't they say you're never more than like 3 metres from a rat?
That's in London.
Yeah, I know, but
I believe that is a well-known fact.
That's
yeah,
mental, isn't it?
You'll be skipping down the road tonight, won't you?
True,
Yeah, you'll be.
Yeah. Underneath the pavement and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Like, where the grids are and things. Just there waiting.
I've often seen you staring
Oh, I love
just down the
rats.
road. Do you?
Yeah, when I was at uni, my housemate had a rat. Oh, they're gorgeous. They're
They're
really good
intelligent
pets.
creatures, aren't
Very
they?
clever.
I believe I've seen there's a charity out there. They go and find people that are trapped in small spaces. They've been trained. They've got like little sort of
What
like,
do? Rats?
yeah,
They're
and they can
really
signal
clever.
when they found someone. Yeah,
Really
all that sort of stuff.
clever.
Yeah, and they come back and they get a treat. Look at that. I'm not
I mean,
mad.
they're terribly sweet pets. I mean,
Unless
if
that was an April Fool's.
if I saw like a big rat in London, I wouldn't like go and try and stroke
Or big,
it.
I used to have some chickens like Rosie did, and wherever there's chickens, there's rats.
Always.
Always. Sheds,
Always.
rats.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are in the heart of the capital. Who's at Ascot watching?
We digress.
Hakuna Matata comes on. Hakuna Matata.
Bingo. We digress.
We
That's
digress.
another for
That's
the
another
Racing Post
beauty.
Live. Bingo.
Indeed. Well, we digress a lot. Digression is the key to life. Home affairs next. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
Very good. I'll get the panel to do it. Don't worry, Hakuna Matata before off. Graeme, how you feeling? You celebrated the week last night, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. I was a bit disappointed with
Lafayette.
Lafayette.
Yeah. Just
Very
ran.
disappointing.
Just
Grand.
weren't coming back to him, were they?
Ground. Yeah, could be
And I'd
Not
say
being
he's
said
not up
about
to that
being
class,
held
is he?
up on the round course,
Probably
of course,
not.
this week. Only the very good ones are getting away with it, aren't they? Inspiral got away with it. I suppose what was the Candleford was fairly well back in the
So,
pack.
you know,
Yes,
That
he was,
good.
yeah.
That was good.
a couple of Coolmore clones have won this week. Change of the guard. And
He's a 6-year-old now. Like, are they going to try to make? Like, did they make a stallion out of him, a national hunt stallion?
Well,
maybe,
he's got
or-
the Japanese ownership, hasn't he? So
Oh, so he's over there.
I
That's
really
possible.
like him, but
Look what Moore did. He just gunned them right
We're
out,
watching it back
straight as a
stop.
bar. Let them go a furlong or a furlong and a half, and then come over.
slightly slower actually, watered, isn't it? Slightly slower today, the times. But I mean, the first, the Chesham one.
He
by a
wasn't
rank
going mad
outside.
fractions there.
Not really. I think he sped it up at one point, didn't he? I was
I
with
think he
Graeme a
had
little
to
bit.
go fast to get his position and then to hold it for a
Well,
couple.
that's the classic front-running ride, isn't it? Unless, of course, you're in. Well, it is in Britain anyway.
Like, what's he
Just
gone there,
Get
2
out
furlongs?
there, take a pull, go on.
Fingers
Very
crossed
good,
over.
very good ride. And look at Broom's ears pricked. You know, they both just look like they're really enjoying it, don't they?
Hurricane Lane.
Oh, don't worry, he'll be grand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, don't lose
It wasn't
faith.
just me that got sunk there with favourite horses, was it?
No, because I won the bet.
And you
didn't
took
I?
him on, you fickle mistress.
Yeah, but I still won the bet. I'm more interested in betting, but don't worry about Hurricane Lane.
Chesham Stakes, slow by 2.42 seconds. Holloway Boy. I'm not sure about that form at all. And I'm not sure about the Jersey form at all either, but that was slow by just a second. And that's interesting, actually. Because that should have been a bit faster. And it was all on the stand side. Oh, the rabbit hole of where we're going to
Don't-
It's a
don't
rabbit
do it.
hole, isn't it?
Don't do it. We'll spend the rest of the show talking about it. It's a waste of time.
And we're going to find out, hopefully, a
you
bit
want to
more
be
in this
drawn on
race.
the wing.
Shall I tell you what's even going to confound matters? Where's Home Affairs drawn?
Home Affairs is drawn 17.
Where's Campanelle drawn?
Campanelle is drawn 15.
So it should theoretically be pretty much towards the middle here. So if all of a sudden I'm seeing Great Ambassador in 26 or a case of you, the Maidan Supremo, who's highest of all? Is it them? It is, isn't it, of course?
Yeah.
If they lead, then...
And then the other Aussie rocket is in 2.
Yeah, Artorias, yeah, well, who we'll talk about very shortly now. We've got half an hour until this race comes up. We can digress
I
as much as
presume
we
we
want.
might be getting a few Aussie viewers soon.
It's going to be happening, isn't it?
You think? So
Yeah.
if
I
anyone,
love this as well. They can weigh in right there.
Beautiful.
Done, weighed in.
And
get your
again,
picture.
Australian
I think they
feature.
do that with the
Is it?
Ledger.
Yeah, they all have to do it outside. That we've nicked that from the Aussies.
I feel like we've done that at the
Yeah.
St Ledger. Am I going crazy? I'm sure we have at Doncaster.
Yeah, I think we do.
And we do that at the Ledger.
It's a
It works
thing.
brilliantly. I like it.
It's a thing.
Can I have a quick word with his sister Hayley on Sky
fellow,
Sports
isn't he?
Racing?
Yeah, welcome to you then. If you're just joining the party, we're 3 races down to the final day
Can't
of
say no
Royal
to the
Ascot.
sister.
3 more to come on the show.
No, I couldn't say
Surely
no to
he
her.
can't say no
Yeah,
to
yeah.
his sister.
Haley
Ryan.
doorstepped him as soon as he got off the weighing scales.
Good on you, Hayley. You can't decline his sister an interview, can
No,
you?
it's a shrewd move that by Sky,
Yeah,
wasn't it? I
would-
suppose.
of course
Yeah.
it was.
Anyway, all right.
She's great.
I'll go again. Welcome to the show. As you know, Natalie Green with us all week. Still going. Seeing stars yet?
No,
All good?
good.
What's on them for the rest of the weekend? What do you do the day after Ascot?
I'm going show
Sleep.
jumping tomorrow.
Of course you are.
You're going where?
Show jumping.
Oh, lovely.
Because I need to spend a bit of time with my horse because he's been ridden by a wonderful girl at home.
Have we named the horse yet?
No, yeah. So it's not a racehorse. So I don't think our viewers are going to be particularly interested. But he's a thing of beauty. He's half warm blood and he's half Irish draft. But he's a good. He's by good show jumping line. So his sire is Womanizer, and then his dam is Coolera Sky View. And I need a name
So
for
how
him.
do we name Nat's horse out there? This is a good
Help
one.
me.
The sire is Womanizer and the
Yes.
dam is...
Coolera Sky View.
I would take
But-
Womanizer and Sky
This horse.
and come up with some well-known pundits.
And is it a mare or a?
He's a gelding, but he is a
One that worked with
real
yeah, absolutely.
swashbuckling horse. Like, you talk about good-looking horses.
Aintree
My
Angel.
horse is.
That's
Could you
me,
call it
Lady
Aintree
Killer then.
Angel, your anagram?
Where's
They're-
the,
they're
um,
Yeah.
production
Where's
same.
the camera?
There we
How
are.
do I get close?
Well, we don't really, do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, he is like to die for. He's steel grey, 4 whites. He's hot, like he's beautiful.
Lady Killer.
I
That
know.
would be a pretty good name.
I'm
'Cause
sure
so
it's
Sky,
taken.
Lady
Womanizer,
Killer's, yeah,
out of
another
Sk-
sire.
Clearview Sky, is it? Or whatever it is.
Coolera Sky View.
Well, we can't go...
Where's Coolera?
Womanizer and cholera. We can't. But that's
That's
how
his
they
dam.
do it, isn't it?
Who's
We
the
had-
guy who was doing the anagrams earlier?
Oh,
The-
yeah.
Marty Gomez will be all over this.
Yeah,
Go on,
Gomez, go to work.
Come on,
Thanks,
Gomez.
Ian.
Do your- absolutely. Get your handy work out while we concentrate a little
Yeah.
bit more.
Anyway, enough of that. So
on
yeah,
the racing
show
to
jumping
come.
tomorrow, and then I'm picking up a kayak that I bought because I really like kayaking.
Okay. Well, you go on the paddleboard thing.
Yeah, I love it.
Joe Bupkis. Thank God there's not an R in that.
Call it
Says-
Roy Keane.
Call it Roy Keane. Womanizer, I suppose you mean, do you? I don't know. On Sky, he works for Sky, doesn't he? Of course, I see it. I think the Sky would be, and the Womanizer is the thing that you're looking for, isn't it? Doesn't have to be racing
Roy
now.
Keane is a
Doesn't have to be
womanizer.
racing now.
My husband said just call it G Unit because he's called Geo and he's going to be a big
You would
17
be-
hands. He's
you would be-
massive.
G Unit.
Does
Like
anyone
G
call you the
unit?
G unit?
They haven't, but it could stick.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. Best
Have we
Royal
incidentally
Ascot
just
memories.
renamed
Let's have
you?
them all. Who's your favourite horses out there as well of all time? It can be anything obscure as you like. We might remember them. We might remember the day that you went and backed it. I remember there was a horse called Invermark for James Fanshawe that won at Ascot. I took a load of money off Barry Dennis with my brother who was younger than me.
Barry Dennis, right?
Yeah, he was
There's a name
standing
from
there.
the past.
And he gave us a right glare, I remember.
Barry's
And
Bismarck.
He won at Nottingham one day, I think it was, or Haydock, I can't remember. It was about 7-1. I always remember that.
There's actually.
Well, we've got half an hour
You're,
till the next race, 25
you're
minutes.
saying that
That's
the
a lot.
ground could be, the times are slower, hence the ground is slower. Was your assertion there?
Slightly slower, I think. I
Would
wonder
that
how
feed
much.
into Alan King potentially running through?
This,
Sean?
this is what I'm saying. He's still there.
Would he be
isn't
waiting
he?
to see the round course?
We all think it's good to firm. Yeah.
Good point.
The round course time coming up. I mean, yes, absolutely. he
So
will.
you'd have to think in the next 20 minutes or so we'll find out whether
We're gonna
Trushan
know.
runs or not.
Kieran
Trushan-
Fallon, our senior producer, is saying today is the day for Baza, and the first leg of the
One
Lucky
swallow
15.
never made a summer, did it?
Well, look, you're a pessimist, but you,
this
you
could be
we
the
should
20.
I'm not a pessimist. I'm
25
just a
grand.
well-informed optimist.
So what? That makes one of us. Andrew Conn says, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Oi, oi, oi!
Oi.
Nah, we missed you on that one. I have to try
Oi,
again, Andy
oi,
Sin.
oi.
I'm with Barry here. Sacred each way. Now, this is the second leg, isn't it?
This is the second
Let's
leg.
get some
yeah.
business out of the way.
Yeah, and we're going to back her in the sportsbook as well here. We're going to have 25 quid each way on the sportsbook. Yeah, I think this is really going to bring out the best in her, dropping back to 6 furlongs. My initial bet here was Creative Force, and I did a thing in the Racing Post for the weekend, and I put up Creative Force in this race. But I was under the impression, and the weather forecast I was looking at, we were expecting rain from around 4 o'clock. Or from
Last
around,
year when he won the Commonwealth Cup, it was soppy, wasn't it?
it was, yeah, and
Pudding.
he really likes a bit of giving the ground. On this good, fast summer ground,
Yeah.
he's not the same horse. So I've jumped ship on Creative Force. And I'm with Sacred here for William Haggis and Tom Marquand. I can't. She did us a favour last year on the show when I backed her. And what was it, the Hungerford that she won?
Yeah, Newbury. I wasn't on that show, but I remember you put it up.
Put it up. And I just remember doing a podcast with Ryan Moore last year, and he said about her when she won the Nell Gwynn Newmarket, he said it was like riding a motorbike. She's just so fast. Which, when he says something like that, you got to sit up and take notice. We're having 25 quid each way her. She's currently an 8-1 chance. It's 6 places on the Betfair Sportsbook. So looking to take advantage of that, definitely. And we're going to apply a odds boost to it as well. So it was 8-1, and we've odds boosted. So instead of 225, we've odds boosted to 17-2. So it's 237. We get back now, and we're going to place that bet, and away we go.
Love it. And you get the feeling there's confidence behind her, don't you? Because we haven't seen her yet, but that's not a problem if you're looking at his winner yesterday.
Not for that yard.
Not for that yard. She's got a very, very good record fresh. Was that just a straight win bet I'm being asked in my...
Oh, sorry, it was meant to be each way.
Yeah, there you go, Dan, on the ball in the studio. She is up against 2 Southern Hemisphere 3-year-olds. Home Affairs, who of course we saw James Mack, lots of people, including our very own Pricewise Supremo Tom Segal, saying the best jockey bar none in the world at the moment. He's on a hat trick, of course.
Not sure about that.
I'm not sure about that. No way. Ryan Moore, not better than him.
Don't shoot the messenger. Chris Waller this week, 1 from 1.
Yeah, and that's what I was a bit surprised. I thought that he could, that Ryan Kilmore Partners might have said, no, we'll leave Ryan on him.
Yes.
But obviously, MacDonald has experience of riding up here. It's not like Ortez when he came over, that he had no experience of riding.
Yeah,
at
Ryan's
Ascot.
on Garris here, who's been. I think Ryan's ridden him every time. Charlie Hill's his horse this season. Oh no, Marco Chiani first time out at Doncaster. He certainly rode him when he probably should have won at Newmarket, and then Highfield Princess in the Blinkers. He was stinky. But King's Lynn doing the backup, pretty much which he did last year. Of course, he wasn't so good, was he? In this year's King's Stand behind Nature Strip, but he went to the Wokingham, and that's when people started to respect him, wasn't it? Are we going to beat these Aussie Raiders, G?
I don't know. I hope so.
Well, what do you think?
I honestly don't know, but I don't know anything about how good they are. Well, I'm only going on the fact that Home Affairs has got form with Nature Strip, beating the short edge.
Yeah, how are we really to know? I mean, God, Barry might be, or I don't know, or Dave, you more, but are we all like experts in Australian racing?
Dave
Not
is.
really.
Did you know that?
Funny
Funny
enough,
you
he's
should
No, I
got-
don't know how to.
Funny
We've
you
got
should
one
ask.
sitting right on the end of the panel here.
Say.
You know,
I could tell
Do
you how I
you
got
know
back into it.
something about Australian
Australian
racing?
racing.
If
Have
only
you ever heard of a
we
mare
knew.
called Winks before?
If only we knew.
As Barry throws the equipment all over, I'll tell you what, that's going on the invoice. All right, so we've got 2 here. Artorias, Jamie Spencer riding for the Freedmans. Last time Anthony Freedman came up to Ascot, what happened?
Well, I'm not going to answer that question, but
'Cause
there's
you don't
very,
know.
very, very warm vibes about Artorias
I heard this morning.
relishing this 6 furlong. So it's worth saying, isn't it?
I even know about the pundits. don't
Almost stronger than Home Affairs
Yeah.
because there's been a few little nitpicking things with Home Affairs, even though Nature Strip, but it all went wrong for Nature Strip because it dwelt the start, it bumped the start, blah, 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 blah. So it beat Nature Strip, but it
Well, they
didn't.
have met before, Artorias and Home Affairs.
Finish in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Home Affairs slammed him.
No.
Artorias
Artorias
finished in
beat
front of him.
Yes.
Nature Strip,
Yeah.
but Nature Strip dwelt the start, bumped the start, it all went wrong.
When Artorias won last,
So what the vibes were saying is that Artorias, weirdly, they'd almost have them over Home Affairs. Will absolutely love this trip. So that's the only bit of knowledge I have.
in the Coolmore Stud Stakes last October at Flemington, Home Affairs won, Bruckner second, Artorias beaten
where's
4
Flemington?
lengths.
I'm not talking about that race. I'm talking about the race that Artorias beat Nature Strip.
No, my point is that they tend to run against each other quite a lot. You get all sorts of collateral forms down there.
Well, they'd
With
have to travel about
the
8
one
hours to go
time,
to another
Home
race
Affairs. Home Affairs is something of what we would know here as an Oxo horse. They started off thinking that they were the best 2-year-old he'd had in a long, long time, and he has had physical problems. His back has not always been quite right, and when it's right, he is very hard to beat, as Nature Strip found out. And we were talking earlier in the week, and there were some people saying to me, yeah, but, Nature Strip had excuses there. Well, the fact of the matter is he's still on the straight track. I'm not worried either about the slightly stiffer nature of the track. I think this wins. From what I know, they don't think... I mean, this isn't Nature Strip. He's the fastest horse, Nature Strip, that Chris Waller's ever trained. But this is a 3-year-old. Nature Strip has pretty much run his races
7,
now.
8.
Exactly. He's on his way to being this, and
True.
and I'm just getting time through on the round course. I'll get to it in a sec. He comes into this fresh because of Coolmore. Thankfully, this was the one they first put on the plane, and Nature Strip still had to prove himself. He still had to prove, in that last run before he, at Randwick, that the fire was in the belly. This chap is on the ascendancy. The market's telling us that Artorias is behind him. Now, Artorias is a very talented horse. I think you can play the forecast here. They're that far ahead of us. If there's one,
Really?
Yeah, they are. They are. Their sprinters are. If there's one horse in here that could do it, I think Barry might be right. And the market is suggesting, because she is a bit of a freak, Sacred. She's drawn in stall 10 as well. She should be able to theoretically hone on to the backside of Home Affairs.
Are these Australian sprinters there? Are they just going to jump and go?
Yeah, did they just rock it out and make all?
They're just so fast. I mean, Nature Strip didn't have to lead. That was the other thing. And you wind it back. I was saying this on Tuesday. Everyone was assuming that Golden Pal and Nature Strip were going to serve it up for the closers. Horses that are way slower than them, have got way worse form than them. Handicappers over here because they were just going to run themselves into the ground. Now, Golden Pal didn't get the chance to break and show us. There's no way that he would have tried to take on Golden Pal. And in fact, he didn't even try and take on the leader, the Czechoslovakian horse, Pontus. They train them. They know what they're doing. They're so clever, the Wallers, with their training.
Highfield Princess isn't slow.
She's not at all.
No.
She's
such a game mare.
I love her.
Yeah,
when
she's
she won at
fab.
the meeting last year,
She's
she's
fab.
lovely,
Yeah.
isn't she?
And she does. Yeah, she sticks her neck.
We
on
all
it.
thought
She's
she'd
like,
gone
she
as
really
well.
wants it.
And then she comes back. She's had 5 runs already.
I'm going to play
season.
this. I'm just going to go each way. I haven't got enough Australian knowledge. I really couldn't give you any insightful knowledge. What's the point of me talking? Because it would just be utter nonsense. So I'm going to play 2 each way bets. I think alcohol free does look a big price. My 2 each ways. Highfield Princess. She's rapid. John Quinn. Jason Hart, and I'm going to be very risque with Emirati Anna. Draw a line through Emirati's Dubai. Look back at Haydock in the Group 1, the Sprint Cup on good to firm. Don't forget the Nunthorpe. He was runner-up in the Nunthorpe.
Not that good, is he?
Not good enough to win. No. But look how many runners we've got.
Don't go down the Hello You.
I do agree. Not good enough to win, but I do think as an each way, I'm just going to play those 2.
Your mate Adam Ryan sat in this studio and he told him that Hello You's aim was no good.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
To his face.
You told him it was not good.
To his face. But thankfully Adam knows the game and he loves a bit of fun and it was all just banter. But who was the horse that who was the stout horse that Dream of Dreams, and when they met, who came out on top? Very annoying.
The big man.
The big man. But Emirati Anna spoke to Adam Ryan about this chap yesterday. He's the one of the week I think that they think is being, disrespected by the market.
How many places? So how many will you pay on this then?
6 places on the sportsbook.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, what's the price then for Emirati Anna? Sorry, I can't see.
She
We've got another sprinter
is
going on.
33 to 1.
There's a linking social on the screen as well. Look, in the social corner, Evacati comes back on, a name we know well. And another one, not getting any respect whatsoever, a bit like all the Wes's horses, bar maybe Golden Pal and Love Reigns in the Queen Mary in the week, not getting any respect, despite being 2 from 2 at Ascot. Of course, she got it in the Stewards Room last year, but it was a 2-horse race from a long way out. She won the Queen Mary. Again, she was such an important horse in that COVID year, wasn't she? Hugely. Showed that we could still get around, and Wes was just so brave to do it. Again, love to see Wes get his winner, because this is what his year's all about.
Are we going to see the real Irad Ortiz Jr. show up here? One of the best jockeys in the world, apparently. I was told last night. But,
By who?
Well, he is the best jockey
in
currently
America.
in America.
Yeah.
But this is
But they're all the tracks are the same.
different
The
games,
racing
aren't
is
they?
all the same.
Yeah.
He's not the best jockey
Yes.
over
Quite
here.
different.
Yeah. When I went to Garrison Savannah in Barbados, there was a British
another name drop.
there was
Here
a
we go.
British jockey challenge, and hardly any of our jocks beat the local lads because of track knowledge, and it's like a dinner plate round there. What I'm saying is you can't put the two.
Another nice
totally
horse,
different.
Garrison Savannah.
Very
Jenny
good
Pittman.
horse, Jenny Pittman's horse. Ever been to Garrison Savannah? It's a must.
I've been to the racecourse in Antigua. I wouldn't go back.
No? Bit rough.
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 Yeah, just
Well, you wouldn't get out of Garrison
so
Savannah.
hot. And the racetrack in Antigua, it's just like, I didn't even know it was a racetrack. I thought it was like just a working out. All the fencing's
Look,
like down.
You're watching some. We got some feed from Racing.com, who are our affiliates down there.
Okay,
Look,
so
this
this
is
is
him. This
Home
is
Affairs.
exactly him. This is him and Nature Strip. You're telling me that Nature Strip couldn't have beaten him, despite the fact he got a little bit of a bump at the start now, right? He's had
within a length
every
of him there.
single chance to beat. Oh, watch this. He's had every single chance. Too much has been said about it. It's easy to do.
There's a change of gears now, look.
I don't really think that people have watched this. I just don't. I think they've read the close-up comments and all that sort of stuff. Look,
So how far was Nature Strip left?
not that far. He's had his chance. He's had absolutely every chance. It's on the bob and there's nothing between them. But the one thing that you're betting here is that Home Affairs is physically ready to show what he can do. Nature Strip gets beaten. That was his 11th race over 5 furlongs, or 1,000 metres as they call it, down under. And he'd been beaten in 6 of them, I think, prior to that when not leading. So he is a very good horse. They tried to make him into a Guineas horse, Home Affairs, so it wasn't like they just started
So
him
this
off
is his
as
last
a
run
sprinter.
where he didn't get home.
That's it. So I'm assuming this would probably be what they're showing, unless they're showing you when he absolutely hosed up.
Easy win.
So they're not showing you the beaten runs. But yeah,
thought.
this is a proper.
And this is over the 6.
Does that look like
and that's
Flemington?
Artorias out the back there. You can
Is
see.
that Flemington, Dave?
Yeah.
Look at Artorias.
Or is that Caulfield? No, that's Caulfield.
That's
sorry.
Artorias running on at the finish.
There you go. That was when he got beaten. Obviously, it was a bit eye-catching.
third there,
He's
Artorias.
done him. He's destroyed him by the time he gets out. So, and James Mack is. Yeah, they got the plan for this. They know what they're doing. They're drawing in. They will be hoping that Irad Ortiz Jr. does what he didn't do because of circumstances
Jump
on
and
Golden
make it.
Pal. They know. They're going to be tracking it. They've got all the Coolmore boys telling them exactly what they need to know.
Are they going to be worried about Tom the Pom?
Yeah, they will be because they massively. He's a superstar down there.
Sacred.
Is he really?
Because of Adape. And he also spent some time down there anyway. You know, he was winning group twos, as we call them, on Wednesdays down there, at Warwick Farms and all that sort of stuff.
It'd be a bit of a sort of irony, wouldn't it, if Tom the Pom went and beat the Aussies?
Can we talk about an Irish
Sod's
horse
law,
here
we
for a
think the
change?
big- look at this, we've got a new guy coming on here. Who's Cooper Anthes out there, or Cooper Anthes? Great to have you with us. Home Affairs and Artorias will put lengths on the Pom sprinters, and that's a certainty. Welcome from down under, if you're watching. If you haven't got the pictures, we'll be doing our very best to call, but just bear in mind, we've backed them.
A case of you,
Yeah.
Right, the case for him.
the Prix-Labé winner.
Yep.
Didn't disgrace himself behind Golden Pal when they went to the States with him last year.
Yeah. Very consistent horse, Aidan McGuinness, who always seems to get these decent sprints, doesn't
Just
he?
only a 4-year-old now.
Yeah.
Best year is definitely ahead of him. And wasn't a bad run behind Brad the Brief last day.
Will he find it a bit quick? And I'll tell you why I say that.
Well, it's
because
just unproven. We just don't know, do
I
we?
was talking to Adam Ryan about Emiratiana, and they say that Granite Maidan was not what we were expecting to get. It got a little bit political, apparently. And he said, if a case of you is beating us it's American-based turf over there, and it was juicy. Emiratiana, he said, hated it. He said, probably wasn't right anyway. Maybe he's a late summer horse. I think you're on one here.
We only have him £1 behind on RPRs, don't we? £1 behind Home Affairs. We've
Got a
got
case of you?
Yeah, we've got Home Affairs at 122 and a KCU 121. So, according to our handicappers, the KCU is right there with Home Affairs.
Like, he's a 30-1 chance on the exchange. And this is the thing about this race. Home Affairs, if you fancy something that's a big price here, wouldn't put you off it, because Home Affairs is taking out what? It's taking out like 33% of the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, if these horses don't show up, you're
Oh,
getting
no.
serious value
But
in
this
around
is
them.
like almost a carbon copy of Tuesday, isn't it? Where the
No,
two
it's not,
foreign
because
raiders
Nature's-
were miles clear.
Yeah, yeah.
In the
and
market
nature,
as well.
yes, but Nature Strip's an older horse. You knew what you get with him.
But market-wise,
I don't
it
think
was-
the King stands a good race
We
as
all
this.
thought that the two American, the American horse, Golden Pal and Nature Strip, were going to fight it out, and the market was what was it? What was it? Bar in that race? I can't remember. It was,
was
the
10
third
bar
one.
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I mean. This is a similar thing. Bar Sacred.
It's
Look,
almost
talented
trickier because
horses
I
in
didn't
this.
like Golden Pal at all because I thought he'd blow out, which he did.
Alcohol
This
free is interesting in 9. Too Keen over a mile so
is,
far.
yeah, alcohol free is a big price.
Campanelle form.
Campanelle form, of
Put
course.
anyone off these bigger.
She is a soft ground.
Minzel's a talented animal.
I think.
He's a
Yeah.
right problem child,
Especially if you
Minzel,
look
but
at
he's
that,
very talented. Dragon Symbol, of course, is in the race. Her old rival. Double or Bubbles in there, Kings. So when you've got Gustav Weston as the outside, who's a very likeable sprinter in Ireland, you know what sort of race you're up against here. It's exciting.
I
isn't
just
it?
think Sacred a window, don't you?
Well, fair play.
You don't, do you? Barry does.
I think she's going to run a big race.
I actually think Barry might get his lucky 15 today.
I'll leave it out.
What
Will
do you
you
reckon?
stop, Button?
I think
Don't
he's
do
gonna
that
get
to
it.
us.
Doesn't like
He's
this.
gonna get it.
Keith Melrose
He's gonna
found
get
this
it,
out.
I
The
think.
you'll be called a
Magpie.
magpie soon.
Magpie.
What do you
Look,
do
it's
when you
black
see
and white.
magpies?
Look,
No.
magpie.
The Rodders magpie. He got his fishing rodders out there, Barry, and you took
I
the
know, I
bait.
fell hook, line and
Can
sinker.
I give you a line on Hurricane Lane? from... Oh, I'm going to give you 2 lines here. I'm going to give you Elena Hurricane Lane, William Buick, Race Fit Rivals. That'd be a good starting point. Definitely going to improve. More interesting is Charlie Appleby's quote. Pleased with him. We've not hidden from anyone. We're looking from October. He is our arc horse. 2 Fit Rivals. Love to see him back. I'm pleased with him. Interesting. Thady Gosden this time. Gosden's right on it this week. Joint training with Mostadar. He ran a very good race. Ryan's ridden an exceptional race. The ride of the week for sure, says Thady Gosden. We followed Hurricane Lane around the bend and the winners got loose. But we've run very well. They're talking about riders all the time, aren't they?
Yeah, well, we've seen Shane Cross do the same thing on that track the other day. In what finished second in that race?
What, when Bay Bridge should have won?
I'll be toasting Bay Bridge
Ryan
tonight, lads.
Moore's been amazing all week, but he did get that one wrong.
He's been amazing all year.
Let's get some social love up, and we're getting them flying in apparently into the studio now. Great to have you with us here on RP Live. Raucous scenes we're going to have here. Is this the race of the week? I don't know. Could it have been the King's Stand? What does Sylvia Waste say?
Yeah,
Just
good day.
tuned in from Sydney, Australia. Good day, everyone. With a kiss.
Good day.
Whereabouts are you in
hi.
Sydney, Sylvia? Let me know. I used to be in the Goldsboro Moat by the Anzac Bridge. You know where that is,
How
don't
long
you?
did you live there for?
Just
about
a month.
Year.
I've done this story recently. I went there for a weekend and I stayed a year.
You were only there for a year.
Just a year.
Right, okay.
Yeah, the visa, all sorts of visa
I thought
issues.
you were
down there.
raised out there the way you're going on.
Listen,
You came to England in your early teens.
Mike says, moving on. Mike says, could have risen to that. Campanelle, Wesley Wharton, Niraz Ortiz Jr. It's guaranteed, says Mike. Is it Mike Navarro? I'm not sure. We could have another American viewer here. Again, let's hope you're getting up watching. There's
Mike
a lot
Navarro,
of
not the
American
trainer
coverage
that
of this.
recently got warned off for.
Which one's that?
Is that not Navarro?
There's a bucket of them on there. Oh, there's a Navarro, isn't there? I don't think that was Mike Navarro, do you? Sure, Mike Navarro. Let us know. Listen, we'll find a home for you. Okay, we're going down. What I mean,
Creative foresight to 20.
that's not good, is it?
Yeah.
Happy
Home affairs are
Romance in here,
strong.
but love to see Happy Romance run well. She's
Yeah.
as game as a pebble.
Yep.
Double or bubble, slightly overlooked maybe. On figures, got it all to do.
Kings
some more
Lynn
social.
backing up.
Dan the man, on your point, Barry. Isn't it a case of you overpriced it? Owner said Ascot was the target earlier. Look, if you're winning those sprints at Maidan, you're thinking about one race now, aren't you? I just think they would have liked Ascot 2021, where it was pretty juicy at this point, but very, very game and very, very consistent. I just think the Ryans fancy their chances of getting the better of that one
Yeah,
on
what a
this
shout,
round.
G-Rod. 27 runners. Are we a non-runner here in a Group 1?
When was the last
Amazing,
time we
isn't
saw
it?
a
Yeah,
Group
what-
1 in this country with as many runners? It's
8,
quite
12,
par for the course.
27.
down
So there's
under.
3 non-runners.
Okay, I will find that for you and I'll get back to you.
All right, great stuff. Where are we? We're ramping up then. We're at the halfway stage here on RP Live this Saturday with Betfair and on the way. Barry's teaching you everything about the exchange and the sports because we're going. And I don't know, I was expecting to see Artorias a little bit closer to Home Affairs, I've got to be honest. But then a lot of us thought the 2-1 about Home Affairs would be under pressure. I guess with that amount of runners, you're getting a proper market here, aren't you?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. You've gone quiet, Natty. What are you looking at?
Just looking.
What are you marking?
Just looking.
What about Kings Lynn backing up after running the King's Stand on Monday? Did the same last year. Mind it was the Wokingham that it ran in.
Rohan, of course, runs in the Wokingham coming up.
Yeah.
Been sneaky. Who rides him? Ryan, isn't it? Sneaky. That would be a Dave Evans, wouldn't it? Sneaky. I couldn't be with him personally. I think he had all that. He ran in January last year, Rohan, didn't he? He was so ready. And on the
It's
progressive.
the favourite going down in a red hood.
I know.
Probably yes. Nature Strip did the same thing. They don't get.
Okay.
I don't think they get to do it in Australia.
Okay.
I know DJ's really keen on Minzal, but that kind of backed up my theory because that's why I'm so keen on Highfield Princess because obviously he was third behind Highfield Princess, but I know Minzal has been quite a pick this morning.
He's a bit of a. He travels very well. He's got the 2-year-old class.
Yeah.
But he has had like a lot of these sort of barrow horses. They can go missing a little bit and then
Yeah.
come back. So he's got to have his A game. Yeah, it might still be a very good sprinter in there. Again, he's got the pieces on for a strong traveller. What's all that about? I don't really get it. G-Rod, you're quiet. What's going on, my
Sorry,
man?
yeah, just 3 Group 1 races that have had more than 23 runners in the last century.
Crikey.
Wow.
Yeah. One was this race, 2010. Star Spangled Banner won it.
On the
for
near
Aidan
side.
O'Brien.
Brian, yeah.
But was, of course, formerly Australian, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought him up.
Spangled
Yeah.
Good sire.
Banner. And then 2,000 Guineas. 2000 King's Best and 2007 Cockney Rebel both had 24 runners.
Jeff Huffer.
Yeah, so
They've had a good week, actually.
So yeah,
The Cunninghams.
but it's very rare
Couple of big
for a
places.
Group 1 to have 24 runners in Britain.
Brilliant to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You'd only get it in the sprinting division as well, because you have people who are willing to run, horses that are probably Group 3, truly Group
Run
3
to
horses, but
Freedoms,
they're...
Ulca Thumbs, Garrus, Var Dreams. Kinross is in here. He's a talented horse.
I thought ground was key for him.
Yeah, I've got
It
that.
is, yeah.
Given the
Probably,
ground.
but Frankie's on, and he's got an association with the owners, of course, and Kinross, who ran a blinder on his return, although that was against Pogo in the John O'Gaunt recently, wasn't it? Probably a bit of a social runner here. I don't want to say that. Great Ambassador. Do you remember him?
Second into 8-6 now.
Talking about Bielsa, could he have more to offer Great Ambassador this year? He was the favourite, wasn't he, for the Air Gold Cup?
Yeah,
Ran really well on the wrong side.
he was the one that in the Stewards, we did this show, and in the Stewards Cup, we all thought he'd won, didn't we? Did he win? He finished second, didn't he? Came through, looked like he was going to win the Stewards
That was
Cup.
the Air Gold Cup.
Was it? There was a
Yes.
race where we were all in here, and Great Ambassador come through, and we were all calling
That
Great
was
Ambassador the win.
And it was Bielsa, who we backed all year.
I was on Bielsa.
And you were on Bielsa.
That was
and
the Air Gold
it
Cup,
was
yeah.
the cliff when you get off a project, isn't it? And they go and win it. And we laughed about that actually with them the other day, the connections. And I think it's all
Uncle
road
Tom.
leads back to there for him.
Ulcum Tom.
Allcome Thumb, who beat Flotus, of course, who's
Colin
advertised that
Keane
for.
rides it for Richard Fahey, who's having a good week.
Isn't he? He's on a treble. Richard Fahey, of course. Yeah, she's very, very good. The fact she's 100 to 1 in this, that's mind-blowing, isn't it? He looks a picture, doesn't he? Home Affairs. Not a bother on him. All right. Okay.
He looks great.
Of course, Southern Hemisphere 3-year-old. So, you
So
look
what
at
is that? He's
3-year-olds winning this
4?
race, that means he's pretty much means he's a 3.5, 4-year-old.
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah. He's
Because the winner on Monday, Nature Strip, was a 7-year-old, but Southern Hemisphere 8.
When was the last 3-year-old to win this race? Out and out 3-year-old. 7 have tried in the last
Oasis
decade.
Dream, I reckon.
Woo. 2 have placed from 7. This is Northern Hemisphere 3-year-olds. Oh, let's try and find that out.
And no way for age.
No, it's tricky, isn't it? A lot of connections moaning about finding the right races for their horses at the moment.
Out to 11 to 4.
Mike says, I said,
On the
Broome sweep the
exchange.
field.
Campanelle.
Very good, Mike.
Campanelle's been supported into 13.
Yeah. all right.
Alcohol free being supported. They're coming for plenty around. Highfield Princess into 8.8.
Vancouver, Canada.
She's-
Someone's watching
She's
from
tough,
G-Rod.
isn't she?
Great.
She's-
We love
You
Canadians.
can go and buy G-Rod a drink if you're anywhere
Yeah,
near
be
Niagara.
over there soon. It's a long way from Niagara to Vancouver, though. Long way.
Niagara is
not as long as there
practically
is from
upstate
London,
New York,
mate.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's a long flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, because G-Rod's Mrs.
Come on, the little
Sabrina is
princess.
Canadian. Okay, all right. I'm excited about this. I've played Home Affairs on top. I've had a little bit on Sacred, and I can see the alcohol-free thing. The expert eye tip has put up alcohol-free as well, and knocked Thesis out the park and is walking the National Naps competition at the moment. It's basically the form department here at the Racing Post. The first year they've ever done it. They're having a great time with
Are
it
you
at the
still
moment.
winning?
They're flying. Put Thesis up.
Probably not let you loose on it too
They
often,
actually
then.
have, but I'm a bit part-timer. Yes, Melrose has tried to goad me with that one as well, thank you very much. I had the first win on Brigadier Gerard night for them. How much liquidity are we talking about in this, Barry?
2 million so far.
There was some big liquidities yesterday, weren't there? Wow, on that scorching Friday. Great numbers this week, absolutely superb. Great stuff from the team at Betfair as well, helping us all on the way. It's been marvellous to have Barry here. What talent we've had. We'll talk about some of the highlights after this race, but let's hone in now. Is anything, Natty, really freaking you out?
Nothing's like upset me. I didn't think Home Affairs actually went down to start amazingly. It was just quite sort of leany on the bit and hanging a little bit, but looks much more settled in the preliminaries. And they look
He
like
went down on the rail, by
just-
the way.
Yeah, and really.
And the
Do you
red
think
hood.
that's a?
No.
Do you think that's a check out the ground from G-Mac, from J-Mac? Because he's a likely pace angler, isn't
Could be
he?
a good point.
He's drawn 17.
Well, straight across. I don't know. I mean, it's not. It's high. It's higher than it's lower.
Just wondering.
Sharp turn left.
It's hard to see. One
Just
does look
weird.
a bit warm. Not number one. A horse looks a bit warm, but I can't.
We're
really
worried
see.
I'll tell you
about
one
the
thing
rabbit
for
hole
sure.
with
There's
the
going to be
ground.
3 groups.
Almost certainly in this.
Some
Yeah.
are going to
They thought
say,
that would
well,
be the case.
definitely 2.
In the Kingsdown and Golden Pound
Someone's
didn't come out
rearing a
properly,
little
so it
bit in
didn't
the
happen.
stalls.
Right,
Purple
we're
is
in.
the pink
It's
great ambassador.
Platinum Jubilee time. Let's get excited then. Out we go. Home Affairs has burst the lids. Unsurprisingly, Campanelle also going. And Campanelle, Irad Ortiz
Going the far
Jr.
side.
goes right over to the far
Both of them.
side.
And
Gustav
Home
Wesson on the
Affairs.
near side. That means Home Affairs has not got the lead he wanted. That interesting move that from Irad Ortiz. He's almost said, I know what your plan was. You're not doing it. Home Affairs is burning the turf, guys, at the minute.
Emirati's up with the pace, actually, next to Highfield Princess, which is quite good at the
Naval
moment.
Crown and the white hat.
I tell you
for
who's
Godolphin.
settled, guys. Alcohol Free settled beautifully. Sacred in that far side group, out the back looking for the run.
Notorious in that group last.
This
Yeah.
is right. Stan Cyber expecting going quicker. Creative Force is running his race
Japanese
again.
horse,
The
Grenadine
favourite at
Guards on the
moment,
left of
Dragon
the red
Symbol's
cap.
got to
Yeah,
imagine the
that's
story
going.
of Dragon Symbol. At the moment now, it's Creative Force on the near side. Game Horse, the Commonwealth Cup winner. Home Affairs is struggling to go
Japanese
with
is
him.
coming
It's on
on.
the Stan side.
Here comes Minzel.
It's on the stand side, isn't it? Look at the
Here
stand
comes
side,
Creative
Graham.
Force.
This is gone. Creative Force on the stand side. The
No,
rabbit
that's
hole.
Naval Crown.
Campanelle's coming back. Home Affairs, absolute blowout. Artorias can't
Come on,
go
my
near.
Highfield.
The Aussies
Come
are
on,
Creative
Creative
Force.
Princess.
It's over. Surely. Creative Force on the
has
near
won
side.
it.
Come on, my
It's on the far side. Creative Force has
Whoa.
got it on the near side
No,
just.
that's Naval Crown.
That's Naval Crown on the near
Is
side.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Naval Crown and the white hat.
Naval Crown, James Doyle.
I got the wrong Godolphin horse. I'm looking at what's that on the far side? Creative Force.
That's Creative Force on the far side.
Creative
1-2
Force is
for
far.
Godolphin.
Yeah, Artorias is third, Campanelle
side.
fourth, Sacred fifth,
Definitely near side.
Highfield Princess
sixth.
sixth.
We've
Artorias has got third. That was a weird race to watch. That I think if you're on Home Affairs, basically you've got to
17
look
beats
for Irad
3.
Ortiz Jr. who didn't give you the lead you wanted.
20 beats 2 beats Sacred.
It's a blanket finish.
Look
guys.
at Sacred. Sacred's not beaten a length at the finish.
Yeah.
She's absolutely rocketed home. July Cup for her.
You'd have to think so.
We've seen, of course, Perfect
Artorias
Power.
will
They've
go
done
to the
market
July
for
Cup.
that. Apologies if you're listening to me. I mean, Creative Force has burst through on the far side. He's run an absolute beauty,
I
hasn't
told
he?
you beforehand I was liking him for the race, but I just thought the ground was going to be too fast for him, and maybe that's what's done him at the finish.
He's not very big, Creative Force. Of course, they gelded him earlier in his career. That was the big
Did you
thing.
see where
about it, wasn't it?
Artorias came from as well? That was
Yeah,
last
he's-
of that
he's-
group
he-
on the far side.
And again, you're seeing how much Home Affairs hasn't run his race there because that was almost a carbon copy of what we saw at Caulfield earlier on. He's a closer, Artorias.
Alcohol free settled well.
She
ran
did.
on.
She just didn't have,
just
she
not good
didn't
enough.
have the zip, did she?
No.
No. She's looking like a 7 furlong
Japanese
horse now,
horse threatened, looked like it was going really well. Grenadiers Guards, but
did.
Big price that was.
that's just dropped right out of contention then after
Wow.
travelling
I
so
thought
well.
Creative Force might have it. Turns out the winner was on the near side, Graham. And let's just talk about him for
You
a
know,
second.
I'd say
because
they've gone some pace there because they've set it up for a finisher on the in the far side group. They set it up for a finisher because Artorias and Sacred came from way back. Look at Artorias there.
You know what's
yellow
happened here, don't you?
What?
The rabbit hole.
No.
The rabbit hole is showing us the way.
I think
How on earth has Naval Crown pulled that off? 40-1 shot. Doesn't have the form in
Look at the
book.
Golden Highway.
yeah, up the
That's what I'm
stand
saying.
side rail.
We didn't want to stare down the rabbit hole. Who's now looking at 2 races on
And
the
you know
straight
where
track?
it was drawn? Drawn 20.
Oh,
Gone straight to it, hasn't he? Creditable fourth in the Alcos, of course, behind.
Look
Case
at
of You.
Artorias there.
He just doesn't have the form. He's got a top racing best rating 114, which is solid, but
I'm sure that before the race, Dave,
another one for Charlie Appleby, we should say.
I'm sure before the race, Dave
Wowie.
said that the Australians were just far better than us. I'm sure that he said that.
Well, they are. I mean, look, Home Affairs has blown out, and Artorias has not had the run of the race, and he's flown home. In fact,
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
it's a British
Strongest
1-2,
finisher
Dave.
of
It's
all.
a, British,
Yee!
it's a British 1-2.
yes, it
Charlie
is. It's a
Appleby.
Godolphin one too.
Godolphin 1-2.
Where did the KCU finish? That was on the stand side
beat
and ran
him
no
out? Yeah, he's
sort
just
of
not
race
got the
behind
pace, Barry.
King's Lynn there in the Queen's colours.
Got to be ground, hasn't it? He's just not had the legs. Right, I'll tell you what, Run to Freedom's a beauty as well for Henry
If
Campbell.
you take the winner out of it, Dave, all the action's the far side.
Yeah, and
Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh are all far
and we're
side.
drawn 15 in the Woken, and we've had a shocker. Who knew? All week we've been saying high numbers we expect to be on the straight course. It's been far side, middle. No one, bar a leader in the Hunt Cup, tried it. Percy Lab wasn't good enough. All of a sudden you've got Noble Truth for Godolphin on the stand side. Looked beaten, saw them off. Even Samburu, who didn't see it out there, went very low, even money, on the stands rail. And all of a sudden we said we don't want to look down the rabbit hole because we don't want all of a sudden start doing the boxing up the high numbers. I guarantee that high numbers start crashing now in the Wokingham.
you guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
Will Artorias go July Cup?
Possibly China Horse Club
Like they have them up here.
likely to
Why
stick
not?
around.
Naval Crown 8 from 33 for the
There
July
was a
Cup.
word that Home Affairs was going to stick around as well for Cornwall.
Yeah.
But after that run, you'd be very surprised if he wasn't getting on the plane, I think, with Chris Waller tomorrow, who's got his plane booked to go out tomorrow. A quick word on him. He was far too keen earlier, I think you'll find when you look at it on Baby. He wanted that lead. He was marooned in the middle, and he had no option, unlike... You know, you've got to go to plan C then, G, haven't you, and go on with it. But Iraz Ortiz Jr. went, no way, are you following me? Went straight over. And amazing,
So
isn't
hard
it?
though in a 6 furlong race with that many runners. This is Formula One stuff, isn't it? It is.
Yes, it is.
These decisions, you just can't always do it, can you?
No.
It's just the options are not there.
Only got a race.
Fairs ain't anything. The winner
that-
came stand side. Yeah, like I say, Ryan blew his
Yeah,
brains in the
because
first furlong.
it is how it is. So you have to then just make the.
Is how
Delighted
it
for
is.
Doyle, says George Murray. Absolutely. Is that how many winners has James had on the week? Is that his second one, or was that his first one? Of course, William gets all the first picks at Charlie Appleby's pretty
Yeah.
much all the time. It's not a bad sloppy seconds, is it?
It's all right. Yeah,
It's all right.
It's all right. Be a few jockeys out there who won't mind being Godolphin second rider. That's for sure.
And of course, when William will be chasing the championships, that was the problem with these riders, wasn't it? They all had to go abroad, and in COVID that sort of stopped that. Now they can do it again. James is going to go and get all the prize money abroad.
He's having a good season, isn't he? He rode Cachet, didn't he, to win the Guineas?
He won both classics, didn't he?
Yeah. So he's having a good season.
He's absolutely mustard. He was on
Yeah.
Caribus and then he got on Cachet.
Yeah.
He's mustard. He's a young lad as
Good
well.
to all
Talks
all
well.
these young, talented British jockeys coming through.
There was bundles of
Is
them.
there a changing of the guard this year in terms of jockeys with what's
You
happened?
think there is?
With what's happened with Frankie?
You're asking a question that you think you know the answer of.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we're seeing the younger guys step up and take over from your Frankies and.
Well, they're going to have to at some point because it's just a natural progression, isn't it, to keep, that you're going to have to give them, because how else are they going to then perform on the big days if they don't get the big days?
I'm not surprised to see in the chat as well other people picking
It's
up.
like
on
me
that
making my
move
way
as well.
up to a Holly Willoughby's job. I'm just sort of like,
Yeah.
keeping all that, go and try and get a running job and, oh, Holly, you're sick, I'll stand in today.
Yeah. Well, what, like Frankie is Holly and you are James Doyle.
Exactly.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Stand in for
I'm just
big
getting my head
days.
round
He goes
that
to
one.
Hollywood.
Frankie probably will go to Hollywood.
Yeah? I
So
know,
that
he's
in
got
his
a lovely,
case, it was Big Brother, but
he's got a lovely place in Tuscany, hasn't he?
Did he do Big Brother? Yeah,
it was dreadful.
I remember that.
It didn't go to plan, that, did it? Anyway.
I don't remember Big Brother.
When he was
Is that still a
banned,
thing, Big
Memories
Brother?
of the late
Still
John McCurrick, the best Big Brother guest of all time.
Does it still
bar none.
go, Big Brother?
No idea.
No, it doesn't, does it?
Don't know.
Naval Crown and Creative
Love
Force
Island.
1-2 in the Jersey last year, we're hearing.
Do you watch Love Island?
No. No, I had to pause and think about that. No, I definitely don't.
I've never seen
No.
it, have you?
I haven't,
Never
no,
done.
but I
I'm
know
gonna
that
get
that
that.
bloke Chris Hughes was on it, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he's been, he does a bit for ITV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the Jersey
He loves
last year,
racing.
wasn't it?
Yeah, nice fella.
Really, I'm really passionate about racing, which is good.
And there's
Yeah, we're
that-
seeing a lot of Instagrammers and influencers come
And-
into the game, and I think it's very good for it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our own Izzy Phillips are going to call us soon because she's going to come back in soon. And she knows all about how to play the social media game. Very, very important as well. If you're out there on social media, let us know. Keep it coming in. We've got 2 more races only. Would you believe it? Here on the week. We've got to go. If you thought that was difficult, we've got the 26 runner,
Oh, it's a dead heat for
Wokingham,
third.
coming out. Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, drama keeps going. I'm just looking at that Jersey form from last year. That's absolutely
In other
right.
news, Trushan's still in the last race.
Dun, dun,
Must
dun.
be running them.
It must be running.
Must be.
He is.
Must be.
Price
He
is
is.
he?
You when
6 to
when
4.
do they have to? How long do they get to put out by the ground?
No, because you frame the race. Like when I'm race representing, I'm not allowed to frame the race any later than 45 minutes before.
More's the point. How many people have backed
So-
Wordsworth thinking they were going to be on a short price favourite?
They would
It's okay.
You couldn't pull them out. What, about 45 minutes an hour before?
Yeah, that's
Is
the
that
last
right?
race when we were off air,
think
by the
that's
way,
about
the
right.
Queen Alexandra. They've been well punted winners all on the Friday. Today has been tough, hasn't it, for everyone out there?
Yeah.
What are the SB winners so far? Let's on Betfair. We've got Sacred run really well there for you, Barrow. She keeps coming back into
She
the
did, didn't she?
She did.
She's a filly to follow in sprints now.
Yeah.
That was her
Definitely.
first run of the season. She's
Yeah.
beaten under a length.
I
It was
wouldn't,
Yeah.
pretty impressive at the
I
line.
wouldn't say
Yeah.
she wasn't fit there, but it's more just that that'll just put her
That's her game.
bang on.
That's her game. There's a
Fast
Torius
finishing.
there. Look, we mentioned
Following Sacred.
Stone Cold last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird that, isn't it? He doesn't usually get that far back, Artorius.
Yeah, and I thought another really solid run from Highfield Princess. I mean, didn't quite get, but
A lot of
6.
horses didn't come up to the ratings there, I would imagine, but Listen, 1-2 for Godolphin and Creative Force. He is a lovable individual, isn't he?
He really is, isn't he?
Yeah. As a 2-year-old, he blew out in the Coventry as a 2-year-old when they thought he'd nearly win it. We didn't see him again for the rest of the year. And I remember on his 3-year-old return, was it Newbury or Newmarket? It was probably Newmarket. And again, you never thought he'd be running in the jerseys and things like that. You know, come with
Jersey, and then they stepped him back to 6 furlongs, and he won the Champions Sprint there last October.
That's the one I got muddled up with. It is, and of course he went to Maidan, just didn't turn up at all, did he? But
You'd forgive any horse that.
well, Massar
Yeah,
went there as a
100%.
3-year-old.
I always-
I just put a line through the
So do
Maidan
I.
form anyway. I
Every
don't
time.
really.
Every time I just put a line through it. Look at Real World. I completely ignore it. I just,
Yeah,
Just didn't act on that.
just ignore it.
capital,
Again, that was
whatever it is
dirt.
out
But
there.
you do see horses going to the turf in Maidan, having zeros next to their name and coming and bouncing back. I didn't see Naval Crown. I suppose if you were concentrating on the jersey form in there, of course, like our viewer was, then did you have the forecast? Let us know. But they were poles apart, weren't they? I haven't got the wrong hat because I thought that can't be Naval Crown. I thought it can't be. And how much was in the rail there? That's what we're wondering. It's the greatest game of all of this, isn't it? Because you just never know. It's always changing at Ascot. It's taken until the last day for it to all change. Sometimes it could be Tuesday, you think you've licked it, then it goes to Wednesday.
I prefer the consistency of this meeting, though. I prefer it to be like this rather than, deluge and then this, and it's just too much. Because then you spend the whole flipping time just to mark the ground or
That
the draw.
paper would
which
get
does
thrown in the bin, wouldn't
It
it?
does get a bit tedious.
Yeah.
It's another thing that I don't try. I don't put too much emphasis on the draw because you just, like we've just seen here, it can change. And
Tom
100%.
Siegel famously said a couple of years ago,
100%.
didn't he? I'm done with it now. It's done wading so much, I'm going to take that line.
yeah,
And I don't know how much
essentially,
importance you put in the draw.
9 times out of 10, the fastest horse wins. Yeah.
Half an hour till the Wokingham. So we've had the Group 1 sprint. We'll get you the time in a minute as well. I don't know, high numbers. If you're on fresh, Paul Keeley's Nap of the Week, which seemingly is being backed. Daniel Tudhope looking for a 5th winner on the week. And I backed it in the race last year when I thought it had its ground. It couldn't quite win it. It does love Ascot though, and it's also quite like. I'm going to oppose it though. It's drawn in 7. Nat's Horse in 25. Jumbie in 31. Potmaster in 29 for Tom Marquand. Summergand. Who mentioned that? Was that Keith yesterday? Melrose.
Yes.
He put it up,
did,
didn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Who came between a Nats you-know-what of winning this.
Yeah, I've had a few good bets on Summergand. He can pull it out on the big
Every-
days
yeah.
in the big fields.
He made a cogent case for him.
Yeah. When we're all put out to pasture, we will remember on this show Summergand for some amazing shouts. I remember once when he won the Stewards, we beamed into Bruce Millington's garden via Skype. He was having a barbecue, and you could just hear the corks going, flying out, and that was a great moment. He's a beauty, isn't he? Is he too old to win? Is Tab D
8-year-old.
too old to win? 8-year-old, of course. Lampang put up by Tom Sagan in this. Minefields everywhere, potentially. Chairman of the board, an absolute blinder for Mick Shannon and Rob Hornby, proving he didn't
Oh,
need to
Nature
go.
Strip's 8. 8's all right.
Yeah, Nature Strip was Nature Freak, wasn't he? I think we can say that. All right, shall we get some trades out the way then, Barry? Who, is number 1 in this year's Wokingham?
Yeah, so Fresh is really strong at the head of the market. Was matched 11.5, is into 6 now. So 5 to 1 chance on the win only. Betfair Exchange 7.6 Black Rod, 10 Silver Samurai, 17.5 Jumbie. Tad Beeb is 20 Pop Master, 25 Bar. I like one of the outsiders, First Folio. Was second to Run for Freedom in Windsor last time out. Now, I just didn't cop there how Run for Freedom
Good.
ran. Did he run okay?
Yes, he did.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I was hoping I'd see another
He had an
replay of it.
outsider's chance and he finished within about 3 or 4 lengths.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Because I think that's, First Folio, the key to him is this good to firm ground. Really, really love it. He's a horse that thrives on the good to firm ground. In York, it was good to firm when he beat Black Rod actually that day by a length and a quarter. And he's a horse that he'll be getting his good to firm ground for the first time this year. So he's currently 20 on the win only on the exchange. On the exchange, it's down to 8 places here. It's 7 places on the sportsbook. So 8 places, he's 2.62. What I might do actually, I might just click over onto the sportsbook and we'll look to back him on the sportsbook maybe and take advantage of the 7 places that they have on offer on the sportsbook. What price is he currently over there? He's a 16 to 1 chance. Yeah, I'm happy to take 16 to 1 for 25 quid each way, First Folio, to take advantage of those 7 places on the Betfair Sportsbook.
Going to need them, aren't we? Potentially from stall 15 if you think it's all high numbers at the minute.
Why are you doing that? Who cares?
I'll tell you what, I've looked down the rabbit hole. I've done it. I've stared down the rabbit hole.
So would you change your
Never stared
mind
down the
now?
rabbit hole. No, I'm with him. I'm with Barry for the aforementioned reasons. I backed Run to Freedom. He was an expert iNap that day. That was when the role that the guys went on in the naps competition. And
He did it well that day.
he
too,
hit a bit of a
Run to
flat spot and went on, and it's much
Yeah.
quicker track, obviously, Windsor. Caught
Yeah.
my eye. Third time up. He won the Catherine Memorial Handicap this time last year at York. This has been the plan. And the thousands of owners that are involved in the group, they know this has been the plan, and they were asking me at the start of the week what sort of price they should expect and all that sort of stuff. So I wouldn't let it put you off. Maybe Danny Muscat, I would really like to see him win this because he's had quite a few rides at Royal Ascot this week. 2 of them were beaten by a head. Can you name them?
A Deauville legend,
Yeah, I knew you'd get one.
because I backed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the other
And
one?
another one that's nearly named after you, Rocket Rodney.
Oh, Rocky Rodney.
Yeah, in the Windsor Castle Stakes. He came very close to beating one of the good things of the week, according to Ballydoyle, Little Big Bear. It's madness to try and remember all these races, isn't it? What won the Copper Horse Handicap?
Was that last night?
Latin Lover one.
That was on the first night, wasn't it?
Yeah,
No,
it was
can't
a
remember.
That's what I mean.
No, I don't.
You just can't remember, can you?
No.
It's like
On the first day,
I handicapped the race.
lottery numbers
who
are
did
easy to
I
get
like?
the new on that.
What won the first race
Cleveland.
on the first day?
What won
Oh,
the
yeah.
first race on the first day?
Wade.
Best horse in the world.
The Arc winner.
it's funny how you do remember, like, yeah, it's
Live
easy to
in hope.
remember Baid, Caribas, you know, it's easy to remember my Morge getting defeated in the Albany.
Morge. Yeah.
Yeah, she just didn't
Never
very
looked
good.
like she was going to win
She
that.
just didn't very good.
I know, I was
Never.
gutted.
Yeah.
Talking about Baid quickly, you got a bit of stick. We've all got a bit of stick about Baid because, as I said to you,
Another rabbit hole, Dave.
well, I know it
Another
potentially
rabbit
is.
hole.
I know it potentially is, but what I wanted to say to you is, at the start of the season, you said I've just taken a token 50 to 1 about him because we think he's going to step up in trip should he be going to the Arc. You've talked about Baid a lot and how good he is and all that sort of stuff. But the 50 to 1, people are like, madness, don't want to talk about. What price is he now on the sportsbook for the Arc? Because he's nowhere near 50 to 1, I can tell you that much.
I'll check it out for you, but he's a big
I
price.
thought you might
on
know
the,
more than anyone else.
Well, I don't keep checking it. I'm on, so I'll leave it at that. But currently for the Arc, by Eid is 16 to 1.
So, yeah,
And what price is Desert Crown?
that 50 to 1 right in the wing
And what
mirrors.
price is Desert Crown?
2 to 1 favourite.
Exactly.
2 to 1.
I rest my case.
Bottle.
There you go, bottle 2 to 1.
What about
you
Emily
said, of
Upjohn?
course, that Desert Crown was better than
8.
Baid. You got sledged for that, as you do when you put your neck on the line on these shows.
I just
We
thought.
like polarising opinion, though, guys. If we're allowed to have strong opinions, get them out.
I
It
just
doesn't
thought
matter.
I just thought it was a conversation that needed to be had. You know, I still think Blade is a very, very good horse, a very
Yeah.
high class horse. But
Yeah.
I definitely think the Desert Crown can give him a race. Whether he's better than him,
Yeah.
we'll find out.
We'd all be pretty boring, wouldn't we, if we all thought the same things in racing, that's for sure. James Doyle being interviewed after his clever ride, I think we can say, on the Naval. The Group 1 winning Naval Crown now, of course.
That's the weird thing about racing, though, Dave, is that there seems to be a lot of people like to say the same things, you know. And if you say something different, everyone jumps on your back, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't
People are
know
afraid of saying the wrong things.
don't
I
know
think,
why
or sometimes
everyone's
what they think.
Everyone wants to take the same view. It's a
Yeah,
very
what annoys
very,
me is
very
when people
dull.
just change their opinion because they don't want to tell you what they actually really think. That's annoying. But again, a bit of a rabbit hole we go down. Money for Silver Samurai here, Barry. I didn't see this being as short as he is. I mean, he's a lovely horse, this, and he's coming into it on a hat trick. Penalised runners in the work don't do well. But Ben Curtis, of course, off the mark already this week. Marco Botti had a couple of horses go well. This is the one that I wasn't expecting to see amongst the top 5 in the betting.
Yeah, 14.5 for 60 quid, all the way down. But that's his high on the Betfair Exchange, which is currently trading at 9.8 now. Black Rod still is very strong at 7.6, 5.8 fresh, Jumbie 15, First Folio is into 20 now from 23. There's money for loads in it, Dave. You know, Popmaster into 24, Asjad for PJ McDonald into 51. Urban Beat for Frankie for his old mate Johnny Murta. If you
Yeah.
quid knocking around for that.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
80.
That would be interesting because Johnny stays with Frankie a lot, doesn't he, when he comes over? Interesting. We've got a French horse as well here on a hat trick, Prince Lancelot. The market doesn't like that. It's what the fact that Stefan Pasquier is on it. Lampang thing, when Lampang won on his return, my goodness, that was a return to form. He could still potentially have something in hand. Asjad as well for James Horton, of course, who's making a fist of it first time. A great arrive on the scene, didn't he, with that hat trick early doors for the dancers up there he's training. And he's got the penalised Asjad here, who's 2 from 3. We shall see about him. He's fancied. There were 2 that I wanted to be with here, as I said. First Folio, and I'm going to go for his old rival as well, Jumbie, who definitely wasn't seen to best effect at Newmarket last time. And although that's his track, he has one here. I spoke to Oisin Murphy about this earlier in the week. He said if I could ride one in the Wokingham, it would be this. Buick's on. Buick chasing a double on the day. And he's drawn 31.
I'll put it to you that this horse is dwelt start, dwelt start, dwelt start. If it dwelt start, it won't win.
You don't think you could possibly dwell in this and win?
No way.
No, probably not. Well, let's hope he pings out the gates this time. But they're the 2 that I like. They're the 2 I'm going for. Popmaster's never really also been I've been with, but he likes it here, doesn't he? And I can see it for Ed Walker. Natty Green.
I find this race quite interesting. My nap runs in here.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. It's a horse called Black Rod. Conor Beasley's on board for Michael Dodds. David Armstrong is the owner. I like David, he's a quite good crack. But what I like about this horse, I better make the case really, is he's been a steady improver, which I quite like to see.
Have a think about it.
Yeah, but has improved really nicely. Just go through his form. I'm not going to read it all out, it's boring, but for people at home or people listening in, just so they can see where I'm coming from. And it looks versatile ground. I've got no issues with the ground with this horse. None, it's fine. Newmarket, it was hard to not be impressed actually on that reappearance run, because those reappearance runs, you know, they don't always win that well, and it's the way this horse finishes his races. It really, really pleases me. And this is going to be hard work. Look, he's going to have to be very good to get it this Wokingham of the stiff 5 furlongs. I think he's crying out for it. That's why I've napped him. I wanted to just give you an interesting piece of form. I'm not necessarily putting this up. I wanted to know the price of Warrior Brave, because I was confused why Quarantine Dreams has drifted right out. Okay, the market was different this morning. There's just form lines between Warrior Brave and Quarantine Dreams, because when Warrior Brave at Nace was actually 4th and Quarantine Dreams was 5th, but the price, Quarantine Dreams has clearly gone out now. This morning it was a slightly different story, so I thought it was an interesting form line with Warrior Brave for those
Colin
people.
Keane rides for Ross O'Sullivan.
Those people that feel brave and want a massive price. What price is Warrior Brave? Am I being really...
130 on the exchange.
I mean, ridiculous.
When you sat next to Ross O'Sullivan at Christmas, when we had that awards do, did you say, right, I found your runner in the Wokingham?
It's a crazy price. I'd be much more keen on my nap Black Rod, but I just wanted to point out those form lines, which I thought was interesting.
Let's get some social loving up. And here comes Jesus. Jumbie to win with me. That's one of 2 I've backed. I'm not going to. I might have another bet as well. Actually, I'm going to talk myself into that in a sec. Jumbie to win. I see the Black Rod thing very much. He could still be a group horse, couldn't he? I think later on, you probably need that to win this race. Let's go and get some more. Is there any more coming? The socials on the line. Just Jesus. How are you? How's your week going? Jesus out there. Are you shining down on all of us with your punting? I do hope so indeed. I've got a quote from James Byrne, our Lambon correspondent on Broome. Yeah.
I saw James Byrne getting a quotes there. He was on the television.
Was
very
he?
svelte James Burns. He's lost a lot of weight.
Bernie.
Bernie, yeah.
Yeah, he's top
Lamborn
lad,
correspondent, top man.
He's going to go to the Japan Cup later.
Brilliant.
That's the big target, and I'll imagine that will be to advertise his stallion potential
Yeah.
down there. But probably be the King George next, which he fully deserves to run it.
Yeah, 12 from 20.
Yeah, or whether he's going to
You
win
said
it or
he'd
not.
no chance.
I don't think he's got any chance.
None
in it.
whatsoever.
No. Put another 0 on.
Yay.
You're getting to know this game, Barry, aren't you? And yeah, Japan Cup later on. He's got more chance of winning that, I think. Yeah, Black Rod just wins, says Will. Fresh got to win this one,
Hope
says
so,
Cloud
Will.
Claudio. Loads and loads, I'll tell you what.
Keel's on Fresh, is he, I think, in this? I can't remember
Yeah.
what we... Yeah.
Lots of reference
So
to
what's
your innuendoing this morning in the chat, funnily enough.
Yeah, I won't do it again. It's fine, but we had a very funny show this morning. That's what it's about. You know, it was meant to be good, light-hearted entertainment, but obviously we always want to try and pick winners, don't we? It's not easy though. It's just not easy. But I've gone big here and a massive feel for my nap, haven't I?
We're both circling over you there. We're thinking, where can we go with that? But we just know that Black Rod.
I love the way that you sort of mentioned it and then just drifted off into like a different direction completely.
She does
It
that.
was brilliant.
Because your
It
first
was
ever
like-
meeting with Nat Green, of course,
Yeah.
was a stitch-up laugh, wasn't it? And uncontrollable laugh.
Yeah, it wasn't my
We've
fault,
had
was it?
a few, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't your fault. You were sitting there innocently, weren't you?
Well,
You've got to enjoy it. I mean, for goodness sake, it's you know.
no, this is racing TV. You have to be very, very serious. All racing TV is serious analysis and punditry. And that's how it should be.
There's nothing funnier than
Nobody
these-
should do anything different.
No.
You sound a bit bitter there. It's not all about.
Well, no, it's very dull, isn't it? Don't you think that? Do you
This
think-
is.
No, not this.
No, not
Oh,
this.
right,
Don't you think that a lot of racing TV is very, very serious, analytical? A lot of it is.
I think they're
Not-
hamstrung in how much
not-
fun they can actually have because they're
Are
catering
they?
to a different audience.
Are they?
I don't mean racing TV as in the channel. I mean racing
No, he doesn't
television.
mean, you don't mean
in-
racing TV.
racing
Coverage.
television in
Coverage.
general.
Coverage.
Racing coverage in general.
TV
yeah.
coverage.
Wait,
or
It's
call it
all
that.
quite sort of. It's
No,
all quite
look,
Thank
serious.
goodness for us,
Why do
because
you
then
think?
it gives the
Why do you think
balance.
there are programs? Because we can rattle the cage a little
Yeah.
bit more, which is like what we like to do.
But do you think the owners are having fun? Like, look
Sky
at the
hamstrung by the
Albany.
fact they're now under the Sky banner. That's just an absolute fact. ITV probably also as well. Racing TV is just talking form books, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, they do have a laugh on the tracks and things like that, and they have got some great characters.
But the owners have fun. The Albany.
But it's a subscription
Lady
channel
Bullet.
for people that want to study, you know, have more studious things. So,
You know,
yeah.
But the owners are having fun, Dave. The Albany happy and Stitch is brilliant. Lady Bullet, Kathy Come Home, she's hot. It's brilliant. People are just fully wet, beautiful eyes. They're all, you know, they're great names. People were just saying the owners have a sense of humour.
Oh.
No, people have a sense of humour in racing, don't they?
We're going to need one. The more we keep employing you, I can tell you that much.
It's meant to be fun, isn't it? It's
meant to be fun.
It's meant
These
to be
owners-
fun.
this
you
is-
know.
It is the entertainment business.
Exactly,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
know,
All
Exactly
the owners
that.
I meet on racecourses, which is a lot. I'm on a racecourse a lot, not as much as you, granted. But they're doing this for fun. They're doing this because they want to be
Yeah,
there. 'cause
that's
they
why.
love the
That's
sport.
why.
Dan Walsh is saying, when the
what's
fun
racing?
stops, it stops, of course. Absolutely right.
Dan, we love Dan.
It will never stop in this studio,
Dan brought
that's for
cake
sure.
in today.
Dan did bring, he had 100-to-1 ACCA. Dan
That
Walsh.
was
Oh, is
a
that what the cake was for?
Oh,
I
of
was
course it
wondering.
was.
Fair play,
Of course it
Dan.
was. Some
Yeah.
people have a birthday, don't they?
Spiral.
Trust me, you'll only have one of them a year.
That's right.
He was in
Absolutely
Spiral,
right.
changing of the guards. Who else
It
was
was
he
all something
on?
all to win, wasn't it? It was coming in my ear.
Come on,
and telling
Dan,
me.
tell us
But it all made sense. But all the right horses won yesterday. A quote from Charlie Appleby, if you don't mind, about Noble Truth. I've been trying to find a horse for the Golden Eagle in Australia, which is what extremely valuable sprint, and he's perfect for it apparently. So we're going to see Broome go to Japan. We're going to see Noble Truth likely go down to Australia, where Charlie has had bundles of success in the past, Melbourne Cup, of course, etc., etc.
Noble Truth.
That's a race at Randwick. I think William Haggis might have run a few in it, and Michael O'Callaghan ran a horse in it that stayed down there as well. So British horses
And he's a
have gone there.
gelding, Noble Truth.
Yeah, that's not a problem down there. You can crack on and do it, of course. So go for the prize money, go for the fun, I guess. And that is a great fun trip down there as well. All right, how far are we away from the penultimate race of the week here on Racing Post Live? Unbelievable scenes. We've got through it somehow. And I don't know,
You won't miss Silver Samurai in your commentary anyway.
well, hang on, put another zero on that. I probably will. It's going to be so hard. It's so hard, isn't it, to call these races when they're going across? And, you know, I'm expecting to see the stand side in action again here. It's
Well, Dave,
trend of the
the
day.
winner's drawn on the stand side. That's why. Black Rod, isn't it?
You're also with Nat.
Yeah.
Come on.
Nat's got this.
Come on, I really would like this.
He's got this. With
Why is,
Black Rod.
Form ties in with First Folio.
yeah, yes, it does. They've got all that 3-year-old sprint handicap form, haven't they, and all that sort of stuff.
York.
Yeah. Obviously
Come on,
York
Black
as well.
Rod.
He then went and won the prestigious July handicap. He beat Apollo 1 that day, didn't he? And
This Black Rod will be running.
Look
in
at those
Group
lovely
Ones
markings
before
in
you
the
know it.
back there.
yeah, let's get these subscribers over the 43k mark. I'm in here in this week. That'd be amazing. Let's make it happen. Like and subscribe if you're watching. That's what it's all about. You'll then
Wow,
get
look, it's got
pinged and
Batman.
notifications
Yeah.
about all the
Batman.
good stuff coming your
That's the
way.
name of the horse.
That's
Oh, great.
amazing.
What are we looking at?
That's brilliant.
Number 12 is a grey called Batwan. It's a French horse, and they've stenciled Batman image. You know, the black bat image
Lovely.
that would be projected in the sky in the movie. They've stenciled that into the hindquarters
They
on
were
either
best
side.
turned out for that.
It's a 101 lay only, isn't
That's
it?
it. He's got to win best turned out for that. If he doesn't win best turned out for
It's
that,
that
then there's
level
no
of
sense
detail
humour
that
either has
BTO
got,
you're looking
which we
for.
know there is.
And just that thought process, and had that really lovely gold on the noseband. That's really sweet.
Who's
that-
back Gulliver here? Oh, so there's always someone that's on Gulliver, isn't there? It's just that he just doesn't win, does he? But Adam
8-year-old.
Kirby on. But it could be a fun run though, isn't he, for Adam Kirby? You could just no pressure on him and just try and find the gaps later, I guess. Jumpy going out onto the track.
Pace angle, Mr. Wagoo in 28.
Yes. Yes,
Apollo
very
1
much
in
so.
22.
Yeah.
So high numbers.
Let's have a look and see if we can see what's low. If you're looking for who's going to lead on the lows, let's have a look. Let me have a go down. Struggling to find them actually. Royal Commando's going to be up there since 24.
Yeah, it's hard to see when it's. Oh, look at that advert of a cup
Pace
of tea.
does look high, middle to high, I'm afraid to say.
Love a cup of tea.
The rabbit hole has been looked down.
Tea, please. Tea, please.
Tea, we'd love tea.
You're asking for tea, aren't you? You drink green tea,
Tea,
you
please.
drink herbal tea.
No, I'd have
We need it
builders.
to keep you calm, you see.
Are they listening?
Builders.
We had a meeting about you.
Builders
We said if we give him
Biscuits,
herbal
please.
tea, perhaps he'll
And
just
some
be easier
biscuits.
to manage.
Cake. Let them eat cake.
Cake.
Yeah, a bit of cake and a bit of tea. Well, where are you watching today? You know I love to ask that question. Where are you? Barbecues? What are you watching at home? Feed up? What's the weather like out there today? It was a bit
I
less
don't think it's
subdued, wasn't it?
barbecue.
I don't know. It's still pretty warm out there, wasn't it?
It was muggy.
Close.
Close.
I know. Scorching, I just think it was, wasn't it?
But it's got cooler.
Oh yeah, they're all having a nice refreshment out there. Actually, the guys.
They've
in
done
the
great
studio.
this week, haven't they?
They have
the
done
team?
great.
It's
They've been doing morning, noon, and night, haven't they?
Yes.
And there's
They've
more to come
put in a
here.
good
Of course.
shift.
Oh, they've put in a good shift.
Yeah, I'll spare a thought
But it's
for our
quite
guys
nice
at the track as well, bringing you all the best members club action out there. It's been a long week for those guys, and that's why we get out of bed, why we're doing it. I get the FOMO when these are over, as I've told you.
I don't.
No, you want to go to bed. Absolutely. You
You
do
go
have.
home.
We should lift the lid on the all sort of like post-show and pre and mid-show. You do find somewhere to sleep, don't you? You look for naps.
Oh God, yeah. I went into the little pod on the terrace before. For someone, I know I'm quite loud, tone-wise, and because I am honestly, I'm a bit deaf, so I shout. Honestly, I'm loud without a telephone camera. I'm just genuinely a loud person. And I don't mean to be, because I just don't hear very well. But what would surprise people the most is I actually like quiet time. I like a lot. We have a quiet house at home, my husband and I. I like quiet time, just no one else.
Is this when you meditate?
Yeah,
That's
go
because
walking, just quiet time.
That's
Don't always want to
because
be.
you're in here, isn't it, with a lot of noise all the time. You see. You
Yeah,
just-
I've always quite liked
Well,
quiet
he's
time.
sat next to you, isn't he?
I don't know.
Say I'm deaf.
In one ear.
All right. Why is Rohan such a big price in this, guys? Last year's
Yeah,
winner.
it's gas. He's £3 lower than when he won it last year. Rohan.
Yeah.
Off 109. He won it last year off 112.
Is
Tom
he in the
OJ
same form?
talking about Gulliver says Gulliver's Tom OJ's back in Gulliver, right? In the dartboard colours, of course. Gulliver's been knocking on the door in this race for the past couple of years. He's still swift enough. Is he still swift enough to travel through to the headline?
Travels well.
He always travels well, Gulliver,
Gulliver
doesn't he?
Swift, yeah.
He's a giant.
I wonder if Rohan will just keep, like, I wonder if they'll just nibble a little bit of Rohan. Was 20s now 19. Just wonder what price. He's not going to do a drastic change, is he, Rohan? But is this what we've been talking about through the week, Barry, that with Betfair, it's when they leave the parade ring, when they start to go down.
A lot of liquidity would come into the market that 5 to 8 minutes before the race is due to go off, yeah.
So a
Everyone
lot of,
happy
like,
at Betfair this week?
Yeah,
Happy?
I think so.
Good
I
liquidity?
didn't hear anything to the contrary, so that's good.
Absolutely.
Oh, Fresh
Absolutely. The
does look
team there, of
nice.
course, Anna, Lauren,
Yesterday's
Harry,
a bad
all the
losing
guys.
day, I would imagine, on Sportsbook, but I think the exchange volumes have been really strong, which is a positive.
good.
Black Rod's just going to win, isn't he? So, you know, the other, how many are in it? 27. They might as well not turn up, might they?
All right. Fresh has
Win,
not
isn't
budged. I thought Fresh would be usurped as favourite. His loyal followers, the Ascot form that they're seeing, they're with Keels. Nap of the week is for Keels.
It's on the wrong side, doesn't it?
What is? If you're looking down the rabbit hole like I've done, you'd be pressing the L button, that's for sure. Daniel Tudhope.
One we haven't mentioned is chairman of the board.
I gave him a very brief mention.
Oh, did you?
I did, because I said he surprised me last time, because he's a horse that this is the great thing about the sprint game, isn't it? You get these sprinters that you know when you should theoretically be going for them. And last time behind Black Rod at 33 to 1, he was running on very nicely indeed. But he is definitely his best when it's proper soft.
Yeah.
So, but that surprised me. It was almost too good. Yeah, so he could just pop it out. Rob Hornby.
Squeezes in at the bottom.
Big week coming up for Rob, of course.
Big week coming up.
Westover in the Irish Derby.
Okay, yeah. Saturday evening.
A few too many, for my money, too many people were saying about his ride. I thought, come on, man. Come on. Ridiculous. The horse wasn't good enough to go through some of them gaps. Quick enough, I should say, not good enough.
Pocket talkers.
He did hit the line proper hard, and to the point where you were astounded that I was
Well,
on this panel going, look at
to,
Westover!
yeah, you neglected to talk about the horse that just won the Derby. He's looking
listen,
at a fast finishing third.
Barry, I backed it. It's in the past. He definitely went soon enough, didn't he, on Desert Crown? So
Yeah, he went plenty early.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what could he do? The horse was travelling so well. He kicked at the right
We've
time.
had great chats throughout this week. Some of the
Gossip.
chat we had yesterday was we can't wait to see who turns up in the international because we're hoping it will be Desert Crown versus Bide, and also we're hoping that State of Rest turns up. Are you going to be at York that week during the week, or are you flying off somewhere?
Yeah, I think I've got some dates coming up at York actually. I haven't confirmed Ebor
It's
week
a
yet.
marvellous week.
Oh, it's
Ebor week, isn't it?
beautiful, isn't it? It's such a.
We're going to go back up. Are we brave enough to go
I
back
actually
up?
wanted to go, but I'm not here. Yeah, I'm in Canada.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But I would like to go
We-
to the Ebor meeting.
We'll do
Well,
Dante
you
again
like.
next
I mean,
year.
we've given Royal Ascot plenty of credit, quite rightly, because they just do it right. But York is another track.
Well, it's where
they
they,
do it
it's
right.
in,
Yeah,
in
York's
2005 when it was getting rebuilt. This is where they went, wasn't it?
York do it brilliantly. The customer
Did
experience.
anyone go to that, the Royal Ascot York 2005?
No.
I didn't. No, I covered it all on
There's
TV.
Black Rod in pictures. G Rod.
How's he
He's
looking?
Looking well,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's got a nice thick neck on him, hasn't he? There's strength there, which we like to see. Got a nice sheepskin noseband on, so hopefully we'll have to spot him out easily. The greys are easy.
I'm very
Starting to
confident.
load.
I think
Are
we're
you?
looking at Group 1 sprinter.
What's the gallery having a little nobble about out there? Is it something to do with a thick neck?
I can't look you in the eyes. I'm not looking you in the eyes. I'm not looking you in
Thick
the eyes. I'm
neck.
looking for
It's got a
Silver
nice
Samurai.
thick neck.
You got to let us in on the joke, Dave.
No. I'm forging my career on this. Okay, we don't know which to do to ask them for. Oh yeah, one green tea, one herbal tea. Barry, do you want a drink from the
Builders,
guys in the
please.
gallery?
Oh, I could use
Builders
a bathroom,
tea.
though.
Yeah, the bladder, the older the bladder, the more trouble it
Okay.
gets in on this
After
show.
this.
You can sneak off.
Yeah, all right, you can go after
Builders
this. Well, you're
tea,
nearest
please.
at the studio's door. So you can walk through it all right. All right, come on then. This is Wokingham time. Let's have some fun as this is going on. I want some proper reactions here, please. Because I've sensed this means a lot to you both.
Tab Deed into 15. Strong Silver Samurai into 12.
Got the black class.
Yeah,
but
I'm a bit sick of just having my each-way bets. have
One we
gone
haven't
really well.
spoken about, number 7, Prince Lancelot.
that's
Yeah.
the French horse.
Yes,
That looked
Stefan
nice.
Pasquet.
Prince Lancelot.
Oh, sorry, David.
Definitely
Excuse
Lancelot.
me.
He's bidding to win the Blue Ribbon.
14.
Lancelot.
Is that what he is?
He's 14 now. He's
What?
been matched at a high on
Big
the
figures.
Betfair Exchange
Yeah.
of 36.
If you like Black Rod, surely you like Apollo 1 as well with Benoit Delassalle on it, who was just touched off by him at Newmarket last time for Peter Charalambos and the Clutterbucks.
Prince Lancelot's quite eye-catching down at the start.
Who?
Like Prince Lancelot.
Yeah. All right. I must admit, I don't know a great deal about him. I know about these colours, but I don't know much about the Chappé stable either. But anyway,
Who's that going in?
it comes into it in the form of his life. I think we can say that. Look,
Gulliver's
anyone with the
just
French
loading.
raiders?
How many got? 1, 2,
Barry's selection
3,
there, my selection
4,
first Friday. Who's
5
Spotlight's
to
going for
load?
here? Let's have a look.
Who's got the blindfold on? So 5 to load and
Silver Samurai, Emily
Apollo
Webber.
1.
Emily's gone for Silver
Oh,
Samurai.
the-
That's
the-
what I'm.
the Sprint
The
Queen.
Sprint Queen.
Emily Webber.
Undisputed sprint tips to Queen.
She's an amazing tipster in sprints.
Yeah.
Emily is.
Yeah.
She worked for the Post.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. The bee's knees at the sprints.
And she's Silver Samurai.
Yeah, that's the one.
You built
Interesting.
her right
Didn't
up
see
here, anyway.
that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She's good.
Bidding to.
What, 1, 2 left to load? 1 left to load?
First folio coming in for Sport Now Barry as well. I can see his fifth favourite in the on the books as well.
Yep.
Good. What we wanted to see. Daniel Muscat. He's had 2 near misses on first folio this week, bidding for.
Who's that?
Get That
Chairman
Luck.
of the board going in, yeah?
Could that be that or Popmaster? Get your hats right this time, Dave. Let's have a look. Chairman of the. I mean, they're not helping me there, are they? They're both
Apollo
yellow.
1 just ready to burst through that
Totally.
gate.
Apollo 1 is.
Here we go. 5 o'clock, penultimate race of the week here for us here on
Hey.
RPI. One's rearing up. It was stall 16, whoever that is. Who's got the dreaded stall 16? It was first folio. He's pinged out. Oh, lovely, the grey
Oh,
there.
something fell.
What? Who's gone?
Jockey.
Fresh has gone.
Oh,
What's gone?
Jockey.
Asjad's gone.
No,
That looked like Asjad, didn't it? To me.
No,
Come on, guys,
Comanche
in the gallery,
Falls.
who's gone?
Comanche
Yeah, it wasn't
Falls.
Asjad.
Oh, Comanche Falls has fallen.
They're all coming to the
jockey
stand
has. Is
side.
it- I knew it.
They're
Here
all
we go, the
coming
rabbit
across
hole. I
to the
didn't want to look
stand
down
side.
it. They're all coming down
This
side
is
the
going to get
Lemmings.
messy.
So Mr. Wagyu, the old boy on the near side, Apollo 1, burning a trail. Black Rod is
We're
right
right
up
here.
there as
Black Rod,
well.
you're in a
Right
nice
here.
spot here.
Royal
Right
Commando,
here.
Summer
Oh,
Gang,
Black Rod.
Jumpy's there.
First folio in
Hang
the
on,
black
first
cat.
folio. Oh, we're right down the middle, Barry. We need
The loose
Apollo
horse
1
is going to
push the
grill
button.
first folio. The
We've
loose
got-
horse.
Yeah, we've got the loose horse, Danny. Come on, do not.
on, Black
what else
Rod.
we learn? Prince Lancelot's coming. Black Rod's under pressure.
Come
No,
on,
he's
Black
not.
Rod.
Come on, Black Rod.
He's going to need to shoot. Okay,
Come
listen,
on,
Mr.
Black
Wagyu
Rod.
on the near
Come on,
side.
Danny.
What's this, Popmaster? Come on.
Come on, Black Rod.
Finish best best of all. First folio's
Come on,
turning in the
Blackrock,
wrong
you can
place.
do it.
Lampang
Chairman
coming.
of the
It's
board, on the
start zone.
rails.
Is it chairman of the board or is it Potmaster?
Come on, Blackrock.
I think it's Potmaster, Barry. You're doing a noble
This
too.
is jumping.
Rohan's absolutely flying. Look at Rohan.
he's
Oh,
flying.
look at this big back-to-back Wokingham winners.
Say-
Look at this jump. It's going to be Rohan. What a
Oh,
ride, Ryan
Rohan.
Moore, that is. Hats off if you got it. And you went for the old horses for courses, back-to-back Wokinghams for Rohan. We said, why is he such a big price beforehand? Just £3 higher than when taking out the race last year. We will have to watch the ride on that,
Popmaster,
guys.
you're right. Rohan beat Popmaster.
If you think that James
Jumbie.
McDonald's is the best rider on the week, what must they be thinking at the moment?
Is that
about
Mr.
Ryan
Wagyu
Moore?
in
Drawn in 19, so let's watch this back. Mr. Wagyu,
in fourth?
yeah, a tasty
Evans
running fourth.
Popmaster hit in running
You
on the
had to be
exchange.
high there, guys. You just had to be. Anything that's drawn low, fresh, etc., absolutely no chance. And even Danny Tudhope tried to switch. So Ryan at the moment is bang on that rail. Potmaster's on it as well. Black Rod was 4 off. First folio's right down the middle. He's run really well.
Where's the winner there? Oh, there he comes.
Look at him. He comes between horses. Mr. Wagyu went off. Potmaster, I'll tell you what, Tom Marquand must have thought he was going to be winning the Wokingham and then, oh, go away, Ryan.
He traded at a high as 70, the winner.
First folio run a blinder, Barry. I think we got
65
we
for
got the
£5
places.
quid, the winner on the exchange. £3 lower than when he won it last year.
Summergan ran a cracker again. Poor David Probert. I hope he's okay coming off Comanche
Yeah, that
Falls.
looked nasty, that did.
You must have been disappointed with the finishing spurt of Black Rod there.
Where's the other places?
Very flat.
Look at the winner there.
I wouldn't say. I think he's
Ryan Moore new.
flat. I think
On
he's
19,
Not expecting
bang
him
on
to-
that rail.
That's when he gets into the rocket, though, isn't it? He's a bit flat there, isn't he? I know. Look, he's giving you every chance. But there's nothing under
He's
the
just
bonnet,
not-
was there?
no.
First Folio's ran his race, hasn't he?
Really well.
Yeah.
Really well. Again, look out for him in the stewards, maybe. I don't know quite whether that's his track. But these are the sort of races we go on now.
He's
isn't
riding
it?
like a man inspired, Ryan.
That is an unbelievable
Look at
ride.
him here. Look
Yeah.
where he comes from. It's
Blowing
easy
my
to see
mind.
how he's matched at 65 in running on the
Jumbie's met a
exchange.
tad of trouble, but nothing that's cost
Yeah.
him. If you're on
Lampang's
fresh,
ran a great race. We'll see him in York, I'm sure.
Yeah. Apollo 1's hung in there. Mr. Wagyu's probably had the draw, but that ride, my lord, Graeme Rodway.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? And
That's-
he's not even picked up the whip there.
He's top weight in the Wokingham, last year's winner. He's drawn 19 down the middle. We're looking at who came. Was that
David Probert was the one that
he's
came off
limping as well,
Comanche
bless him. Let's
Falls.
hope he's all right. Oh, that's horrible. We've seen a fair bit of crazy starts at the moment, aren't we? It just happens, I'm afraid.
He's all right,
26
yeah.
runs then, led home by last year's winner, Rohan,
What's
sometime
that,
in the
6
week.
for
he
more?
win.
7? I've lost count.
I'm going to do this. Have a guess if you like, and I'll count them up.
I say
6.
7.
I've lost
2
count.
today.
I'm
Hold
going to
on,
say 6.
I'm going to say 6.
6.
He's on
Danny's
I'm just
4.
greedy.
Danny's 4.
I was adding Wordsworth in the last race onto it.
4,
You might be right with 7.
5, 6, 7.
Yeah, well done, Barry.
Yes,
Seven.
well done.
I should have
Why,
said
7 winners for the
Yes.
world's greatest jockey.
The naps in the last.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Wordsworth who's finally running over the right trip, right?
Yeah.
He ran on in last year's Queen's Vase, of course. They ran him over a mile 4. I think they thought he'd win that day and then go to the.
Look at Moore,
go to
he's
the
last there,
This
but
is
he was getting that
ridiculous.
golden highway.
This is a ride to
Big
just jump.
prices.
He was getting the same path that we saw Noble
And
Trip
everyone's
take.
going to be. Some people were shouting, going, he's on the rail and all
Naval
that sort of.
Crown.
But he had to get to the rail.
That's the Naval Crown route.
Great,
It's
that is.
the noble truth. It's the naval crown.
Yeah.
It's the. My lord. You're looking
Yeah,
at fresh
that's
as well. Danny tried to come over Danny Tudhope. Those that are drawn on the far side just absolute nil point, did they?
You know, he did not pick the whip up on this horse.
He's just brilliant.
Look at he
Yeah,
got that
look
gap
at that
and
now.
He
away
knows
you
he's
go.
going to finish. Oh, you've got balls of steel, haven't you, Ryan? You really
When
have.
you're riding well, you're riding well. Look.
Yeah, okay, so Potmaster was second, Jumbie was third, Wagyu fourth, and they fanned out a bit towards the middle. I know the first folio was there. Jumbie ran really, really well, actually, and he pinged this time as well, finally, didn't he? So he's back
ran
on.
well, yeah.
He's back on.
Yeah.
Do you now look for these horses in the stewards and the Air Gold Cups and what else have we got? You know, the big sprint had to come back here,
Yeah.
of course.
All them.
Definitely, all of them, yeah.
Yeah, all of the above. All right, that narrative is set.
They'll be keeping Black Rod on side.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
ran well.
Summergan ran well.
Maybe just
Summergand, he really is the Goodwood horse in the pack.
So there was 7 places there on the sports book, and we backed first folio each way. Was it? I think he
it
might have
was.
squeezed
I think
into
he might have
7.
done.
I'm just waiting for the full result. Obviously, Rohan, Popmaster,
it
Jumbie,
an
Mr.
inch?
Wagyu are the first 4.
Yeah, is it each way lucky 15 we put on?
Yeah, we have an each way lucky 15 as well. Yeah, with the filly finished 5th.
Which one?
Well, the filly was placed. Yeah, she was 4th, was she?
Yeah, Sacred
yes.
was 5th.
Yeah, Sacred was placed.
5th.
Ooh, Barry.
That's okay.
There were 6 places there, yeah.
The week.
Okay.
All right, one more race to go. 2 more at the meeting. The good thing of the day, according to Barry, is Wordsworth, but Truchan still prevails. Well, how's he going to run on this sort of ground? Now, there's just, and everyone's saying you're not covering Truchan, but it's been one of the talking points of the week this for me. We knew he wasn't going to run in the Gold Cup. Here he is in the longest race of the day. He's got to give away a lot of weight. But forget the weight, forget the measures, forget the distance. Look at the horse on the ground. You've been saying, why aren't they running this horse? So you're happy to see this.
I think it's absolutely great they're running. Yeah, I
There
mean,
you go.
absolutely brilliant that they're running Truchan.
A lot of negativity about it, so fair play.
Well, why are people being negative about it? We're getting to see the best stayer in Britain and Ireland run at Royal Ascot, which is what we want to see. I mean, we need to see the stars, and they are giving us a chance to see a star. The last race of Royal
People
Ascot.
are still asking the question, is it going to run? Like, he
Still.
hasn't come out and said
I
it's
think
a
there is some
definite runner.
sort of rule, isn't there? When they pulled him out on Gold Cup Day, it was early. There is some
I thought it
sort
was
of,
like
if you want to go
45.
because of ground, you've got to, there's a certain time, I should know this really,
Right.
but I can't remember what it is. I do a lot of the H14s sometimes during the week, and when you're tagging them on to the analysis races and all that sort of thing, spotlights, blah, blah, blah.
I still think they're running him in the wrong race, mind. He should have run in the... If they were going to run him this week on quick ground, which is going to be, he should have run on Thursday and not in this race.
That would do.
I
But
think he's running now, isn't he? I think.
Okay, all right. So it looks, we think that Truchan is going to run. So fingers on the buzzers for that one then. And but still, Wordsworth can say doing, says Barry. We've got a bit of a hot pot coming up in this, and you really won't fancy one as well coming up in the Golden Gate Handicap.
yeah,
We're going to the Golden Gates.
my nap. Yeah, this is my nap.
Nap of the day.
Nap of the day. Yeah, Honiton.
Nap of the beating 1. So you're freshing up
Yeah,
with the nap
this
of
is
the
my
day.
nap of the day. Honiton. Yeah, reminds me a little bit of Quickfall.
Honiton.
Honiton. Yeah, reminds me a bit of the great Quickfall.
He's
who
got the
broke
great quick
voodoo
thorn about him,
hoodoo.
has he?
Yeah.
Who didn't get to take his chance, of course, in the Gold Cup. He's going to go back to France later in the year, isn't he? They're going to go.
Quickfall.
They're going to go to
Quick-
Cadrans and things like that. And
Yeah, they needed to win by. I think they thought they needed to win by a wide margin to get into this race, because I don't think that 86 would have got him into the race last year. So they went to Sandown and won a maiden by, well, I mean, half the track, basically, 9 lengths, and he got whacked up £8. They must have thought, oh great, that's going to get him in, which it has got him in. But it's actually ended up in the nearly top weight of 9 stone 2. But
Yeah.
you know, he'd have got in off 86, I think, if he'd.
is he a slow burner then? Because up until that win, I mean, okay, it's the Eldarov form, is it? We're talking about Frankie Dettori in the next race in the 5:35, by the way. Where's this come from?
Well, yeah, it's Uncle John and Cousin Fady, and it's a slow burner, and yeah, he's got the Eldarov form, like you just said.
Post Impressionist went off favourite for one of the earlier races. He was
That
third
for
in the
me
race.
is a very
Second,
good horse, Eldarov. I've watched that race back a few times. I still can't quite believe he's won.
He's the only thing that came near the front of Arthur Pace, wasn't he, in that race?
Yeah.
We were saying that was a gnats between being a decent ride and villain.
Yeah, I disagreed with the analysis of the race there.
Oh, I didn't do that.
You didn't do it, did you? So
No.
if you had done it, I'd have given you a call. But I don't know who did. But I disagree with it. I think they said.
What?
I think they said that they went fast, and you know, and that it suited those coming from off the pace, and I thought it was the opposite
Yeah,
personally.
I'm
but
going to take it. No, they didn't go. That was when Zechariah went off the bend, wasn't it?
yeah, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, Honiton up not £8. Yeah, is the nap of the day. I think that he's just better than a handicapper, and we're gonna see it.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Me and the
all
trifecta
about
queen again.
Honiton. Do you know what's
You're back in Honiton as well.
nuts about Honiton? I love this, right? And I do have to look at my notes because I can't remember. It was quite confusing, but it's too good to be true. Like this Ascot form of this week, isn't it? Like from the horses. I mean, it's
Creative
absolutely
force,
no.
etc.
It's unbelievable. So Newbury in April, 3rd to win my Prospero, 3rd in St James's, yeah,
Yeah.
behind Caribus.
Yep.
2nd at Newbury was Thesis, the winner of the Britannia on Thursday. Chester, he was behind Secret State, Thursday King George winner. Newcastle, as you said, was behind Eldarov, Choose the Queen Vase winner. And then last time at Sandown, won by 9 lengths. I mean,
It's all there, isn't it?
it's all there. Is it too obvious, G? Like he's absolutely my
I
pick.
do ask that question sometimes.
But this
is
is
it a bit obvious?
This is
you
the
know?
only horse in the whole meeting that has so much franked form of the meeting.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
mad.
How can you not like that?
I think I don't like a 7-day turnaround into Royal Ascot.
Here we go. Look, okay.
Really don't.
Let me get my computer.
Do
working
the numbers
here.
if
I'll
you
do
like.
the
I hope
numbers
you're
for
going to do it specifically about Royal Ascot.
Royal Ascot, yeah.
And not just turning
What
out
don't you
quickly.
like? 7-day turnaround.
7-day
Okay.
turnaround going into Royal Ascot.
Okay, I'll check this out.
That's not good. This can't have been the plan. Which, I mean, maybe it was the plan. They've ended up here. But this is a horse that looked average.
Sandown wasn't average.
Sandown wasn't average, but okay, Bradsell won by 9 lengths and then won the commentary. But I don't know, his 2's on to do that, and he's beating horses. If they've no disrespect to them, they won't be running in this meeting ever in their careers. He's got a mark of 98. He's up to 94 under the penalty. Nah, not for me at that price. I think that one horse that has definitely been pointed towards this run. This race will take a lot of beating. The market agrees with me, and I'm hoping this Barry will be the first favourite of the day.
Mr. Cut, yeah, gets in off 95. Carried its penalty well last day.
Yeah.
I like one in it, Dave.
Go on, let's get the trade out of the way.
Yeah, we're going to back it on the exchange. I do see the case for Mr. Cut and Honiton.
Yeah.
But the horse I like in it is Bushfire, Hughie Morrison's horse, and it's currently 44 on the exchange, 42. Now we're going to have 25 quid win in the win market, and we're going to look at the 6 places where it's currently trading at. To scroll down for this, 5 to 2. Yeah, we'll have 25 quid on it in the 6 places at 5 to 2 as well. We haven't seen it yet this season, but I'm not letting that put me off.
Didn't stop a couple of other horses early in the week doing it.
No, it certainly did not. Ran behind Berkshire Rebel first time up in Goodwood. Then we saw it in Salisbury when it finished third. His last run last October, obviously a backward type. He beat my mate Ted in Newbury. And he's a horse just that I remember thinking he's a nice prospect. He gets in here off a rating of 83. So he squeezes in down at the bottom, Hughie Morrison, David Egan, to run a big race at a big price.
Should relish the step up and dribble, I think, this horse. The slight worry about him maybe is it might be a little bit lively for him, but I suppose they have had a bit of rain there and it's riding slower than it has the last couple of days, that's for sure. So and Quickthorn didn't win this race last year.
No, he didn't. No.
He won the Duke of Edinburgh, didn't he, or whatever it is?
Yeah, Fox's Tails won this.
Fox's Tails won this, of course. That great jockey cam with Oshie Murphy going up the inside.
You're actually right, Dave.
No, really?
Yeah, the horses that have got less than 7-day turnaround have only 4% at the meeting.
I want
Drop and take.
I bet a lot of them are fancied as well because they're coming off wins per usually.
However, John Goslin's only run 6 horses and one of them did win.
Oh, okay. So there's a bit of a level up.
It was Ardad.
Was it? Who was a big price when he won the Windsor Castle?
I'm hearing True Shan as a non-runner.
No. That's late in the day.
I've just been trying to check how long you've got, and I can't find the exact answer. I've been looking for quite a while.
As apparently they have as long as they like.
Right.
He was into
Not
11.
till
He was
45
into
minutes,
11:08. Oh, he is at 11:08
That's
at the
an
moment in the final
unofficial
race. He's a
source.
non-runner. We've had it confirmed. He's a non. Wordsworth will be the new favourite in the final race of the day. The Queen Alexandra. That's 6:10 off the
45 minutes
off
in my head, you know, Barry.
Is that more
You
annoying?
wouldn't be wrong then.
I'm starting to get a bit you on this.
55
I've got
minutes from
45
now.
minutes in my head because I get into loads. So basically, when the scales, when I'm given the piece of paper that I read out on the microphone to the public, that is it, literally. So I've just got a really weird feeling it's 45 minutes before you have to pull them out.
So that's why they've done it now.
I'm very happy to be wrong, and hopefully someone out there might know the exact, but I'm sure it's 45 minutes. I should
Yeah, the
know
guys in the
that.
gallery are quite rightly saying that I think it was Churchill in the Sussex States that they referenced, but when it rains a lot, that's the flip side of this, isn't it? And of course they're going, we're not running on that ground now. It happens all the time, I suppose. But I think there is something about it. The one thing I would say is that,
chance now.
yeah, look, who was it recently that said the welfare card is the biggest card of all? It was one of the clerks of the course. I can't remember. It might have been.
It was Dickin. Or no, not Dickin. It was up in Haydock.
Dick on.
Kirkland.
Tell right.
Kirkland, tell wrong. Kirkland, obviously one of the best clerks in the business. That's why he's at Haydock. When he got a load of stick for calling off the meeting recently, he said, well, the welfare card is the biggest card of all. He's almost blaming someone else there. But the going would be obviously one of the biggest welfare, you know, it's all about welfare, non-runners.
It wasn't just
really.
Haydock, was it? It was bizarre. They checked at Catterick and Chester. And
So no Trushan we're hearing. That means it's going to be, I'll tell you what, there is a horse that could make him go in it, called Calling the Wind. Lovely horse. You like Nate the Great in as well. Stratum's there as well. James McDonald's got one for...
I like Nate the Great each way.
For Andre Fabre as well. Yeah, Nate the Great says Nat each way. And he ran a blinder against Quicklehorn last time, didn't he? He
Really like him.
really did. But Trushan out. So Wordsworth and Falconate, who knows a Chester horse, they are going to have a great shootout in
2-1 on the exchange, Wordsworth.
That was
Yeah.
always
7-2 Falcon 8.
so many people backed Wordsworth at the start of the week. Like so many people backed Trushan anti-post as well, because he was 11-2 in the week when we first flagged him for that Queen Alexandra Trushan, and no one thought he'd turn up. Weird hokey cokey this.
Well, yeah, and like he was in the Gold Cup until the morning of the race, wasn't he? And they pulled him out on... When did they pull him out the Gold Cup? He was just in there until about 11.
Until the morning, yes. Yeah.
I know that they're allowed to do it, but I don't know. I just think it may be a bit more of communication, like on what the plan is. Like, and did we hear from Alan King on whether he planned on running or not? You know,
I didn't hear anything. But again, look, don't hit Kingy with a stick. He's given a lot over the years, isn't he, Kingy? You know what I mean? Well, he's a fantastic communicator.
well, we didn't hear anything about whether
But it
Trushan
hasn't
was going
been.
to run.
I agree. This has been rather no one really.
I mean,
knows.
we could only assume until about 10 minutes ago he was going to run.
Yeah, and we thought he was going to run
You
because
know.
they come that close.
And I mean, it's fine if they don't want to run him. I suppose that's fine. But it would be nice to
Trushan's a
kept
non then, yeah.
informed.
Thanks for that, Dan, who had Rohan.
No?
Damon Moffat, one of our regulars, backed Rohan twice on the exchange and 13s on the exchange as well, and the money came from him.
Well done.
Damon also says, stop messing the hell around with Trushan. Get him over to France, where it's always soft over two. It's got to be the carriage run again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damon, yeah. And races like that. And again, he'll come back in the Champions Day, wouldn't he, and have his day in the sort of
Sum
sun.
up soft in Goodwood, would he run that?
Yeah,
Hope
that's
so.
what he won last year.
Yeah.
Because that was when Strad got
Massive
pulled
drifter,
out.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, there was these
But,
defections. All right, well, we're talking about the final race of the day where we off
He's
air.
a really good stayer, isn't he?
Why is that mile race
Really
in
good
Linkfield
style.
not started from stalls?
I have no
Charity
idea.
race or something?
Yeah, you know, I'm really annoyed myself. I love him to bits. I've forgotten his name because he's just a bit tired, just coming in. Older jockey, flat jockey, tiny. Oh my God, honestly, I love him. He's great. His horse, fell off it, then they went down to start, then he's had to go without it. But why that's gone, like you say, Barry, has just foxed me.
Anyway, we're watching Linfield because we've got Sky coverage in here. I think the Fav wins this, guys, going back to the 5:35. This has been laid out for it. George Bowie, of course, got James McDonald on. Someone was asking me why that was.
Was it?
He cut his teeth, James McDonald, of course, is
Dolphin?
down there. And the trainer, yeah, absolutely. But the trainer, George Bowie, spent a lot of time with Gay Waterhouse, probably a bit of time with Cushwaller as well. All the young Newmarket trainers, James Ferguson and Tal, George Scott, they've all been down there. It's a tried and tested path. Stouts had loads of Aussies come up as well, for example, Gosden, etc., etc. It's a sort of, and they will know each other from their time down there. This has been the plan, and it probably is a stake source. When it won at Pontefract, it looked in a bit of trouble off the bend. It absolutely powered home to win by 11 lengths. I then tried to take it on at Salisbury with a horse called Naval Crown of Her Majesty's, who I thought was going to run really well. He slammed it under a penalty. That form has worked out very, very well indeed. No bother with the with stall 13. Means I'm hopefully not going to find too much run in, a bother run off the bend as well. I know it's 5-2 in a competitive looking race, but I don't like the second favourite. I don't like Aldous Huxley either, under Benoit did I say it? I think he's disappointed them somewhat. Sun King wouldn't be the best of Aidan O'Brien's, but with Ryan on it, perhaps he's going to go and improve him a stone in the tongue tie. I don't know. Falling Shadow, I get it, in the red out under Buick, but I don't think this is the most competitive of three-year-old handicaps you're going to see at a major festival this season. So there you go. All right, there's some French Judd Monty colours, in Pervade here. Did you like anything random in this, Graeme, or is it just all about Honiton?
No, I thought Honiton would win. It's a 3-year-old handicap. It's one of those you can make case for loads of them, couldn't you? What about James Halton? He's the new fella for...
He was with Stout, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he trains for John Dance, doesn't
Yes, he does.
he? Yeah, so...
They've given him the keys to the new kingdom up there, and he had that treble on his
pretty much his
right.
first week.
Phantom
Very
Flight.
good trainer. I think the strike rates are good, aren't they? What I like about him, what he's learned at Stouty is he's placing his horses really well.
Yeah.
They've had some 2-year-olds running at the start. They had our dad in the was it the Wokenham? I can't remember. Anyway, Phantom Flight. This chap here, I think I backed him when he won. In fact, I did at Redcar, and then he went and followed it up at Haydock, didn't he?
He's by Siuni, who's doing really well.
Really well.
Yeah,
Sooni's
really
doing
well.
really well.
Why is he stepping up in trip?
so-
There? That's the question. In Costa del Lago is the Dam's Dam.
Yeah, I'd probably look
The Dam
else-
was a mile 4 winner. Okay, get it.
Someone like Blue Trail's quite appealing.
He's the
elsewhere.
horse that head-butted Will
I know.
Yeah.
at Epsom Blue Trail.
What about Jason Hitman Hart?
Who's he on?
Yes.
He's on Knightswood, and I mean he could step up. Couldn't
I
he?
had him down as a
Quite a
glorious
game
Goodwood winner,
horse.
Knightswood.
Quite a game horse, game attitude.
Yeah, he
Knightswood.
loved the trip when he won at Redcar the other day.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
expert eye nap that was.
Yeah,
Was it?
he's
Yeah.
got a bit about him, that
11
horse.
to 10.
Not
I
much
don't know
money
a lot
for
about the sign,
Groundbreaker, is
do
there?
you?
Has
Decorated
Mark
nice.
Johnson had a winner and Charlie Johnson?
No,
had a
they
winner?
haven't.
No.
No. Trojan, this is
single
just
one.
the sort of race that you expect them to win.
They
as well.
could pop
The
up
Duke
with
of
something
Edinburgh,
like
you
this,
expect
one
them
of
to.
these handicaps.
Yeah, it is the handicap. So no, they've had a barren week. Who else hasn't had a winner this week?
I'm trying to work out a Tollard Royal. That's come up somewhere on my radar. That's George Bowie's other runner.
There's Honiton in the pictures.
Coltrane,
Oh,
of course,
yeah.
one for the
Looks
Baldens.
nice,
Haven't
doesn't
mentioned
he?
Ryan
Oh.
Moore's
Really
horse,
well, actually.
Sean King.
Oh yeah,
Aidan
yeah.
O'Brien, 16 to 1 chance in a handicap.
Relative, he's a potential pace angle on what he's done so far, but you bet Ryan's not going to be leading on him, I don't think. What's the draw done? We've only had 2 runnings of this race, of course, and we've talked about the mile 4 handicaps this week where you want to be wide. 13 of 14 last year, but despite the fact Fox's Tail went all the way upside and nearly did a veer across the track, which we saw in our last race yesterday. And Highland Chief, the year before that, probably the last win of the meeting for Paul and Oliver Cole. He won from 16 of 14. So wide, according to one of these new races, Graeme, of course, isn't it?
Yeah. I was walking down. Just to go off the tangent. Sorry. I was walking down.
Some digression.
I was walking down. From the top of the cut today, which is not far from where the office is, and there were a few fellas in front going to the races. They were all dressed up in their top hats and ready to go.
Oh.
And I overheard someone say, "Did you watch the racing yesterday?" And the fella said, "No, but I followed it very closely on Racing Post Live."
Is that right?
Yeah, so,
Hey,
so we had a few
watching at the track.
fans. That was very nice to hear because it wasn't like I asked them.
Doth your cat, well, do you think they were winding up? They were like the bears walking behind us.
I don't think so.
I was going to ask you if they had socks on, but of course they've gone into the Royal. You've got to
Yeah,
pomp and pageantry there.
do you want to? You were talking about Invermark earlier.
Yes.
Well, there's also that his dam is a sister to Invermark, who's well worth following this year, called Morale.
Are you giving us something for the future?
Yeah,
here?
I'm giving you something before I
Well, the
leave.
other one won, didn't it, at Newmarket today? None of us had a bean on it.
Before I leave, and go and do the zip line. I want to give you a horse to look out for.
You're not sure what that is, are you?
Morale.
I'm sure I'll find out.
You're about to.
Yeah, Morale. It's called. James Fanshawe trains it.
Because you're not on the show next week because?
Yeah, no, next week we'll be doing the zip line, which I was trying to lose the weight to get down.
Oh,
But,
you're
Don't
going to be
need
doing the
to.
zip line,
But,
though.
yeah,
Don't-
I might
Are you
break
strapped
it.
into it? Are you in a harness?
Yeah, being a hard.
You're not just holding onto it.
No, thank you.
We're hoping that Sabrina, his wife, is going to film it because last year you went to Centre... Was it last year you went to Centre Parks?
Yeah,
Or the year before?
yeah, last
Is
year.
it-
They
is
were told
line?
you were too heavy for the zip
Yeah,
line.
so we
Is it
have
at Centre Parks?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Because there's an amazing one just near us, North
I'm
Wales.
not too
quite
keen to do a
famous
zip
one.
line, I'm
Yeah.
going to be honest with you. But I wouldn't be... I don't think you would do it.
What?
You love a bit.
Love
Are you a
heights.
one for roller coaster rides, Barry?
Not roller coasters.
No
No interest. I went to Disneyland and never got on one thing.
That's exactly it. Why swim in shark
interest
infested waters
whatsoever.
if you don't want to get bitten by a shark? That's
I get
my
all the
motto
kicks
for
I
life.
want out of punting. I don't need any
Yeah,
more
no, I-
excitement
exactly.
in my life. That's plenty
No,
of
I love
excitement.
heights.
You are a thrill seeker.
Well, no, it's skydiving, bungee. I've done loads of bungee jumping, skydive. Love it, but I don't like diving. I wouldn't dive. Don't like
what?
claustrophobic. Very claustrophic.
oh, like diving. Yeah, okay. I thought
Shark's
you meant
cage
like
and all that
diving
sort
off
of
the
stuff.
diving board.
Oh, an actual diving. Sure, it's amazing, but
All right.
right. What time are we on? Oh yeah, gosh, we're still.
10 minutes. Wow, 10 minutes away. Okay, let's start building up to this then. Come on, let's get some socials in.
I'm trying to get all of my weird
Well,
things.
this is the
out
time
there.
to do it.
Seeing
We
as
are.
we've
Look,
got 10 minutes.
we're in giddy height. So, have you lost enough weight to go on the zip line? Because
No.
it was a challenge. You did lose quite a bit.
No,
of weight.
I'm not. No, but
Barry's just looking at Barry.
There's a clip
Barry's
somewhere
going.
there.
no, but there's one other thing that I wanted to mention, which is we mentioned Peter O'Sullivan earlier.
Yes.
And he was saying how great a commentator he was.
I said that particular race was very good. The Gold Cup, that
Dawn Run.
Yeah, the thing that I always used to love about Peter O'Sullivan, you know, when they pass the line, he always used to go, trained by, owned by, ridden by.
We
Like
don't do
these
that
old,
anymore.
these little old, you know, traditions. It's like another.
Kim Bailey would like it if that happened because he had a pop, didn't he, about not
Did
giving
he?
the owners enough on television. It was
Yeah.
all about the trainers and jockeys. And
Arguably, Peter Sullivan was the best.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Sir
but he's-
Peter O'Sullivan.
There was a
Yeah, it was
there was
sorely
that
missed.
famous time when he owned the winner, wasn't there, at Cheltenham Festival, and he said owned by Peter O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
horse.
Yeah,
He used to
Sound
have
horse.
horses with the Marquesa, didn't he? Of course, First Light, etc. The ones that went over
Yeah.
to JP in the end. Yeah,
Him and JP were great pals.
Amazing
Yeah.
stories, unbelievable. Well, JP usually wins his race at Newbury.
And
doesn't he?
Newbury, that's
What
right.
was-
And they wear the colours.
They wear
Sir
it-
Peter
that's the
O'Sullivan's
old
race
beautiful
silks.
They do, yeah.
Well,
Yellow
someone told me the
cross
other day.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Someone
love
was telling me
those.
an amazing thing the other day that Sir Mark Prescott had said, and it was a young jockey, and this has come through a story, but it's a brilliant story. It said to anyone that goes into work on the yard, look, you're not going to have to sign a health and safety form. The only health and safety you have to do is to try and get my horses to not try and injure themselves on the yard. So it was a really lovely way of sort of saying your job is to try and keep the horses safe. I thought, what a lovely piece of advice to give, you know, these young riders. I thought that'll stick with me that well. I think it was really nice.
We've got 5 or 6 minutes at least until this race. Let's go down the panel. I'm putting this on them. Equine performance of the week. It doesn't have to be the obvious, doesn't have to be the top of the ratings, favourite, whatever you want, Nat Green.
Only allowed one.
You can do 1, 2, 3 if you like, whatever.
I thought Mojo Star was excellent.
That's an interesting one.
Absolute, and I wasn't on Mojo Star.
Another first time outer.
Yeah, but just brilliant. Excited me for the future. I really like that. Inspiral was inspiring. They're probably my two, because I can't go through all of them. That's just going to be boring. So, yeah.
I watched a bit of the morning show this morning. You were very happy with yourself when you said that comment. When you watch it back.
Which
you
one?
were- Inspiral was inspiring, and you laughed.
Oh,
quite
yeah,
lot
I'm
there.
not a wordsmith.
That's a Dave Orton thing.
I was
to do.
happy with that.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I usually say things and laugh when no one else does.
Oh my God! And Murtasaw's flying dolphin that came from the back of the screen.
Massive eye catcher.
Yes.
So you've given us 2 eye catchers.
3.
What was the third one?
Well, Inspiral.
Oh, well,
Flying
Inspiral
dolphin.
is the horse to take out in the meeting.
Yeah, for me.
Okay. Interesting. Where are we going to see her next? Homer's songs.
Falmouth.
Falmouth and her? Because they were talking about stepping up in trip
They are.
and
yeah.
going to
I saw.
Irish Champion Stakes and Nassau's and things like that with Inspiral.
Yeah.
Could there be a hole in the Mile 2 races? We'll still find out about that away from the big boys. Graeme, equine performance. of the
Yeah,
week.
I thought Eldarov was brilliant. I know he only won by a narrow margin, but he really finished off his race strongly. And I think they finished quite fast in that race. I had them clocked at around 103%, which at Ascot is fairly rapid. So to come from as far behind as he did, off what must have been a slow pace if they finished that strongly, tells you an awful lot about the ability myself. I mean, I could only rate him 108 on RPRs because essentially I'm a little bit hamstrung because I have to stick to the standards of the race over the previous years, and the standard said he should be 107. So I nudged it up as much as I could and gave him a plus.
Is he going to go to York next for
Personally, I would have given 110
the
if I could.
Voltager?
I think he'll go to
It's got to be a St Leger trial,
go
isn't it?
yeah, either the Gordon or the St Leger or the Voltager.
The Queen's Vase over the last couple of years, the race he won over, it's taken a couple of knocks, isn't it? You know, Kamari not great last year and a couple before that. But there have been some proper horses that won it. And if you're saying that he did everything, well, that everything went against him and he still managed to win.
Yeah,
We could be hopefully
that's
seeing a boost for that race.
Definitely what happened.
Yeah, the 3-year-old stayers that produced the Gold Cup horses, of course.
Yeah, and I was saying, you know, in that piece that I mentioned that you didn't read was that staying races are more like sprints now, and the most important thing in staying races is to be able to sprint. Now, Eldarov must be able to sprint fast if he was able to come from last to first in a slowly run race. It's almost like if Bay Bridge had come from where he did and come past and blown away State of Rest, you'd have gone, wow, that's an absolute machine, because really it was very, very difficult for Bay Bridge to win that race because he was too far behind off a slow pace.
I guess that's going to lead us on to your equine
And if he says
performance
State
the
of
week.
Rest for the
Knew it was
performance of the
coming.
week, then I'm going to
Was
leave.
State of Rest.
It was good. I knew it was going to be State. It's almost like you knew what you were doing there for once.
Two performances of the week for me. State of Rest was just brilliant because I think he's a class animal. And
What
he's,
a brain.
What a constitution.
Yeah, amazing
For
animal.
travel, for the fight. Just a really, really admirable horse. And I thought Perfect Pair won a top renewal of the Commonwealth Cup.
From a Yeah.
And I think he's a horse. If he goes to July Cup, he'll be hard to beat.
Good to see the Middle Park winner taking out the Commonwealth Cup and maybe go. I mean, it's going to be hard to beat in the July Cup, isn't it?
I reckon Sacred ran a nice trial for that.
She was lovely.
Yeah,
today.
she was great today.
Loads of eye catchers going out. I guess we'll be doing a piece in the paper next week. Will be all the eye catchers.
Yeah, well, the last word, of course, will be out on Monday, which is the last word on the Royal Ascot action. With Chris Cook and the Racing Post Ratings boys will have their say, and that's always a great feature every week.
All right, okay, I'll give mine before we get some socials. It was Nature Strip, simply because, for the flip side, I really admire State of Rest, because last year I just love horses that overcome things. No one thought we'd see it, a British horse go down to Australia, and seeing him come up I think was so important for the next couple of years.
So Nature Strip, do you not think that race lost some of its lustre with what happened to Golden Pal?
I think he would have beaten him anyway, but that's not quite what I'm saying. What I mean is it was a brilliant performance, and a horse that had waited to come up to the meeting. It's more the story for me.
Yeah.
He should have come up. If he'd come up the last 2 years, he would have been on a hat-trick in that race,
He's only
trust
beaten
me.
trees, though, wasn't
Well, maybe, but it seems so important because they're all going to follow up now. They'll
Yeah,
go
no,
back
it's,
and tell
yeah.
them,
And that just adds so much to this meeting.
Massively.
Having that
That's what
kind of
we've missed,
international
isn't it?
interest. Yeah.
The other thing that I've loved about this week is, and we saw it a little bit last year, but because of the crowd going back, when we had off that year with COVID, we basically didn't have the last-minute gambles because they weren't getting down to the rails. It was all everything was quite transparent in 2020. We've seen some really late gambles coming on this week, haven't we? Your little Big Bears, for example. That's been wonderful. That's what punters love. Racegoers get very excited about that, whether they're with it or against it. It's been absolutely amazing, that. Great stuff. So look, final race. A reminder: I am on Missed the Cut.
Went down pretty keen, Mr. Cup.
Did it? Let's get some socials in. Armand is back. Arnon Guren, who's had a really good week, actually. I think this is Hoynton race to lose. Oh, he's sucking up to Nat and G-Rod there. Bolted up by 9 lengths and standard ground trip. Surely been going on to better things. If he wasn't trained by Gosling, I'd say absolutely no chance because it's turning out after 7 days. But Arnold, I wish you luck. Who else is out there? Let's have a look. And another one that we've had all week, and another good week for Soraya and Nando. He says, what do you think of Sun King? Barry, you gave him a mention.
It's Ryan Moore's horse.
Yeah, it's not a shilling for him.
Not a shilling. Good to see these colours, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Sir Robert Ogden.
Sir Robert Ogden, of course. So good mention to that. Probably was thought to be maybe a group horse at one point, Soraya, but finds himself here. And we've seen this before in the handicaps. I just think when they go for one of theirs in handicaps, when you start getting a bit excited. But, did George Barry, when this one at Pontefract, 2 back, think that he would have the 5-2 favourite for this? Probably not. But
this was one of those Shadwell.
It was.
So
yes, it was.
He's bred in the purple.
And didn't actually get to run for them because it did.
No,
this wouldn't have been called. This certainly wouldn't have been called Mr. Cut.
No.
It would have been called Machalachan. They all begin with M. We never know. They all begin with M, and we never know which is which.
He ran well. Holla.
Yeah.
He ran well.
Mr. Cut, of course, on Open weekend. Has anyone had a bet in the Open?
Yes.
US Open.
US Open.
The Open is a very,
oh yes, indeed.
very
Sorry, I'm not
dangerous
allowed to say that.
distinction you didn't make there.
Yeah. No, don't.
Because that is trademark.
Don't. We had this on the Sweet Spot Live. This isn't the last you're going to see of me of the weekend, actually. 8:30 tomorrow night. I'll be joining Bruce Millington and Steve Palmer for my sins. I'm that much of a glutton, but I did it on the last major, and I'm going to go on again.
Are you going to be in the kitchen again?
Good question. I'm not going to let you know that. I am going to a gathering that are watching the major. I've got friends that like, Super Bowl and stuff. We watch all the majors, so I'll be getting involved. I don't know who Palmer's put up there, but that's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Do not miss it. The numbers are insane. That's the one where they really chat to you a great deal. Bruce will be at home. Palmer will be at home. It's the one where you can get to Steve Palmer, and what a pleasure that is. He's the kookiest character bar none, isn't he?
Yes, someone did suggest me and him doing a show with Bruce at one point, and I said, is it a good idea having me and Steve Palmer on the same show?
Well, listen, the more of these I do, the more I tell him he's going to get his debut on this show once, and he's not really a big one for horse racing, but he's a great one to watch it.
Phantom Flight's being led around. What's PJ doing?
Yeah, he doesn't look. He looks a bit sore there.
PJ's on the
He's got a
ground.
limp.
I don't know whether
Looks
they've
like he might have been thrown off.
Yeah,
into the
something's gone on.
stalls. Something's gone on. So
James
it's just
Taunton.
It's just fascinating to find out on Phantom Flight.
They haven't been giving them chances, have they?
What's going to
They're going
happen?
without
They're
him,
going
withdrawn.
without Phantom Flight.
Okay, they're off and running then in the last race, would you believe it, of
horses
2022.
they've gone with.
Sun King being taken back by Ryan Moore, that I can tell you. Where's the Fav? He's in about 5th at the moment. He's going to want some cover. Bushfire widest of all, but at the moment it's the Trojan horse. Of course, it's Mark Johnson nearly up there as well. Trojan
From
horse,
his other
great
horse.
name as well. Tollard Royal as well, George's other horse. Now, this is the plan, isn't it? George Bowie's horse for the Fav, making sure it's a proper test, making sure nothing gets an easy one, because he settled in midfield. Barry, as the market reacted.
Yes, 2-1 now, missed the cut. Huntington is 3.85, 6.8 Falling Shadow.
Okay, Nat, what's catching your eye?
Yeah, I was relatively pleased where Honiton is, to be honest. They're pretty well bunched together. One in
Where
front
is that?
a bit too keen. Honiton, the
Black
grey
cat.
horse.
Yeah, he's got a black cap.
Which
quite a
cap
dark
is it?
Grey.
Great, all right, okay. Black,
Just got to hope that Frankie can find a way out on this
Yeah,
one.
otherwise
Nat.
he's going to get stuck.
He's right on the inside where he was with Stradivarius.
My horse Bushfire, the big white face up on the outside.
Right on the
Yeah,
outside.
with the green
he
and
wants
the-
to be up there, doesn't he, as a horse? So we're going to see a bit more about Bushfire. Will it be this race?
Frankie, is he going to make a move in a
The
minute?
famous
Frankie,
colours Archie
Frankie.
Watson sweeping Holly Doyle up there. Of course, Holly got the meeting off to a flyer with Brad selling the Coventry. She's bidding to double up. The other Charlie Johnson horse is there as well.
Oh, come on, Frankie.
Knightswood's going really, really well. Missed the cut. Every chance from there, I think we're going to say. He's about to go past Honiton like he's trees, that's for sure. Look at this this Jub Monty horse, the French horse. He's on the tag of his back. Now we go for it. Here we go, Final King. Oh, my lord.
G-Rod,
Knightswood
I'm not
needs
sure
a
we're
run.
finding
Here
it.
comes Mr. Cut. I think the French horse is going to pick
All
him
over,
up, guys.
lads. Mr.
We're looking
Cut.
at group
Yeah.
horse in the handicap. Mr. Cut, absolutely every chance.
is Mr.
Could this
Cut,
be
isn't
the
it?
first?
Pervade is after
Could
him,
this
is
be the
he?
first favourite of the day? He's drifting a little bit, but he's got them all. I tell you what, Pontefract, he just kept going.
gone.
What's this?
As good as
he
it
forgets.
gets.
Tom Ward and Jim Crowley trying to get him. But the
Oh.
Fav is finally away. I'm going to absolutely bookend the card. Happy days. This is a group horse in a handicap. He has flown home. Flying home for third is Ryan Moore, but only just on Sun King. Looked like Groundbreaker got fourth. Wow, that was a carve-up job like Candleford in the last handicap yesterday.
Yeah, easy winner, wasn't he, Dave? Mr. Cut, yeah. And you take home the trophy.
Well, I take home the final winner of the day. I don't think I'll take home the trophy today, but I think it's between me and Nat, isn't it? So happy. And Barry's lucky
That was
15
brilliant,
didn't go
wasn't it?
class. But that Barry was different class to the rest.
Just look, off 95, he made a mockery of his mark. Like we said, he was one of those Shadwell dispersals, and they're all bred in the purple. And their class, you know, there's just some really good families that people have given the opportunity to buy into. It's amazing to see.
Yeah.
Second handicap winner of the week for a trainer that we are really, if we're not taking him
he's-
seriously already.
You can't take him serious straight away. Like, he knows his
George
stuff.
Bowie, of
does
course,
he?
classic
Knows
winning
it
Oh,
trainer.
today.
well, he's learned
James
well.
Mack, a third winner
He's
on the
learned
week
well.
for him.
George Bowie, he's learnt for one of the best, hasn't he?
He just paddled a little bit, guys, didn't he, and hung a bit, and we've seen that this
Did
week.
the studio know? Because the two horses didn't go.
One was, of course,
One was Phantom Flight, but there was two horses that didn't go.
I didn't
Who
see
was it?
the other one. Not sure. Really not
Okay,
sure, Nat.
it feels-
It's the last race of the day. I'm absolutely cooked. Honiton, it was that turnout, wasn't it? I think.
Someone might know.
I think the ground must have changed somewhere for Honiton there. But look, there we go. That's it for the week.
Brilliant
The graphics
performance.
will come down now. Missed the cut. Where are they going to go with him? Group races, surely, isn't it? George Bowie, James McDonald. What a week for him. Absolutely superb to see the Kiwi hoop up there. Between him and Ryan Moore, Danny Tudhope, William Buick, James
Some
Dolan.
stars,
I mean, they've
haven't
all
they?
been great.
Yeah, changing of the guard
A literal changing of the guard.
in the jockey ranks.
All right, great stuff. Listen, brilliant to have you watching us this week. We will be back next Saturday once we've all slept for about
Look
3
at
weeks.
George Bowie there
Brilliant.
in pictures.
Yeah,
He's
it means a lot, so much to them.
Absolutely Cheshire Cat grin. That's gorgeous to see.
Yeah, they've laid it out, and when the plan comes together, as Hannibal once said, this is what you want to see, isn't it? We love it. All right, there we go. Barry, superb stuff this week.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed being
been
in
good
here
fun,
with you
hasn't it?
guys. Yeah, it's been great fun. It's
Yeah.
been great fun. When you get paid to come in here and do this.
We've had a bit of lunch. We're going to have a
Absolutely
beer now.
lucked
It's great
out.
to have you over. It shows the way the world has gone. Absolutely sterling stuff.
We're
Barry,
back, baby.
We're
We're
back, baby.
back.
Will you be back with us for Goodwood? Maybe is there a chance you
Yeah, I'm
might
sure
come
I
over?
will. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Let's just catch our breath after this and make a plan.
Indeed. All right, next Saturday we'll be with you for the Irish Derby and the Pitman's Derby, of course, as well.
You need to catch your breath, don't you? I wonder how many words you can say per minute.
Me, not as many as Kate Tracy. That's what we found out the other day. He was with us on Wednesday. Thanks to all the other guys that have joined this studio panel this week. Thanks, Natalie Green. I can smell the beer coming. Thanks, Nat. You've had a tough week, Natty. Fair play with the bomb.
No, it's been good. It's been great.
You've made us laugh. You've given us loads of winners.
Well, you do well with your commentary, Dave. It's hard work. It's been fantastic. Privilege to be here.
She who covets the seat. You never know. You might see Natty in this seat at some point this summer. It's been mooted. Who'd like to see that? Let us know. G-Rod?
Yeah, good to be back, Dave. Yeah, 3 weeks from today, I'll be back.
Okay, is this the last show before you go off? Surely not.
No,
Is it?
no.
We'll get another one in, won't you?
3 weeks.
G-Rod's going to Canada, thanks to Desert
Have a
Crown.
good trip.
All right, brilliant. Thanks to the guys in the gallery. Thanks to the guys at Betfair, all the social guys, everyone at the Racing Post. Let us know you've liked your coverage. Keep the feedback coming. It's all important to this show. But we'll be back, don't you worry, next Saturday.